8 and it sent them to the 3rd position. I mean, that is crazy. 105 elimination points, and it was game 8, was it, that they got 21 elimination points and 13,200 damage points with 1,044 average survival time. That is so amazing. Now that is a statistics that I wouldn't want to miss.
And for all the squads, honestly, at one point you might just have to say, you know what? Throw those note cards away, throw everything away, because today is either make it or break it. Go for broke for them. Make sure that you're actually going to be able to lift that trophy up at the end. Be consistent and become the Free Fire at EWC champion. Ladies and gentlemen, the finals start now.
It all come down to this. Just 12 teams remain in the battle for supremacy on the Gidia City Grid.
Teams who have poured their hearts out on the main stage, and today they go again. So join us as we welcome your finalists to the stage, starting with S8UL Esports.
Lion!
Buriram United Esports.
Loud Sneakers.
AGAL.
Team Apex Gaming.
Twisted Minds.
MEBA Los.
Your reigning club champions, Team Falcons.
Fluxo W7A.
Team RRQ.
And finally, your defending champions of RWC, EVOS Esports! Whether you are the favorite or the underdog, you all have the same goal to lift that trophy and claim the lion's share of $1 million.
Today on this stage, history will be made, a legacy will be cemented, and a champion will be crowned. So welcome to the finals of Free Fire at the Esports World Cup.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Free Fire at the Esports World Cup in Paris.
It is time for grand finals of Free Fire at the Esports World Cup.
So no time to wait anymore. I think it is time to introduce our teams.
Bom, eu considero muito que a gente é mais forte por conta que eu tenho muita confiança no meu time, em mim mesmo.
It's all about the timing.
ก็รู้สึกดีใจที่ได้เข้ารอบชิงครับแล้วก็อยากทำผลงานในรอบชิงให้ดีที่สุดครับอยากได้แชมป์
Members of the Falcons on fire. Loud is stuck in a corner. What a shot!
And they won't be denied.
สำหรับผมก็น่ากลัวทุกทีมครับถ้าได้เข้ารอบมาในแกรนด์ไฟนอลทุกทีมคือเก่งหมดครับ
Eu sou muito confiante em mim mesmo e no meu time, mas nada tirando o mérito da Loud nem do fluxo em si.
ทีมที่อยากจะเอาชนะได้มากที่สุดผมคิดว่าน่าจะเป็นบุรีรัมย์แล้วก็เอจิโกบอลเพราะว่าเป็นทีมไทยแล้วก็ตึงทั้งสองทีมแล้ว
The mantle falls at the very end.
หลังจากเล่นรอบกรุ๊ปสเตจเสร็จนะครับผมก็รู้สึกว่ามีทีมที่เก่งเยอะครับผมเยอะกว่าที่คิดก็เลยทำให้ต้องทำแผนแล้วก็เล่นให้ดีขึ้นกว่าเดิมครับ
มีโอกาสได้เห็นเนี่ยครับผมจะทำทุกอย่างเพื่อให้ทีมได้แชมป์นะ
Só queria agradecer a torcida de sempre. Se Deus quiser aí a gente vai erguer esse troféu aí por vocês.
Nothing is given, everything is earned, and for sure every single one of these teams on stage today made it here from their sweat, blood, and tears.
There's a lot of teams that is looking forward to this moment, especially those who struggled in the survival stage and those who were watching after that group stage.
This is the finals here at Esports World Cup 2026 Paris. Free Fire seeing its biggest of the competitions and the biggest of names now made their way to the stage. They have unlimited games, but not the same in terms of the eliminations. They have unlimited challenges in front of them, but not the same when it comes to the eliminations because somebody else might take it away. They all start in our match number one. My name is Lucifer. With me on desk is Neptune as well as Dash Bunny, and we will take you through the grand finals for this very first match.
Yeah, it is loud out here. We have the fans coming here cheering for their teams. We have battles of rivalry, and making it here today was not easy. We had stories of heartbreak, we had stories of comebacks, we had stories of last-minute pushes to make it here. And after all, for good reason, after so long, we are seeing India on the big stage. Lucifer, this must be a big moment for you.
It is not just for me, it is for the people of India. It is for the players of India, it's for the community of India to see for the very first time. Imagine, they step onto Esports World Cup and there are 3 teams. And on day 1, nothing happens. Day 2, Team Apex Gaming end up getting 2 booyahs and that rallies up the entire other squads. And survival state starts off. We end up seeing an Indian booyah to start things off. S8 will then follow up, Tag follow up, back to back. A lot of cascading things happening. And Neptune, you mentioned
out of the 10 games we had, 5 ended up going to India.
Yeah, I mean, and there's a lot that has been brought in by India right now, and this is a real surprise. It's not only the teams, it's not only viewers out there, even the talents, because at some point they were introduced right here, and there's very little expectation. But now this is where those were broken. There's a lot of challenges that they face, and again, group stages, like not so much points, but when they went into survival stage, that's when they dominated. Didn't even expect this kind of numbers out of teams. 40% for both Team Apex Gaming as well as SAUL to be able to get to the top 3, and like judging from the teams that were part of survival stage, that was not easy.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't easy, and might be most importantly, I don't know what it is, the mentality, right? Coming into day number 2. I remember AJ was saying, hey, even if you get one Indian team up there, it's already really good. Well, lo and behold, we have 2 onto the big stage, and most importantly, the consistency that came in during the survival stage, during the elimination day as well, was shocking. It was night and day. I'm not too sure what happened the night before. I'm not too sure what they talked about. I'm not too sure what the coaches were happening. And this is where, this is where I think everyone's getting very, very cautious, because no team should be looked down upon. No team should be underestimated. And in this situation today, everything is up in the air.
Yeah, everything is going to be earned. That's the status of our grand stage now. But talking about this, there is one team that I'm pretty sure upset majority of the Southeast Asian teams who wanted to be here in the grand finals yesterday in survival stage. That is none other than Lion. They roared yesterday. Their name completely glittering and golden rays of sun.
Yes.
They took the stage up on a storm, and now they are here. Yes, the other giants are still here, but they are one to look out for.
Yeah, speaking of Lion, I mean, since we're going to start this first map, look at the numbers. They are the ones on top. They get 1 booyah out of this, and they total 75 every time, or for all the games that they played in Solara. So I'm really looking forward to this, and we talked about this. This is one of the newest maps in Free Fire right now, and there's still a lot of challenges being encountered by the team. So those who really made the adjustment and study this hard, it has a good chance of grabbing that booyah.
Yeah, I think if anything's up in the air right now, we talked a little bit about what it means today as you go into the game, right? Because again, the drop spots are going to be swapping. We didn't have the teams that made their way, all the way to grand finals yesterday as well. So yesterday was a battle of just trying to survive. Today is a battle of going up against the giants. After all, those names that made it all the way here today had some time to dissect the rotation, the drops, the strats, and everything else in between. But my question is, can they, I would say, overcome the momentum that some of these teams had coming in from yesterday itself from survival stage?
Right now, having the high is going to be Fluxo. We've been seeing from the very beginning.
Oh yeah.
They've been highly in terms of their roaring noise that we've been looking forward to, cheering for Fluxo W7M. But right as now, Solara has started off Team Apex Gaming and Lion. They fight it out at Eco Drain.
Hi guys, welcome to the stream. Hi girls, hi Paji, hi Kapil, Yogi Shah, hi
right now, because Team Apex Gaming is facing them in Eco Drain. And well, it's a good thing that KD God does have elevation, does have information. But the only question though is who is going to push?
But सही time पे आई ना मैं match just start होते हुए
in those battles.
Here they come right now. Joker waiting in the wings. He's been good with his fights and managing to steal away one more, saving his teammate.
किसका fight हो गया? लो, मैं tag का fight हो गया उधर से.
As the 4, the shots are good, and the Lions.
Yeah, I'm on time, right?
Completely nuclear right now.
रुको मैं को story डाल दो.
We spoke about them roaring, and they are not stopping. Wolverine in trouble right now. Games King surrounding him, trying to take a trip down the pipe, but it's not going to work out. Joker is also on the other end. That's going to be 3 big eliminations. Eco Drain completely drained out of Team Apex Gaming.
एक अलग दिया होगा ना task का probably.
And in spite of all the engagement that's happening, seems like KD God did manage to pull away, and he is going just to the studio. But on the other side,
भाई ये तो lobby भी इतनी खतरनाक है.
has been taken down, but Jack right now trying to defend themselves against Twisted Mind. But you know how twisted they can be. Noor is just ignoring them, and FP5 trying to eliminate.
It's just nasty how these shots are coming through here, because Twisted Minds losing their players one by one. Bunny comes close, separated from Noor, but the crossfire is too much to deal with. The Bass also will fall next.
Twisted Twisted Minds, they tried to go for a challenge, it did not work out. SHUL Esports, we were talking about this, their mentality of just going in for those hits, eliminations, that's all in front of their mind, not who they're challenging. And something similar, Buriram United Esports just ended up getting 4 eliminations, almost about to eliminate a whole squad, but that did not happen. But they also need their title. Husky was mentioning the one title that they need in their cabinet is EWC.
Oh yeah, let's see though, because they have been going for the hub drop for so many times already when it comes to this map, and I was just surprised that someone is really challenging them. But going back to challenge, earlier it was Lion taking out
the
D-Matrix
threshold point
Gaming.
is
Now
90.
it is Fluxo.
मैक्सिमम मैचेस नहीं होता है इसमें भी क्योंकि वही मैच पॉइंट है इधर चैंपियन रश बोलते हैं आई गेस So that point threshold is 90 points. 90 hit करने के बाद whoever gets the booyah wins.
Hoping that Fluxo will move away, but they have marked the heck out of him as well. A lot of pressure, a lot of util coming to him, and finally knocked down as well. There we go. Bobs will find him in the end, but AGL wants to challenge this phase.
Oh, here comes a new challenger, AGL right now, and this just looks like a good storyline because everyone is going into Eco Drain, and if you lose this, everything will go down the drain.
It will indeed. Fluxo, they want to make sure that they're the ones who are on top of this. They're the ones who pull that key lever and take AGL if possible. But AGL, they're quick on this. They're on their heels, see the slide rails, and decide to get out. They don't want this early engagement. We've been talking about AGL haven't found their title yet. They've been striving for it. They tried to get closer, but right now, it seemed like it was a distraction. He knocks the player, will try to get a confirmation, but right now Fluxo not getting it, but still he will secure Butsin's elimination.
It's nice seeing this. Dio was barely alive right now, managing to go for that reset.
That's
and they
gonna
can
be
just buy their time.
interesting.
Wasn't aware that Fluxo
Nice.
would be able to answer back. And they're looking good. Yeah, Butsin's out, but they're going to be able to bring him back into the game. And there you go, so quickly. The only team right now that is currently down and out, at least with only one player left, is Made in Brazil lost. And for the rest of the team, rotations could come in from a different side here. But I think for Fluxo, finding you might be key. Spotsy now sees him, but over on this side here, RQ did cross paths with Yago and somehow survived. No, gets him in the end. And
अरे
Love
भाई
wasn't
आसपास की
able
टीम
to
बाहर हो
survive
गई.
for as long as he wanted.
Oh
You
no.
spoke too soon, Cash, and now RQ will be getting that 4 elimination to their side. But there's another one that is just waiting in the shadows. It's Team Falcons right
गर्मी
now.
लग रही है
And
मुझे
this
दिल्ली
has
में.
been
फट
one
से
of the
इनके
rivalries
बाद
that
जाके
has been
शॉट
happening in Southeast Asia.
फट से
But
एकदम.
Team Falcons, you know how their signature
hot.
is. They won't be going in
Can't
carelessly. They want to
tolerate
get information out of teams right now. And even RQ might be able to be caught off guard, but they are just waiting. Look at the
आसपास
discipline
की टीम
out of Team
यार.
Falcons.
Information's gotten. Maal finds the opening. Keroro is done for. That is what RRQ want. A strong start.
आशीष विजय में भी गाया था सोल जीती थी फर्स्ट एवर. ओ कब आया था विजय में भाई मैं तो देखती नहीं मुझे पता ही नहीं. मैंने ऐसा देखा भी है कभी अपना सोल के मैचेस होते हैं ना सब बीच में खोलते देखते उतने में पता भी नहीं चलता कि ये सब है तो.
How is this happening? When we saw the Falcons throughout the entirety of this week, they were the ones hunting, they were the ones taking up that space and winning, but now silence.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he needs silence right now, though he doesn't have the stealth lights to pull away. Does have the Skylar, the Riptide with him, but I'm surprised they didn't use that to at least save their teammates because they were covered in blue walls right there, and he does have an angle take when it comes to the snipe. But I guess priority is to bring back the teammates. Once one goes down, you always go for the vending machine.
The starting always for Falcons has been similar like this. The story, unfortunately,
Elijah,
right now, a change in Lions' favor right now. Twisted Minds, we saw them suffering a little because of Buriram United, but now they change and turn the tides. Twisted Minds, this is a team that everybody did not have much expectations on, but they were the ones who made it at the top in Group B. And now, Diamond, the last man, will have to make a quick run, try to go in for a revive. But when we talk about the revive, look at the circle. It's made a revive of a battle as it's moved completely north.
Yeah, this hard shift's got to be crazy. The southern side there, the shift, I would call it the Great Migration, is about to be insane. It's about to be bloody as well. And speaking of bloody, the Purang Serumput about to happen.
Well, let's see, this is a replay from where RRQ did manage to take down a few, or not a lot of players out of Lost. Now, as we look back into RRQ, it's Twisted Mind, and they are challenging as well as Pina, who just got revived, but seems like they are still on no elimination streak.
RRQ have lost stats. They might have gotten the 8th elimination. Rans is in trouble. Riptide Rhythm. Chrono being pulled down. What a shot on the AC-80. Puts Diamond down instantly. And Twisted Minds thought they might be up on the battle because of number disadvantage. And now RRQ is getting closer. Diamond's confirmation comes through. But the boss, he decides that the revive's important rather than an exchange of a battle.
Here we go there. Twisted Minds managing to find a bit more space to work with. Don't want to overstep because RRQ does have a bit more space to work with. They have no clue where the crossfires are coming through here. Sees one shot coming through here. One of his teammates does get picked up by Abe, but they're not done. The knock comes through, and here comes that collapse. Gonna drain down that utility, but nothing really set in stone. Gets one. Twisted Minds getting dropped one by one, but Abe will fall in return. Both teams suffering heavy losses. Wasn't taking into account of the crossfire and the later rotation coming in for Twisted Minds, but Maal answers back. Abe will not be able to be saved here.
That Riptide Rhythm was deadly. If it wasn't for the time turner, they could have fallen already. Let's see though, because Twisted Mind, despite of all elimination, it's RRQ who has the most on the numbers. But who's coming in to join the party? It is Team Lion roaring right now against these two teams.
Jella has already found the opening. Diamond's down as well now. Joker gets that confirmation instantly, and whatever Twisted Minds did is all put to rest.
Both teams are left with one. RRQ and Twisted Mind, and that's when they need to move. Because even before that battle ended, the zone is already moved away from them. There's a lot of
कुछ टीम्स बहुत डोमिनेट करती है एक्चुअली लाइक बहुत मारती है तो वो बेनिफिशियल है टू बी ऑनेस्ट ये वाली
quiet in that early game, but somehow they've already gotten 5 eliminations here. TAG waiting in the wings. They need to take this fight to be able to get. Sorry, they would take a fight to
तो जो टीम्स थोड़ा स्लो खेलती हैं उतना केपी नहीं लेती है वो लोग का मुश्किल है
with the sprays on top side, bit of chip damage, but it's not more than that he can do.
Chrono being used by Team Apex Gaming. They will survive this, but there's Jonah and the shield gun peppering them one after another. Jonah gets a double as well as he puts 2 of the players down. Vasana wants the confirmation. He's not letting them go. Along with Jonah, 2 players from Team Apex Gaming are put to rest.
I guess maybe मतलब मुझे इतना पता नहीं है गेम के बारे में, but maybe ऐसा करते हो टीम्स की मैच पॉइंट जाने तक वो लोग वो करते हो कि अग्रेसिव खेलो, बहुत किल्स उठाओ, मतलब instead of trying to win ऐसा खेलो एकदम अग्रेसिव एंड देन मैच पॉइंट होने के बाद उनको बुया के लिए खेलना होगा. मे बी ऐसा करते हो, मतलब मैं गेस मारती हूँ जो टीम्स को उतना कॉन्फिडेंस है, क्योंकि इधर तो भाई इतनी ज़्यादा क्रेजी टीम्स है पूरी, मतलब स्टैग लॉबी है और उसमें अपनी 2 इंडियन टीम्स जो पहली बार खेल रही है इस लेवल पे, लिटरली बाकी टीम्स खेलती आ रही हैं और ये अपनी टीम पहली बार खेल रही है, मतलब वही बहुत बड़ी बात है. पहली बारी में फाइनल्स तक आना
Besides just move away from the area just for some little bit more time, could cross paths to the players for Twisted Minds on the top side.
I want to see now Brave United, the same strategy
अभी 2 घंटे पहले तक मैं आलस खा के पड़ी थी, फिर मुझे रियलाइजेशन हुआ शिट मुझे काम है और स्ट्रीम का टाइम होने वाला है, फिर मैंने फट सब किया, इसके लिए मैं फिर भी लेट हो गई, थोड़ा सा मिसकैलकुलेशन हो गया काम में. हाय रंजीत, बढ़िया है
Lion, at least for the time being, safe keep. They activated Steffi. The painted refuge will protect them for the time being. But now
नींद
they
तो
have to get
खूब ही
closer.
है बट नींद
Falcon
पूरी
shots,
नहीं हो रही
they're
मैं
not
बोल रही हूँ ना
connected as
आजकल
best
मुझे
as they
रात
would
को
have wanted, and this start has also
एक्सट्रीम
not
पे
been great.
फील
However,
होता है
an
बहुत
answer back is something
एग्जॉस्टेड
that we spoke about. Tag
वो
has
सीन
somehow
चल
found
ही रहा है
something.
मेरे को
But
पता
Lion,
नहीं क्या हो रहा है
their
बट
challenge and
बहुत
their entry, and they
ऐसा
find a
लगता है
player from
नजर
Twisted
में और
Minds
ऐसा होता नहीं था
somewhere in the
यूजुअली
scares.
You
मेरे
know
को
what's
कभी
really
मैं
crazy
स्ट्रीम पे
looking at
दिखती
Lion
नहीं
right now? They're able
बट
to not only take
फ्रीक्वेंटली
this
हो
fight,
रहा
but
है
even
जब से
throw
बीमार पड़ी
bodies as
उसके
a
बाद
four.
से
Evo's in trouble. Ray
आई
buried
गेस एक दिन मुझे
alive
रात
right
की
now,
स्ट्रीम
taking
से
a
ब्रेक
lot of
लेके
damage.
ठीक
But
करना होगा
Guacos,
मे बी
and
ठीक
now
हो
the
जाए
lull and the wait. It's big of lull and wait.
आज
So their members getting
आज
completely
वॉच पार्टी
swarmed.
बहुत लेट
Oh,
तक
this
हुई
is a battle that everyone has
So
been
I
waiting
might
for.
skip
Brim
it
going
too.
against Fluxo, but we've seen
बस I hope फिर
Fluxo
पास
lose
ना
2
हो
of their
यार
players, and the jump is on. But the
उससे याद
set
आया
of
मैंने
the
खाना भी
zone
नहीं
might
खाया
force
भूख लगी है
them to
मुझे
move away. MT7 as well as Gio right now
पेट
just
में
holding
चूहे
their
कूद रहे हैं
ground. But Jonah with that stealth bite,
That
using
shouldn't
that
be
Morris,
allowed
a
to not
surprise hit
exist on
might
a
be done.
weekend.
And great timing for a combination of
Absolutely,
Wasada as well as Get High for that push and probably the elimination.
There's a counter. Gio for the timing, but doesn't work again. The shield gun coming through. And this time it's going to be Get High. And Buriram United Esports, they will be able to put a rest.
Oh
to the
my god,
aggression.
Chivu, thank
And
you
with
so
that, you also
much.
see SHUL
सिर्फ
Esports
मैंने
getting
बटरफ्लाई का
eliminated.
वो
A lot
चैट
of
में बड़ी सी
losses,
बिकनी
one
वाला
after
मिस
another,
कर
as
दिया
Solana
यार
has very less space.
बट आई एम
Yeah, not a
श्योर
lot of
कि
space, and
बहुत
everyone
सुंदर
seems to have
लग
found a
रही
small
होगी डब्ल्यू
part
शिव
of that
थैंक
high.
यू
But the Falcons, look at their positioning on the
बीमार
top of
होने
this
की वजह से
building,
हुआ है मेरे को
and
लग
you've
रहा है
seen
मेरे
how
को लग
much
रहा है
damage they can do with the snipers, with the
इनका
long
पार
range
हुई भाई
weapons,
मेरा
and
ध्यान
most
ही नहीं था
importantly, the ones on
मैं
the
याद
bottom
करने में
side
बिजी
here
थी
are going to have to compete for that space. Meanwhile, for Shoto in trouble, AGL putting that
Excuse me.
pressure onto him, and this
अपनी
guy
टीम
has
बाहर
been
होगी
the hero
टैग वन
for
मैन है
this
टैग
team,
भी ऑलमोस्ट
pulling
बाहर
them
ही
out
है
from so many very, very dire situations. But in this situation, they
शोटो
can't do more than
एंटी
that.
शोटो
Because it's going to be Buram United steals away the point,
भाई
and
शोटो की तो
AGL
पूरी
not a lot of
फैमिली
space to
गई है
work
उधर
with.
सोचो
AGL,
सपोर्ट
they
करने
have just a bus to protect themselves, but on the other end, Buriram,
Is
they have
that
an
not
entire
crazy?
compound. It seems like a farming land for themselves. 15 eliminations. This is game number 1. They're looking unstoppable. Riptide Rhythm, they want to break down AGL. Nothing's working. Flash freeze, Nate's being tossed. Riptide Rhythm again. AGL might get closer. Doesn't work. Varos is down. Cypher, Nameless, and you trying to close the distance. But AGL, their numbers have lost. 9 eliminations. Again, a player opening found was Sana. Might have been traded over
Hi,
you.
Gopal.
Nameless is doing with the Trojan. Moshi holding it off. And now Wasana also down. Moshi, the only one, and AGL somehow have changed this.
Well, a quick revival for Buriram United might be the saving grace for team of Buriram United. AGL did put up a great fight, but 2 is still at it, and he is going for that 1v2. Will he be able to survive? The answer is no, and they were going for a risky approach, especially in this phase 4 of the circle. That HP or that zone will be
फाइनल
damaging
कर्स वाली
their
फीलिंग
HP,
आ रही है
and
यार
I don't
पता नहीं
know
मतलब
what could have been done at
भाई
that
मैं तो
point
इसमें
for
ही खुश हूँ कि
AGL,
अपनी
but
2
Buriram
टीम्स पहली
United
बार में
was just
फाइनल तक
waiting for
पहुंची
it.
होगी
It's
तुम
just
एक बार
unfortunate
मतलब
that they lost
लॉबी
2 of
देखते
their
हैं और
players.
फिर अपन ये देखते हैं ना कि
Used
कल
as
कौन
well.
सी टीम
Gives
बाहर
away the
हुई
game
है
for
तो वो
so many
और ज्यादा
teams.
क्रेजी
Everybody
लग
not down
रही
and
है
out
क्योंकि
yet.
बहुत
Loud is here.
लाइक
And
सारी
Guacos
अच्छी टीम्स
will
है
be
भाई
the
अभी
victim.
तक
A little
लेजिट
angle
सारे
seen by
बहुत
Russia
क्रेजी
wants to
टीम्स
be
हैं
abused. A double swing as
तो
well.
जो हम
Making sure that no
वाइटैलिटी
one
को
survives initial skirmish.
बाहर करके
And the
फाइनल्स
Lions
पहुंचे 3
cannot
पॉइंट्स है
survive
तब
longer. There are
क्रेजी
now
है
3
भाई
teams left.
Thanks to Aim God, Evo's
मेरे को
still
तो वो सोच
survived,
के वैसे
but the
लग रहा है
dash
कि
coming
भाई
out from
W
Falcons, that was crazy. Almost ended up putting Evos to rest.
Now, this is an ending that we haven't seen for a long time. No full squad in contention.
सारे के सारे 2 मैन बचे
Remains
हैं
2v2v2, but we are
Blue
seeing
is gonna
Moshi. And there have been a lot of comments
Blue is
where
gonna
Moshi could have been putting that much on the snipe already, but this is a place to really show up.
Look at the last 3 teams. How much do they have in surviving? Just 2 each.
Yep,
It's a
match point है
2v2v2.
शिवू 90
Evos, Loud
पॉइंट्स
and Buriram United.
90 points
Evos
achieve करने
are
के
the
बाद जो
defending
बुया लेगा
EWC 25
वो जीत
champions.
जाएगा
Now looking forward to EWC 26. Loud, they won the very first
इसमें
trophy
शायद
for
उसको
President.
champion
Buriram
rush
United
बोलते हैं
on the biggest in the cabinet, that is EWC.
Jonah has been a heavy hitter for this game, but a box falls. Moshi, great shot coming in from the area. But the circle is shifting and everyone is just trying to find that space, but Loud is a little bit quicker to the zone. They have positions, they have the high ground angles, and it gives a lot of question marks for the rest of the teams for their rotations.
Well, as you say, first to the circle, first to the win. Let's see if they'll be able to pull it off. And God, not so much of contention. Even with a inhaler, he might not be able to survive. But he did manage should go for a clutch, a 1v2 in this fight. And now he has to deal with 2 players from Team Loud.
He got help from Loud. That is the reason Buriram United instantly shut down. But as you said, it is a 1v2. Look at him sneakily walking across, crouching, making sure. Loud have no idea, but BCP has spotted him. Aimbot, SVD, can he connect the first? If he can bring it down to 1v1, it's better. But the information delayed. And as long as time passes, it is Loud that will surround him. And we know Nix, he's such a good player. And once he gets to the CQC, he will instantly put the player down.
He's rushing forward here right now. He's able to just go for the 1v1. It'll be really good. His shots go wide, but they're crunching from 2 different angles. The respect's given. And Loud makes sure
राउंड तो वैसे भी टॉप 4 से नीचे तो बात ही नहीं करते.
Team Loud.
टॉप 4 से नीचे तो बात ही नहीं करते ये लोग.
Are the loudest to start the free fire here at Esports World Cup 26 Paris' grand finals. What a game coming in, and Nix, we knew he had this potential. They were waiting to get to the final, started off, and in the very first game for Brazil, they opened with a booyah.
Oh, this is what everyone has been looking forward to. Who's going to get that first booyah? But we also seen a lot of elimination from the other teams who didn't make it this far.
Oh,
Let's take a look
wow.
at the replay right now. And
क्या
this is
सुंदर
one
लग रहे थे
foul
भाई
play
tulips.
coming from
Thank you,
Evo's, but it's just
Shivu.
unfortunate that
W.
the pressure is on not only
पूरी
on
चार्ट
those
में फूल
HP,
फूल तो
but
वैसे
also
पहले से ही हैं बहुत
on
सारे
that,
फूल
that
और
soul
फूल दिखे मजा आया. गाइस मैं शॉर्ट पिन किया.
Oh no, crazy work coming in from Loud as well. I think one thing's for sure though, we all had our favorites. We saw our favorite players just completely farming it out. But when it matters the most, that final moment, Loud prioritizing positioning over these fights gave them so much extra advantage to just give them not only the booyah but those extra placement points.
Yeah, they needed it. They wanted a good start. We've been seeing Loud. We even spoke about it, right? In the group they were in, they were very consistent. They ended up getting 2 booyahs to start things off. But Buriram United Esports, unfortunate for them, they had an opportunity. They should have been the ones closing it. Look at them. Without the booyah, they have 30 total points, 22 eliminations.
But
if not for Loud Snickers,
is so
if not for Nix from that
great.
far angle, finding a clash and helping Aimbot
Thank
out,
you,
we
King
have seen Buriram with the win.
I mean, we've seen this side room from before.
भाई
Not in group
सुंदर
stage.
सुंदर
Yeah, like, they
चीजें
did manage to get
जाती है.
23, so this is not even close to the record that they have. But I'm really loving this side of BRU. The aggression is really needed, especially first match of the day, because it's not just the booyah that is needed by the team in this early parts. It's more of farming the numbers to get to that 90.
You know what's really insane? I think I said to them, well, it's going to be a bit more quiet from Buriram United early, and it was. But throughout all of that, Jonah was farming so many eliminations. Out of all of that, I believe he had like, 13 to 15 eliminations by himself. And for now, who better to break it down for us other than the analysts later? We'll be right back before we go to that.
ओ मैंने देख ली. मस्त लग रही है. थैंक यू किंग ओपी. थैंक यू. फिर से देखी. पर्पल मस्त लग रही थी. मैं इसके लिए इधर ही देख रही थी. नजर ही नहीं हटाई मैंने. क्यूट. यप. थैंक यू. फिर नहीं देखी मैंने. ये तो है ही बॉट. हाय टॉनी, व्हाट्स अप?
I moved from a small town to a big town like São Paulo, and they always hugged me, made me part of the family. We started with a little since we are W7M in the past, and now we are Fluxo W7M. Literally hugged me and made me part of the family. I feel that I'm part of everything that's happening
Maggie
and they
मुझे
give me the chance to
I
come
only
here.
tried
For
Maggie
real,
and
it's
वो
like more
मतलब
family
बहुत
than my
rarely
family
खाती हूँ
real.
ना जून्स नहीं बचे ओ नो फाइनल मैच में लास्ट जोन में एपेक्स और एसिडल हुआ तो फाइनल मैच का भी से सोच लो तुम
Important game on Brazil since they made a chance for everyone first to be here, first to
देखो
play.
उसका वैसे तो बहुत टफ है
इधर
इधर क्योंकि बहुत ज्यादा क्रेजी टीम है इवन इफ वी मेक इट टॉप 5 नो बहुत बड़ी बात है बहुत बड़ी क्या बहुत ही ज्यादा बड़ी बात है इस इतनी स्टैक लॉबी में टॉप 5 कोई भी एक भी इंडियन टीम लेजिट दे आर हियर फॉर द फर्स्ट टाइम बट देन अगेन जो तुम बोल रहे हो वैसा हुआ कि फाइनल मैच वो दोनों ही बची है भाई वो तो उससे बेस्ट क्या होगा इंसेन हो जाएगा वो तो
never came to Paris and never came to this side of Europe, and it's incredible. We went to Eiffel Tower in day, night. Paris looks like an art piece. Everywhere you look, it looks like an art piece, looks like a movie. So it's very, very beautiful.
Well, let's get loud here for Free Fire. I'm Lace, joined by
पाजी से सारा
Kachina.
हमें ही मिलता है
The
ना
Brazilian teams are arguably some of the best teams that we have in the
But she was
competition
asking-
today, and they have a lot to try and earn today, taking over the Southeast Asia's team. They really, really want this, and of course, Loud coming out with 33 points and 22 eliminations. Kajito, what an
this is like
exceptional
better
start
than
for our
Super
Brazilian
Chat.
teams.
Yes, of course, but if we're talking about Brazilian teams, isn't it also a surprise to
Super
see
Chat में
Lost
बहुत
got
कट
sent back
जाता है
really
YouTube
soon to the lobby, and RRQ from Indonesia was the
इसमें
one who
बहुत
got
कम है,
them sent back.
बहुत
I mean,
कम है।
yes, RRQ did drop
5%
at Delta
देता है
Isle, and they
YT,
had to
देखो।
fight their way through loss. They managed to get out.
Guys,
I
Jules
mean,
भेजा
I
करो,
am pretty
Jules।
proud of RRQ today, even though they didn't get that much points. They had to fight against Falcons, which they managed to edge out. They also had a very intense meeting with Twisted, who almost got them twisted. But all in all, EFOS Divine was also very phenomenal. I mean, that was crazy. The last fight with AIM got as the last man standing. I am just so excited.
I mean, and of course we want to see all these teams do incredibly well, but it looks like Loud is
They
leading
give
the
me
pack
way
at
up.
the moment. But of course, we're going to get the game started sooner than later. And let's throw it over to Tash, Lucifer. Let's go.
And also Neptune. It's okay. I haven't forgotten you. Now, you know, we are
Oh,
hearing
wow.
right now that Loud is
So fast,
currently
man. Let's
the
go.
team that is leading the pack, at least in terms of Booyah. But points-wise, though, it's still in favor of Buram United. After all, it is the first map, but showcasing our skills on the second map when everyone's in momentum is going to change.
Yeah, well, definitely it needs to change right now because from what we're seeing, they're already 1/3 of what is needed right now to be able to activate that match point. But judging from where everyone is dropping for the flight path that we have, and you know for a fact that this is my favorite map. The skewed flight path, or somewhat skewed flight path that we've seen, might have forced the team to go in for those hot drops. But look at that, Team Fluxo and Team Apex Gaming. I think they're going to start it hot on that golf course.
Sahil Jad is the closest, and there it is. Bullets being rattled. Mini Uzi, but also a scar on and dash from Butson. But Sahil dodges that. Blue wall being used, but I don't think he has enough resources for the very start. And Butson is quick on it, gets the very first elimination of our match 2. I really like that you mentioned this match point. Everybody needs to understand, it's no more about getting to the top of the charts, it's about reaching 90 points, and that's what EVOS want to do, but will be failed because of Cypher. AGL also missed their opportunity just because of how Buriram somehow held themselves, because AGL looked like they were about to shut down Buriram.
Yeah, I mean, the silent AGAL was there, almost getting into it. But now, with that Cypher elimination, they're now ahead of EVOS. But we'll have to see, though, because we still have Ray and Rasia in play. And look at what Pecker coming from Ray.
How many
This could be the game
matches?
changer.
Kuch
If in
fixed
case
nahi hai,
Ju
abhi एक QA,
moves
this
up
is the
that
second
hill,
one.
but knowing Du and knowing the potential of any other sniper in this competition, he will not be going there.
It's going to be very interesting because we've seen so many resets coming through from EVOS this early. I would say around disadvantages have been, I would say, saved so many times from these teams. Regardless, as we look through the area right now, no one's really too actively going for fights. But the southern side, though, very interesting to me.
While we were discussing about how the southern side would be, where teams will be fighting out. Buriram again find one more on Evos. It seems like Buriram is looking unstoppable. They do not want to stop, but so does even Tag. Sahil Jat might have been lost, but now an opportunity for Shoto.
Oh my God, Shivansh, thank you so much. Thank you, yaar, Shivu. Thank you.
So Tag is rallying towards this
Thank
fight.
you for the 1,000.
We have 3 teams on the southern island of
Thank you for the 1,000 on
and
GPay, yaar. Thank you so much, guys. W ho jaye.
Because RQ
Team
then
ke
managed to
liye,
start it
thank
off
you.
on a lightning zone just to make sure that they have limited advantage when they try to go in for a rush on Central.
Last
And
match
they are
tak-
targeting Team
last
Apex
match tak
Gaming.
log
But Team
पूछेंगे.
Apex Gaming knows what they
अच्छा,
need to be
lol,
done.
हाँ.
Lightning zone is
मैंने
here.
पढ़ा
Just
last
hide
match तक
out on those
पहुंचेंगे
rooftops.
मतलब क्या?
And most importantly as well, we also see the rotations coming in from the Falcons. And meanwhile, over on this side, Lost currently wanting to catch up in the points that they had missed out earlier. Now Rahone on one side here, tagged onto Evo's players, but Abax from downtown managing to steal the point away. But they're not done quite yet. Being so aware of the positioning where Yago is and the rest, AGL also close by.
Very difficult for MIBR loss. They were not only fighting with one team, but AGL, look at Cypher. This might be a distraction because his teammates are close by. But defending a 1v1 is going to be difficult with Yago lost. MIBR lost. They already went out with 0 points in the previous game, and now if they do it, it's going to be even more tougher.
You might be right with that Cypher being the bait. And there goes the push! The first time ever in EWC, we see that knock up with that vehicle. And they only have 1 left out of MIBR lost. But nothing is lost right now. A full revive has happened.
Yeah, and now they go again, this time against EVOS. AimGod takes a bit of damage here, Barrows bought a bit of time. And throughout all that, AMAX has already been stolen away into the lobby. AimGod tries to go for the reset. Valiant dashes away to safety for the time being. EVOS stuck, rushes forward. HP so very low by AimGod. But now for Ray, gonna be swarmed by all the members of AGAL, not able to survive.
This is why your skills are important. Electrotherapy protecting them for far so long. That is the reason EVOS couldn't fight back. They had only 2 members and them getting taken down. Thankfully, that's not a full elimination, but there was an elimination that happened. That is Team Apex Gaming and Falcons. Seems like game number 2 is their comeback.
LSEDO, they can come back right now. They are just going in the edge of a circle, still hanging on that south side, and they thought they might be able to find someone on Central, but they were a little bit too late to party right now. But from what we're seeing, they are gathering all the loot that they have, and they're just going for the basic gameplay. Silent in the beginning, and then deadly towards mid to end. But the only question though is how are they going to find their way into the next phase of the circle? We still have a few moments before it closes in and the second phase shows up, but the battle between AGAL and EVOS is not yet done.
EVOS, what is happening? ABAX will be able to revive, but look at AGAL, Cypher. Right to the face with the M590 Valiant Dash. And now another conversion, 9 elimination. AGL, what they missed out because of Buriram in the previous game, they want to make it happen. 30 points what Buriram pulled off. AGL want to do it.
तीन बंदे कब मरे?
Buriram have
वो तो recall हो जाएंगे, but tap पूरी eliminate हो गए.
global champions of 25.
उड़ के knock हुआ नहीं, अब मैं देख सकती हूँ आराम से थोड़ा.
Falcons, they want to get back to their winning ways that they had in 24. They want another EWC title
Now
for
I think what
themselves and 6
peacefully
total
guys.
In
eliminations.
this situation as well, the lull, the silence is here, but the middle side of the map is very interesting. As Fluxo.
हाय दीदी, ये टोटल कितने मैचेस है इसमें ना? फिक्स नंबर ऑफ मैचेस नहीं है. देख लो 10 से 12 तो आराम से लेके चलो कि होंगे, बिकॉज इसमें भी एपेक्स में जैसे था मैच पॉइंट सिस्टम है, तो 90 पॉइंट्स जिस टीम के हो जाएंगे. 90 पॉइंट्स होने के बाद वो लोग को सिर्फ एक बुया निकालना है, मतलब मैच जीतना है बेसिकली. तो जो टीम जैसे 90 पॉइंट्स हिट करती जाएंगी, दे आर एलिजिबल. उसके बाद उनको बस एक गेम जीतना है. जो भी पहले जीतेगा वो जीत जाएगा, विनर होगा.
And as you see it, both of the 3 of the teams are in there right now. And look at the numbers that these players has been bringing in. And we have highlighted already, Brim United. The number that they can put in the fight, that only shows why Jonah and Moshi is the best players so far in this lobby.
But you see in the mix of it, there's Dew. That was the reason how AGL almost looked like they would survive. Did not still, but now this is game 2. Purgatory, a lot could change, and that's what Falcons also want to. MIB are lost. They want to change their fate from getting out of 0 points to at least something. But it so far doesn't seem to be the case. Even SAQ, they want their points, but Maal 77 says that is going to be an elimination. And right at the riverbank, will sweep away SAQ's chances once again.
Well, Maal, the deadly sniper from Indonesia, right now going solo. Rest was still not found in this map, but I know there is a plan. They are the mastermind into the stealth mode with that. Stealth wise, using that more skill, they might be heading in to where this engagement is happening between Loud and MIB are lost.
General taking a lot of damage right now. Bear Life managing to just survive. The pressure coming in from Loud, this high ground, gives them so much value. But Joker, on the other side, they're managing to pick off here, but Loud hasn't been moved quite yet. The lightning zone does come through. General falls. And now Keroro, the Falcons, decide to join in as well. BZP still hasn't picked up already. Keroro finding a nice angle to work with. Goes a bit wide. Finally getting that shot onto Nyx. But the Falcons as well are suffering heavy damage. Bina, Keroro fall. And right now, both teams are barely alive. What are they to do here? Because the RRQ gang has decided to join in.
Falcons had a second chance. They instantly went for the revive. So there is a lifeline for them. But Loud, they're trapped. Trap was the only savior. He used the M79 to bail it out, but he is simply surviving at the bottom of the hill. And RRQ now charging in. They will get it on fire. That's an added elimination. But can he hold off? Can Falcons actually make a comeback? They're close by. If he holds off for the time being, then RRQ, they might get surrounded once again.
Now that's one thing that we can depend on Fire. He can go for the distraction while the rest of the team is setting up. There goes On Fire, launch pad right now, but it was Limit who was been taken down by a different squad. AGAL has inserted a coin. He is now ready to be the next challenger in this battle. But from this moment, once the second to the third phase is closing in, we expect the teams to slow down, but I guess they are chasing and hungry for those points.
You want to be able to keep up. Again, we started this map 1/3 of the way to match point. You don't want to allow a team to run away with that. We talked a little bit about Buram United having a quiet start, and this map in particular has been extra for them as well. However, positioning-wise, they look really good right now.
Guys,
taking their time,
like,
and
do you
it's
guys have
open
a
areas in front of
name?
them. They don't really have to really
ऐसा
fight their
दिमाग
way
में कि
into the zone.
ये लोग ही जीतेंगे
Fighting
ऐसा मतलब
is
एक ही
the
नहीं
only name of the game today. Everybody
एक ही
has
कोई
to,
टीम
because
कि
of the
यही
match point
जीत रहे
condition
हैं
that they have to fulfill
PWC
if they want to become the
#1
champions at the end of the day. Fluxo, not the best start that they have also had here in Purgatory. How do they get out of it? They go back towards the vending machine to recover their players first. A revival point is also close, but they have enough coins and they will get the player back up. 4 all strong together.
बट मुझे भी वही ब्रू का था, पर मुझे उस पर किसी पता नहीं क्यों लग रहा है नहीं कि ब्रू एंड में ना ऐसा थर्ड रह जाएगी, सेकंड थर्ड रह जाएगी, पता नहीं
they can soak outside of that circle, but there's one thing that they need to worry about. The shift has already moved to campsite, and we've seen AGAL already holding on, taking a high ground, and this is deadly, especially in this kind of situation. Same goes for Evos, and Rastia is just waiting for the opportunity. Might be able to pull out that launch pad. A little bit of exchange though. Hands it over to Ray, just in case they need to pull out. They will be able to do it and fly away.
या एग्जैक्टली क्योंकि इसमें वैसा है ना कि 90 के बाद जीतना है तो थोड़ा वो है कि भाई क्या पता कोई और जीत जाए. कंसिस्टेंट है ब्रू, वो लोग 90 हिट बहुत जल्दी करेंगे, लेकिन उसके बाद वो लोग एक मैच जीतेंगे या नहीं वो नहीं पता ना. वही अनसर्टेनिटी आ जाती है ये सिस्टम में, ये कॉन्सेप्ट में, उसी में मजा आता है.
RQ is happy they got this spot. Falcons left it and the circle still keeps the position of the containers and they will keep it.
भाई भाई ठीक है, भाई भाई ओके.
Falcons because they left this position
थोड़ा एंड में रहे दोनों मजा आ
they
जाएगा
also have an idea. So right now RRQ have to be wary that
Bro.
their enemies in the closest surroundings,
भाई.
and especially that they're out in the open, anybody could target them.
अभी
But
कपिल
targeting,
लिखेगा
when we
सेंटर
speak
तो
about
शीरो ने
the
जीत
Twisted
किया था.
Minds, they did that in Group B and took the top spot. And now what do they do to get those points?
Now let's see though, because they are very close. against Team Falcons and also Trap from behind, and they get the next phase of the circle, so no one will be moving away from campsite. But for those who are surrounding as well as jumping in across that river, trouble is brewing. Grim United against Fluxo once again. And let's see though who's going to win. The Lightning Zone has been triggered, and no one is moving that much because they don't want to hit by that from Fluxo. They are just holding their ground, not letting Grim United in. The gatekeep is on.
Yeah, the high ground here is good, but Wasana great to take away that space, and they are going to collapse. Great work from Fluxo to take away that space to keep the rest of Buram United at bay. MT7 just now almost getting knocked down here, but I'm loving the fact that they're so patient in keeping them away. Now Buram United forced to reposition, but meanwhile for Lost, gonna take this fight head on against AGAL.
It might be a loss. So far still no eliminations, but they're close
But
to
how is
AGAL, who have the highest in the lobby, 11 in total. Can there be more for AGAL, or is it going to be vice versa? It might be a loss. Open up with their very first. Damage being done. Valiant dash being used. Rigby with the Bison finds Barros. That is the opening, and they're all stuck inside the away. This is going to be difficult. Cypher also caught out. Surrounding with the glue walls. General jumping across the board, and Rigby finds another that's nameless. And then the last to answer with that AGL will be put to rest. And MIB
stuck in one trailer when they thought they will be able to go for a pickup. And with one blue wall, they do have the windows open. But speaking of windows open, window is opening for Team Falcons, especially with limit on those knives. And same goes with Twisted Mind. And who is the target? The one and only Wasana, who is just going solo right now. And that's 1 out of 2 remaining players. Make that one or none of the one remaining players
Yeah, cannot really move, but Moshi is still around. Just whether or not he's going to be able to survive all the way till the end. As for Twisted Minds, they have all the idea in the world now to take that trap, to be able to take away space from the Falcons. Now, it's going to be difficult. You don't know where exactly everyone's going to be. The lack of information keeps the players at bay. And while all of that is happening, Joker had already been knocked down there by Made in Brazil loss.
We are like the bottom two.
They needed this opening, they needed this start, and now they're getting eliminations. But the next best team after AGL going out is going to be Twisted Minds with 10 eliminations. But RRQ, they instantly get put down. What was this by Fluxo? Puts in MT7, all of them together put RRQ out. And now Twisted Minds, they have another challenge with Falcons throwing the mentors.
6 teams remaining, 4 full squad in this fight. Twisted Minds still holding on. Gatekeeping Team Falcons not to get in, but on the other side, Moshe, the final player from BRU, will be taken down. Now the battle is not yet over. It is MIBR against Fluxo right now, but from what we see, Wuzin is just that aggressive F590 hand, and the rest of the squad is just waiting. They split up on a 2-2.
Fluxo, they need this chance. MIB a loss on the other end. Rigby, the man who was finding the openings, he's been taken down. Yiyu is the one, but Glue Wall will protect. They will be able to bring the player back up, but there is MT7. He puts the player General down, and Fluxo are turning this against their own counterparts from the region. Confirmation on Rigby. Rawan and Yago, the last survivors. Bobs is down. This is an opportunity. Bobs with the dash. Instantly trying to put one player down, but he will get knocked with the Max 7. Coming down to a 1v1, and it's MT7. He finds and ends MIB alone.
And now the collapse happens. They have to shift forward here. Twisted Minds coming through. Loud will be annihilated. And somehow throughout it all, Twisted Minds' patience will be rewarded with a booyah.
Patience truly is a virtue. No, they didn't really rush in against opponents right there. They know the timing that they have to take. Even got a few elimination from afar. As I always say, aggression from a distance. And this is where they can get all those points. The only question though is it enough?
Yeah, is it enough? I think that's the question everybody's asking themselves. How many points did we acquire? Where did we end up? Especially because in that last fight, right, except for Twisted Minds who know they got the booyah and they have 12 points, everybody else is wondering, is our elimination as well as placement points enough for us to get back towards the top 5? Because I think at the end of game 2, that's what they have to think about.
And it's a good story as well for Twisted Mind right now, because imagine, I'm ending the previous map or starting this current game, with only 5 points. So
Yeah.
they need that additional 12 points from Booyah, as well as any elimination that they managed to pull in that game. But I'm really looking forward to some of the shuffle that will be happening on the leaderboard in a bit, because there's a lot of engagement that we've seen from that match.
We are starting to see, I would say, the consistent teams really just rise to the top, right? But most importantly right now, I'd like to say that despite some teams not being able to come play or at least shoot back in map 1, are starting to rise again in this map.
You can see Loud was happy about it because they again ended up coming in the hashtag too, because that is enough points to keep them at the top. However, Twisted Minds from Thailand, this is a team that, while the other Thailand teams who are in the top have won titles, this is not a team that everybody is eyeing on.
Yep.
But they managed to get the second Booyah. This is why today's grand finals, here we were expecting that anything can happen. You cannot count on one team. If you think Buriram is going to get it, no, right now just Twisted Minds did it. Buriram should have had the first Booyah, but Loud got it. A lot going on throughout our matches now.
You did mention a second Booyah, so technically this is a second Booyah of
Yeah.
Twisted Mind all throughout the competition. And we rarely see them really on the top 3. 4 out of 12 from when they played in group stage and group B, when they ended up in the top 3. But this is just them switching it up. What I was expecting was just Mind to be just all out aggressive.
Yeah.
They tried to do so in game number 1, but it did fail. So why not change it up?
Yeah, I mean, changing it up is always really good as well. It throws the, your teammates, not teammates, your other teams in the lobby, off as well. But what I really like to see as well is just really being able to just really take your time. Being really patient is also really good. We have teams that are really, really aggressive and high energy, and somehow they just really just run out of gas in after this.
There's an interview. Let's send it over to Carol.
Hello everyone, Carol Bombshell here. It's a pleasure to be here on stage with you guys. Are you guys enjoying Free Fire? The first 2 match was amazing, but not as amazing that was for this guy over here, Trap, the team captain for Loud's team. And of course, you guys had a great start today. Start with a Booyah for sure. It was amazing for you. So how important it is to get off to a strong start in the finals so you can reach the match point. Como é que foi para vocês começarem já com um buiazão aí, né? Já tirar essa pressão aí de dentro. É muito importante para vocês já darem esse primeiro buia?
Com certeza, a confiança que já estava alta vai ainda mais lá em cima. Um buia e um top 2 agora, mesmo com as dificuldades da queda, conseguir segurar o top 2 aí. E é isso, não sei ainda a posição que nós está na tabela, mas estamos muito confiantes.
Awesome. As a Brazilian team has never won a WC before. What would it mean to bring the first AWC Free Fire trophy home to Brazil? O time brasileiro nunca ganhou o EWC, isso é certo, a gente já sabe. O que significaria para você, como jogador, e para o time da Loud serem os primeiros campeões do EWC? Os primeiros brasileiros campeões do EWC.
Se tudo correr bem, vai ser incrível, né? Porque ninguém ganhou ainda no Brasil. E quando você consegue uma coisa única, é ainda mais satisfatória. E a gente quer muito ser campeão mundial. E ser campeão mundial de uma coisa que ninguém tem, vai ser melhor ainda.
Amazing. So basically what he said was, I'm going crazy right now because getting the first Booyah here give us such a great confidence. We get more secure. We can team up even better. We are really happy, but I'm definitely going crazy because I want to know in which position we are in the standings. We know that Buriram was in the first after the first match, but right now we want to know in which positions we find ourselves. And of course, being the first Brazilian team to win at AWC 26 would mean a lot to us, especially representing Loud right now. We know that we can get there, and that's our mission and our goal for today. Thanks so much for the interview, Trap. We wish you the best of luck for you guys. And of course, me and you are gonna watch a lot more of Free Fire. So keep it up with us and back to the studio.
चलता रहेगा जब तक 90 के बाद कोई टीम नहीं जीतेगी, चलता रहेगा. मतलब मोस्टली फ्री फायर में 12 गेम्स के अंदर हो जाता है. लिक्विड अभी नहीं, ऐसा नहीं, ऐसा नहीं होता तो वो लोग बता देते ना हम लोग को. एंड तक जा 4-5 मैच में क्रेजी भाई. में काफी मैचेस होंगे, 4-5 तो नहीं, बहुत होंगे मेरे हिसाब से तो।
रुक जा जैक, रुक जा आने दे
भाई, लेकिन एक्चुअल में ना इनमें कुछ टीम्स बहुत ही ज्यादा क्रेजी है। 12 में मजा नहीं आएगा, 30 गेम होने चाहिए भाई। मतलब प्लेयर का क्या होगा?
Vào thìมึงก็เกี่ยวดิแม่ยิงหัวกูเด็ด
Ooh, look who's here if it's not MT7 and Iago, the two best snipers in Brazil. I mean, of course, we have a lot of best snipers in Brazil, but right now I want to talk with both of you because I know there's a competition going on in Brazil soil, but I want to know all about here at AWC 26. MT7, you share with us your desire to be the MVP, but also the winner here. So what's more important for you right now, the MVP or to be the winner? Qual que é o seu maior desejo? Você contou pra gente que você quer ser o campeão, obviamente, mas também o MVP, o que você preferiria agora?
Ah, com certeza, sem sombra de dúvidas nenhuma, ser campeão. Mas se vier um campeão MVP, já tá bom demais pra mim também, né?
What happens if you're the winner, but Iago is the MVP? E se acontecesse de você ser o campeão e o Iago MVP?
Ah, não, tá de boa. Aí depois eu pego no Brasil e tá tudo tranquilo também.
Oh, that's okay, because he can be the MVP here, and then I will, of course, get it back in Brazil when we are back home. But Iago, you're finally back in a World Championship. What is the feeling to be back here at AWC after 2 years? Você tá de volta num campeonato mundial e qual é o sentimento de estar aqui depois de 2 anos?
Ah, sempre é muito bom, né? Disputar em alto nível, ainda principalmente no Mundial, como EWC também, que é muito importante para todos, então é muito bom. E agora espero manter para muito tempo aí em vários mundiais.
Did you see that Baby Gold said he wants the MVP and also be the winner? What do you think of that? Você viu que ele falou, né, que ele quer ser o MVP e também o campeão. O que você acha disso?
Bom, é muito bom para ele, mas só que acho que todos os outros que estão aqui também sonham e querem ser MVP. Então é um bagulho muito difícil e todo mundo, ele tá certo, todo mundo tem que ter esse desejo, essa ambição de querer ser MVP e ser campeão. Então ele tá certo.
Well, if his desire is the desire of most of players
streaming.
here, he definitely
Because
right because
Modern is
all
not
of us
streaming.
wanted.
गुस्सा हो गई, क्यों गुस्सा दिला रहे हो तो भाई? Very bad.
Well, those first 2 matches definitely set the tone for this finals day of Free Fire at EWC 26. We expected the teams, certain teams, to come out hot, and boy did they did. Buriram, especially Buriram, the first match, outstanding, and you were casting it too, Neptune.
Yeah, I was excited in there to cast and as well to see them play. And from what we've seen in there, that's just the usual way for Buriram United. Just go in and grab the numbers as early as possible so that just in case anyone can catch up or they lose out on one game, they already have invested a few points.
And I'm excited to see what Buriram is going to be doing on that 3rd match because this last match, they didn't get as many eliminations as we expected them to. Talking about teams that weren't really performing that well in the first 2 matches, we got to talk about the Indian teams. A lot of people were expecting them to come in hot. They're currently just not being able to perform against the top dogs. We'll see if maybe a switch up is going to happen with those squads. But I know you want to talk about Evils.
Yes, I want to talk about Evils and RRQ in particular because boy, oh boy, my teams were booked and busy the first 2 maps. I think it's just a little bit of luckiness when it comes to the drop zone because especially RRQ, if you're talking about Purgatory, that means they're going to have to go through a lot of teams. And yeah, it was right. They have to go through Falcons. They have Apex scamming on their way. So it was definitely a hard early game for them, especially at the Fire Brigade. They were also forced to be separated by Fluxo. They lost Abai. That was a huge hit. So I think
Let me read the message to you. To activate Champion Rush, teams need to have minimum of 90 points. ठीक है? After getting 90 points, team must get Booyah to win the grand finals. ठीक है? Third point, no limit on matches. No limit on matches. No limit on matches. अब ठीक है? और वो लोग ने बोला है जो उनका कैलकुलेशन है पास्ट के टूर्नामेंट्स देख के 12 गेम्स के अंदर खत्म हो जाएगा, ऐसा बोला है. मतलब यूजुअली हो जाता है.
So much more to them for their region, and honestly, I think it was like
I repeat, no limit on matches.
So to have all three Brazilian teams representing, but of course, Loud is leading the pack in that one. After that first booyah, I mean, we heard it from the interview from the team captain. They're feeling really good about this, and it looks like they're still incredibly level-headed. But like to come out with like it was 33 points from the first match. They're not at the top of the leaderboard. You know, he was kind of saying like, oh, I wonder where we're sitting. I'm itching to see where we're sitting. I mean, knocked down to second place, but still very much in contention to win this thing.
Yeah, the Indian teams were not able to continue on with the consistency or the momentum that they were able to get yesterday. One team that was able to carry on some momentum coming into the first two matches was none other than Lion. They started off hot and they're feeling confident too. We saw them willing to take fights early on.
Yeah, especially in Solara, Eco Drain, they were just rocking
अलग
that
लेवल का
fight.
बंदा
And
है.
everyone
हाँ,
who goes into the
मतलब फ्री
compound,
फायर
anyone who
इंडिया
goes
की
into
टीम
Eco
जो
Drain,
हमें बता
they
रही है
will
वो उसको
expect
मना
a
कर रही है कि नहीं
roaring
नहीं ये
lion
गलत
in
बता
there.
रहे
Because
हैं.
like not only does it have the vending
मतलब
machine, just in case one of their
what, bro? Crazy.
players will be knocked
मैं
out or
खुद से थोड़ी बोल
eliminated,
रही
they
हूँ,
can
मतलब मैं
easily
खुद
go
से
for
कुछ
a
बोल रही हूँ तो
revive
समझ
and
भी
do
आता है
it
कि you
once
may not
again. But
agree.
that's 4 teams.
मतलब
If
मुझे
I'm not
गलत
mistaken,
पता हो
4
सकता
teams
है,
or
but like वो
3
लोग
teams
नहीं
who
बताया
introduced
ना हमें.
themselves against a
वो लोग ने
lion
जो
and
बताया मैं
Lion
वही
stayed
बता रही
alive.
हूँ.
I mean, they're carrying that same strength from the
Accidental Posey,
survival stage
Accidental
yesterday. So not only did they go
Posey
through the groups, they
I
were in
guess.
survival, and we didn't know where they were going to place. But they have that same sort of passion and aggressive play style that we saw from yesterday, bringing it into these today's games. And it looks like, I mean, Lion's going to be leading the pack. They're doing incredibly well.
A team that wants to stride that lead as well. Just make sure they
you,
kind of hunt that down and don't let it get too far away. Was the team that actually just got a booyah. Twisted Minds.
Yes, Twisted Minds were also very amazing. I mean, they went from getting 0 placement point and just 5 elimination points to getting a booyah. That is quite a turnabout. I mean, that last game, 17 elimination points. That was awesome for Twisted Minds. And mind you, this is only the second booyah that they have the whole entire tournament. So I think things are looking up for Twisted Minds. Also, Thailand has got 4 representatives at the EWC 2026
I mean, I threw
right
my
now.
cards at the first Twisted
Right,
आज ऐसे
right.
दो games back to back फट से
So,
start हुए थे
I
बीच
think
में बस
personally, it's
आया
not just
break.
Buriram United
ऐसे
Esports
ही
that
दो
we
match
have to keep
फट
an
से फट
eye
होते
for.
रहे,
It's
बड़े
also
मजा
Twisted
आते
Minds. They are slowly getting their points by points.
Yeah, I do agree.
तो
Twisted
चार
Mind, the first time
बजे
we
बस.
saw
Oh,
them,
no.
they're all aggression. Get no regards of whatever placement they get. As long as they get elimination, it doesn't matter. This just, probably they tried it in game number 1. And as you called it, they didn't do too well. Only 5 points out of that
मेरे
game.
कैमरा में
And then
नीचे
the second,
रेड
like,
क्या आ रहा है?
let's
अभी
be a little bit
देखा
smart.
मैंने.
Let's play it safe. And you've seen how well they distanced themselves from all the engagement that happened. And they managed to get that big booyah.
Yeah, we talked about earlier as well player performances. If we go back to the first match for Buriram, Joanna. 13 eliminations, absolute carry, and then we saw what Evo's, what Ingot, if I'm not mistaken, was able to do in that 1 versus 2. Is there any players coming up in this next 2 matches that we're going to be keeping a close eye on, Conchita?
I do think that Joanna's still going to kill it. I mean, Buriram has
but
2 person
पता है
that I'm
कैसा
keeping
दिख
an
रहा है
eye,
वो,
an
मेरे
eye
कैमरा
out
के
for is
ऊपर
Joanna
दिख रहा
and
है.
Moshi, because let's not forget that 6 elimination points he got in just 1 game. So yeah, I'm definitely not gonna go easy on them. The other team should be gunning for Buriram United Esports right now if they don't want to lose those points.
And one personality of Buriram United that we know of is they want to steal away the MVP from each other. So Jonah is already in there, Moshi already show up. So I won't be surprised if the combination of the Russian support, Wasana and Get High will be grabbing the next one.
And I mean, we've seen a massive improvement from them, even from EWC in 2025 as well. Like, this team obviously have, you know, won their World Series, and now you not only do they want an MVP, okay, who doesn't want that, but now if they can win that World Series and then EWC 26, imagine that trophy wall, guys, goddamn.
We're not asking
मेरे
for
को
much.
नहीं हिलना, मेरे को
We're
भी
asking for just win
जान दो
everything
पाजी।
for the year. Why not? Talking about all these players, one player that I
अरे
would like
जान
to
दो,
see
जान
him
दो।
being able to show up here at
जिसको
this
जो
stage as
मानना है,
well,
मान
that
ले।
maybe he hasn't been able to in the first two matches, and we know he performed really well in that group stage, is none other than Yago for Lost. Lost, we expected them coming in hot
We
with
just
what they were
enjoy
able
the
to do
matches.
in that
जितने
group
होंगे हम
stage,
देख
but at the
लेंगे।
moment, they're just not putting themselves in that kind of position and going with another Brazilian team, and I think we have to mention him too, Neptune, is MT7. I feel like we need to see some of those pop-up performances that we're seeing out of the other players.
Now that you mention the players right
Please
now.
be
So,
here then.
I
Please be
know
here.
it's not news to everyone.
Because
that
we are not
Yago,
having a
as
good
well
start.
as MT7
We are
has
having
been
really
rivals for a
bad
very long time. There's also a little bit of
By the way, guys, अगर
replacement
तुम लोग
happening,
ने
and you
EWC
know how it is
fantasy
in
में
Brazil.
register
They
नहीं
go
किया है, I
in for
think
those
you
battles.
should.
So I really love to
You
see
should
them face,
link his
face
pin,
up
sign
against
up
each
करें,
other,
खेले,
but that
predict
means that they
करें,
have to
मजे
go
करें,
1v1.
reward जीते.
Well, let's see if maybe we'll end up seeing a 1v1.
Link is pinned,
Match
by the
3
way, and
is
उसमें
ready.
तुम्हारे
Who's
को
going to be
पैसे वैसे
taking
नहीं
a couple
लगते,
more
it's
booyahs,
free.
and who's going to reach that
It's
threshold
free.
for the match point
And if
format
you
of
predict
90
right,
points?
it's
AJ,
basically free
take it away
money.
for me.
Yeah, boy, thank you very much, Seven. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, my name is AJ. I'm the Mustachio down here with the one and only Husky, your OG duo of Free Fire,
like
right back
Bollywood
on the desk. And man, are the games
इसने
hot
को
today.
मना
Put
किया
it
है
up,
strictly due to fatty
absolutely
liver,
streaking
bad
hot
health,
in
but
game number
चटपटा
1.
बहुत
But
खाने
game
का
2,
मन
Husky,
करता
they
है।
fizzled out.
Yeah, they
तो
did fizzle out,
suggest
and it was something
hello
that, you know, was in the making for
मना
almost
किया है
more
तो
than a
हम
year.
क्यों suggest
This is
करें,
one of
ये
the
क्या
teams
बात
that
हुई?
people want them to
Something
fill
which
out
is
the
really good
cabinet,
to
the
it, and
final
अच्छा
piece of the
unhealthy
puzzle
ना
with
हो.
the EWC trophy.
Oh.
But last year, they
Talha,
didn't even
thank
hit
you
the
so much
threshold
for the
to win EWC in
4.99
Riyadh. And right now,
pounds.
they are a third of the way there. They are more than
Thank you,
30 points
Talha.
towards the threshold of 90.
I'm good,
I
yaar.
think
How are
a
you?
couple more good
How
rounds,
you
give it 2 or
doing?
3, BRU, they
I
are
am
going
so
to be
good,
in a
but
prime
our team is
position
not
to take
doing
it all
good.
back.
थोड़ा
It
सा
looks
उनको
like we
good
are
luck
ready for our
दीजिए.
game already. At Shrines, do we get a hot drop? Because we know EVOS
Yeah,
as well as
which is
MIBR
good
lost
and
usually do drop
unhealthy
by
ना हो.
here.
Like you
But
can, if
thankfully,
you can
they
have
will choose the
healthy
foundation
fats तो खा ही
instead.
सकते
The
होगे
MIBR
ना.
loss will not be
या फिर
disturbed for the time
fats
being. But
बिल्कुल
they
मना
cannot
होता है, ये मुझे नहीं
take that
पता.
for granted because a
But
potential location from
अगर
EVOS
आप
as they like
healthy
sticking
fats खा
towards
सकते हो तो
the
भाई
outer
avocado
regions
toast
of this map before
सबसे
hopping on
tasty,
towards
सबसे
Refinery.
tasty,
And
and
Refinery,
it's
on the other
so
hand,
healthy.
is conquered
वो खाओ.
as usual
मस्त
by the
मजा
kings
आएगा.
of Refinery themselves, RRQ.
My attention is
मेरे
going
को
to be
healthy
on
चीजों में
MT60
देखो
that
उनमें
is now
fats
brought
तो
in by
थोड़े होते
MIBR
हैं
Law, so
because मैं
General
fats
not
से
going to be
सब
playing this
avoid
game.
नहीं करती,
A
मेरे को
second
तो
thing
high
is
पसंद
also
है.
the rotation of BRU. We know that they love to go
And
to
मेरे को
command
तो
post.
healthy
Command
fats
post is now
like खाने की
preoccupied
जरूरत भी
by
है because
Lion
वो
instead.
क्या कुछ
BRU
कम है मेरा
up against
वो.
TAG once more.
Will the
तो
Indian
भाई
squad
मेरे को
wake
तो
up
बेसन
here?
चीला पनीर के
in
साथ
game
वो
number
बहुत
3?
पसंद है, avocado
At
toast पसंद है,
Kalahari, it's
yogurt bowl ये
usually
सब बहुत
the
खाती
Thai
हूँ.
teams
And
that
ये
have
सब
found
healthy
dominance
है.
thus far here at Free Fire and EWC 26.
खा
Get
सकते
high
हो
down,
तुम.
Wasana down, and it looks like India
लो
just
भाई.
needed Mustachio back on the desk.
अपनी टैग की तो नीचे आते ही फाइट शुरू हो जाती है.
Absolutely shut down their plays, leaving one
Drew
final
Moshi?
survivor. Can they hunt down the final
Drew का एक
one?
बचा है क्या?
Moshi, the super sniper of Thailand.
भाग रहा है
Scurrying away as
वो.
quickly
मार
as
दो इसको,
possible.
मार दो, वाइफ हो जाएगी.
On his side, no
भाई मार दो.
and Team Apex gave
Let's
it the lead.
go, let's go. W star, nice.
Jams out of Kalahari, all thanks to them.
भाई
Yeah,
ब्रू को
Wasana
मार
with
दिया
his
सीधा
hands on
तुम
his head
सोचो.
because that was an absolute disaster for
W
BRU.
bro.
Hello,
Hello,
come to
Vinzar.
life. They find Evos at Foundation, but Evos should be out of this. They have 2 more members left. The UAV does ping out Ray. He does have the hook gun in his face, but not much cover to work with, so this should be the 3rd confirmation for the
क्या
Kings of
मैंने
Kings.
इनको मार दिया
But at
भाई
least,
तो.
unlike BRU, Evos, they have a 2nd win in this game.
ऑयली की ये सब
Little bit
बिल्कुल
of a
मैंने
civil
नहीं
war
बॉल
here
टाइप फूड
between
एग्जैक्टली
RRQ and
मतलब
EVOS.
आपको फैट्स
Team
हेल्दी
Apex
Apex भी नहीं खा
Gaming, who were literally at the very bottom of the leaderboard
But
when
then
we started.
मेरे पास नहीं है
And they
actually
continue to
कुछ because
rise up
मैं
to
जो
the top.
खाती
They
हूँ
have
उनमें
no
सब
idea
में
who they
fats
took
होता है
down. So I don't know if or not it's going to be a huge confidence boost for them, but as long
I
as they
think
can
Fraser
maintain this
कुछ बता
momentum
पाएगा.
after winning out
इसको
the
ज़्यादा
initial
है
gunfight.
लाइट का.
Loud up against Falcons. On the other hand, Knicks with the backstab, and you've got Wakta from the front with a VSK. They got that done absolutely well, and now they're going in for the chase. Corona's going to be stuck all alone here. Ice Wave's not going to find the tag on him just yet, but Brad cutting down the distance here. Max 7 in hand. Corona's about to be popped, and he puts him down on the ground. Beautiful play so far from the Brazilian squad.
बात ये तो समझ नहीं आता cooking stream पे बनाऊँ
during the
क्या.
interview with Carol that they are feeling really good after the first booyah. And they have been local champions multiple times. And one of the things that is missing is this EWC trophy and a World Series finale.
Oh,
but
yeah.
at least for now,
Rated talent
RRQ
hunt
also
यार
a
ये
team
मुझे
that
नहीं
only
पता
finishes
यार.
second. They're definitely looking to break that curse here on Paris stage. A bite around the corner. That's going to be Joker down RRQ with their 6th point.
Yeah, easy takedown there. Lion left their player all alone outside just for a little bit of a distraction. And this was that replay, a phenomenal performance from Shoto. And he just shut down the hopes of Buriram in the second game after, once again, a fiery start for your 3-time world champions who have never gotten the first spot here at the Esports World Cup. They get taken out of the lobby prematurely. EVOS on the other hand, Lion after Lion, they'll hunt down.
Thank you for
RRQ find one
1.99
earlier.
pounds.
Either way, Lion's not doing too well. Yakos can see the shots from the back. Man does not have the Morse at this point of time. They're going to be regretting bringing that Skylar in. But it is what it is. SHUL on the other hand, bumping into yet another Brazilian squad out there. Yago with sliver of health and nameless AGAL from afar, cutting down the distance, slowly catching up with them.
Buriram को निपटा दिया यार. एकदम W भाई last वाले को chase भी
Let's see
किया.
if Bunny can make that rescue
But
mission
अपनी
happen.
SATL का क्या चल रहा है?
MT7 can get pushed right now by Twisted Minds. Bob wants to provide long-range support, but he's getting pinned down as well. Twisted Minds with the pieces in place, getting knocked out from afar. Is Bob delivering on the platter? Twisted Minds stopped in their tracks.
Yeah, you sit on my
उनका
shoulder,
भी
buddy.
एक
I'll pick
बच्चा
you
है.
right up.
But एक बच के भाग जाएगा तो कर ही
Brought
देगा.
right back in here by the Bass, and Bob's caught out.
Fluxo
Diamond,
भी मर
beautiful
रही
play
है.
off the top of the 10.
Fluxo का
M24
एक
in
बच्चा
hand.
है.
But X-Forzy looking for
अरे
the
भाई.
goal machine.
अरे इसने मार दिया.
And Butch is in.
भाई ये नहीं मार
Will
पाता
be
तो
able
crazy
to
हो जाता.
take him away. The guard of the vending machine failed on his mission, and Twisted Minds don't get to take the squad out of the equation just yet.
A big
अच्छा
clutch there
क्लब
from
चैंपियंस
Butchison.
है क्या? नहीं मैं तो फ्री फायर
But
का
early
पूछ
on, when we
रही
saw
थी.
BRU get wiped out, it freed up command post, so teammate
was
Pex Gaming
already
now have
done.
full
Okay.
control of the southern side of the map. Lion not in a good spot as
Yo,
Evo catches
Bhushan.
up to RRQ. Again the rematch! The young gun of RRQ is the one that gets the drop on Evo's prevails.
Meme cracks
And they
जी
lock
मुझे
in
नहीं
their
पता.
fifth
मैंने
point now.
बोला
Around the
just.
corner is going to be a troll that is isolated.
बनी को
Ray
फीवर है फिर
finds
भी
that
खेल रहा है.
finisher.
I mean उस
Yeah,
पे
you
ऑप्शन
can't
ही
roll
नहीं
the
है
one
यार.
and
उसको
only
ऐसे में
EVOS.
खेलना
6
पड़ रहा है.
eliminations in
crazy.
hand already. Unfortunate for SHUL.
तो
They
पहले
were
ही
all spread out
IGL
on the
में है.
battlefield. MIBR loss on the other hand, bumping into Falcons yet
And
again.
I guess-
this one just does not
I
end.
guess
MT6
अपने
is
जो
down on the
IGL
ground.
हाँ
Down
एक्चुअल में
on
उसके
a high ground
रिप्लेसमेंट
here,
में
has got the
ट्रोल इज
Winchester
प्लेइंग
in
एंड
hand.
वो आईजीएल भी कर रहे
In
हैं.
shooting distance, in the
And
process
also उसका
of
first
but he
ever
does
clan
not
है.
get the job
Also.
done. He has to be
मतलब
pushed off here.
Imagine.
It's on fire, catches up
ऐसे
with
में
him, and
finals
from up top,
पहुंची
the
है.
SVD straight to the head.
मतलब
Ronnie was
भाई
looking for the vending machine, but prevented.
crazy है, बहुत
And
बड़ी बात.
Yago's going to turn tails here, trying to get out of there as quickly as possible. But the hit list has been bought.
अच्छा नूर है.
And
ओ
MIBR
ट्रोल और
with
नूर
their
में
final
कंफ्यूज
player,
हो गई
although
फिर
they have the stealth
मैं.
points,
आईजीएल कौन कर रहा है
they're not
ट्रोल?
going to be able to get away from
और
this
Noor.
Falcons. They know exactly where he is. And this is going to be the end for MIBR here in this lobby.
Yeah, troll is
The
IGL.
red tie rhythm just to
हाँ,
confirm the
17 साल का
elimination.
है वो.
Yago can hide all he wants.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
no escaping
नूर का
the
first clan
talents
है,
of the
right?
Falcons.
नूर का
MIBR
first
lost,
clan है, I guess.
removed in 9th place.
उन दोनों में से
And that
किसी
puts
एक का
Loud and
first
Twisted
clan है.
Minds in a
हम भूल
comfortable
गए किसका
spot.
था.
Both teams who have had a booyah so far now leading the pack just because BRU is not in it.
On the next update, we're going to see Morris' capability of even avoiding the hit list.
ये अपने नूर का first clan है.
That was unfortunate, man. We tried to stay hidden, but got
Leading
exposed
भी
in a
crazy
totally
है
different
भाई.
way. Brilliant play, brilliant strategy out of Falcons. And now, Twisted Minds versus Fluxo. Bob's MT7 as the rest of Twisted Minds use the zip line to cross the battlefield. Diamond has got MT7 in his crosshairs. MT7 on the other hand, focusing on the airdrop. They want to make sure they've got the weapons of choice to take on Twisted Minds as well as the utilities. But the Bass with the advantage, M590. Oh, needs another one. Almost messed that up. But MT7, the sniper, just could not take a decent
भाई better half के साथ घूमने जाते हो ये सब आप लिखोगे अभी ये रोने लग जाएगा.
Fluxo forced to run away. Pot shots headed towards Boss. Butcherson needs to hold the forest to find an isolated Joker. But they need to secure some space at the sub for MT7 to come back into the lobby.
Bro, I never
very,
noticed.
very spread out as a team on the southern side of the map.
If you look at this map, usually we've seen dominance out of the Thai squad so far. Falcons, Buriram, AGAL. All of them have one Booyah each on this Kalahari map. With Buriram out of the equation already, perhaps Falcons and AGAL will be the biggest threats later. Fluxo, on the other hand, they've got a Booyah for themselves on this Kalahari map as well in their run here at EWC 26. But as far as those points are concerned, they didn't really rake in a lot of eliminations. In fact, Fluxo hasn't really looked very strong on the battlefield so far as the eliminations.
Yeah, not at all. I definitely expected a bit more, but I'm looking for them to ramp up maybe game 3 and 4 onwards, right? This is the team that needs some time to warm up their engines. But one of the theme of this game is the fact that two of the biggest strongholds are Refinery and Command Post because of RRQ and BRU. Both of them are not in the lobby, which means that there's a lot of real estate freed up for everyone else. The game should slow down temporarily until maybe the 11th minute mark. And until then, we're going to see staggers being picked up left and right and then brought back by the vending machine. And that means it's going to be some free points for the teams who manage to find these eliminations.
But he tried his best there to get to the vending machine, but unfortunately the Valiant Dash used against him. Not really to disable any of his defenses, but just to cut the distance down and expose. He's finding Jack as well, and now SHUL left with one final survivor. Can India find a way to get back into this matchup through this squad? Team Apex Gaming, on the other hand, started off really hot up against Buriram, but they've been silent so far. AGAL finding the Brazilians. Loud, and a grenade M79 up into the top floor. Trap will be pushed down by the M590, and that starts off a big one, and that's a massive advantage because that's the player that had the M79 on the side of the Brazilian squad. Cypher traded out, deal with the shot from afar with the M82B, and they dismantle Loud with that play.
Perfect execution from AGAL. I think there was a bit of a miscom there from Loud, who tried to run down the stairs, and Trap absolutely caught out. Not really sure what the plan was, but Cypher with the great execution on the Valiant Dash sealed the deal there.
I think the play there was supposed to be the M79 to be sent down to that lower ground, and then of course those grenades to take out the players from the front lines. But unfortunately, before he could get into position, he just got shot out of this spot with the M590. Beautiful play out of Cypher there in that moment. But now Twisted Minds up against EVOS. Both these teams know each other very well from the Southeast Asian region. And it is EVOS right now leading with the eliminations as well as the utilities. Twisted Minds not too far behind them. But you look at the long reposition, that's probably, I think, Exposi trying to get into spot to see if he can flank around. AGAL watching this battle from afar as well. If Dew finds Aim God, this is going to be deadly.
Yeah, we can say the same for if Russia gets a clear shot. Diamond's already tagged out. You have Fluxo on the high ground too, so Twisted Minds not really comfortable staying out in the open at Foundation. They need to find some cover here, but with EVOS pushing in, they gotta pick a poison.
Yeah, you gotta pick a poison, man, either way. I think there's a fair chance you do not find the antidote for either one of them. More stealth fights used by Russia. He gets a easy flank around the left-hand side to find the circle first before the rest of his brothers. And the rest of the frontliners on the side of EVOS will be holding Twisted Minds back. And Russia, right after he gets into spot, he gets shot in the back by the player from the side of Fluxo, most probably MT7. EVOS calls for the Bolt Maker. Lightning zone now. Twisted Minds cannot step out into the open. Aim God with one misplay that does not manage to get the first knockdown in the Valiant Dash. Almost saving him, but it was that A124 thrill of battle that gave them the bravery to step into the battle. But Twisted Minds turning the situation around for themselves.
Yeah, and Russia needs to build his team out right now. Finds a nade and a snipe. Russia going above and beyond and putting EVOS on his back.
One more.
Exposi and the Bars, remainders of Twisted Minds. Russia again, the Wonder Kid with the delivery system. Can he complete the cycle here as the Bars desperately bringing his teammates back with the revive? But Russia has done more than enough. It's his turn to maybe get his teammates back into the game. The Bars over the glue wall. The Bars comes out on top.
Ah, the Bars, beautiful Gets the insurance policy first on that revive, bringing Diamond back into play and then going for the shutdown. But their chances of surviving this lobby and getting a booyah is absolutely slim. The Bass is going to probably get taken out of the equation here outside the circle, tanking a lot of damage. Apex on the other hand, right beside SHUL, who have had a full squad recovery, looking for the next zone. Can he stay a ninja? Nah, they've spotted him already and Apex is going to get tagged up. This is the end for EBOS here.
Yeah, it's either them or it's either SAUL, AJL that takes that away. Just a free point sitting out in the open. If you are the Indian team, you definitely wouldn't want that point as you are sitting at the bottom. As we lose Twisted Minds off screen too, Apex is just trying to... I mean, he did gain an extra placement point for himself before Dew finally collects that. So we are going to go down to just 6 more teams.
AGAL as well as Fluxo, the only 2 other teams that have managed to secure a booyah on Kalahari from this EWC stage. Can they take it all the way? Lion has been fairly quiet.
Dark chocolate तो मैंने recently वो खाई थी whole truth की 71%.
Haven't secured a single elimination for themselves. Fluxo on the other hand, tanking a lot of damage outside the circle. Spots out SHUL on that rotation. Jack's getting tagged up by Baros. AGAL like shooting fish in a barrel. And Fluxo wants to steal that away. He makes sure he gets the confirmation as well. AGAL getting those shots in, making sure they scan the players on the side of Fluxo back. And they're trying to keep Buddy Pinson in.
Yeah, this is a good game for Fluxo and AJL to pull ahead of the curve because some of the Apex players are already out.
One more!
Cypher, can he get the snipe in? It's Dew again, of course. Never doubt this guy. Bunny is also pinned down behind that glue wall, and it's only a matter of time before AJL finds him. Lion now will join that fight, and maybe that's the distraction that will bail Fluxo out of the situation as they fight against TAG.
Yeah, brilliant recovery by Fluxo here, instantly jumping out of that monster truck, getting the pickup with the glue walls, and they take Bunny out of the equation as well. Unfortunately, the circle actually claimed that point off of
them. #4 पे गए हैं तो चलो थोड़े points तो मिले.
From the lobby, we now have the top 3, and 2 out of the 3 teams are definitely geared up for the booyah here.
4 पे tag गई है, हम 5
Just
पे
the
गए
one
हैं.
team that strayed on
6
and can
मिलेंगे
they
और
make
1
it
की
out
था
of here?
elimination
I
में
totally
7
forgot
points यार.
that they were still alive and kicking. All 3 of these teams have already performed at Kalahari and they're looking to pull off their second booyah. Which one will be able to secure that for themselves?
100%, oh
bringing
my
the whole
God.
squad of AGL together with him, backing him up as he cuts the distance down between their squad as well as Fluxo. But they realize right under the bridge, Fluxo will be dangerous. And they take a quick U-turn, but they'll have to deal with Falcons here. And they're going to hope and pray that it is Fluxo that finds Falcons first. Jump pad getting them in, but that's a bad move. First one gets snuffed out of the air. Pina with a double. On fire finds Nameless. And AGAL losing 2 too early.
This is good for Fluxo. Carrero made his rotation too late and went down to the blue. Pina did take down Dew, but now Fluxo completely freed out and might get an advantageous fight against Falcons. Pina needs some help, but the blue zone is pushing them straight into the heat of Fluxo. We're coming at them with full force. Dew exposed and limit with the first one to even the odds out. Fluxo forward, pushes in with the dash in. Pina covering himself and pushes in. Now needs assistance. He's knocked down. Finds the trade again. His limit trying to hold Falcon together, but he falls in the hands of MC7. Pina brought back up, pops in front of him, on fire, providing help. Falcons side by side. As Fluxo looks to turn the corner, the pre-fire comes through. MC7 holds his own. MC7 delivers on fire with the trade. Can Bob steal it? The captain of Fluxo.
What?
Do it.
क्या मारा उसने?
On fire. It's on fire.
भाई साहब insane. 1v2 कर दिया उसने.
At Kalahari. The 5th time they make their run here on this map, and they're truly dominant. But a well-played game for all 3 teams that squeeze themselves towards that final circle. A brilliant play by Falcons. They got locked down by the thrill of battle off of that A124 initially. But it was Pina and his M590 perfection. Well-timed glue wall, circled around it. Could not use his active skill, but it didn't matter. He went in for the pop, an instant pickup to maintain the numbers advantage. And the distraction with the extra player on the side of Falcons, more than enough to allow On Fire to pop off towards the very end. A brilliantly executed final circle for Falcons.
This is something that Falcons is very good at. You put them at a disadvantage, they will somehow even the odds out and then tip the scales in their favor.
इससे तो मुझे BGMI की DBS याद आ गई.
And you see the prioritization of the Diva there as well, and that's exactly what got them that instant pickup in such a dire situation. Without the focus on Diva, I think they would have been wiped out already, and that's exactly what makes these passive skills so important at a level like this, Sasuke.
Absolutely, and because of that, Falcons get themselves 28 points from Kalahari, but Fluxo and AJL, they're not too far behind, right? 21 for Fluxo, 19 for AJL. These are the teams that actually needed these points the most, with BRU and Loud Snickers out of the equation early on, and now we should start seeing a bit of a separation from the top 6 and the bottom 6, because it's starting to look like it's a top-heavy game.
A great recovery for Team Apex Gaming as well. India had a phenomenal run yesterday. First 2 matches, not really on their side. This is the game they wake up on, but SHUL still lagging behind a tad bit, but at the very least, not at the very bottom of this leaderboard for Kalahari. But on the overall leaderboard, I'm fairly sure they're still at the bottom. They need to do a lot, and they have to hope and pray that this still does not end quick, because you very well know that it could just happen. Now Team Falcons, after that game, I'm very sure they're somewhere around the 50-point region. And if they give us exactly what they gave at the grand finals, the very first match was a 40-point bomber. They might just activate the champion rush condition or the match point in this very next game.
You're right, AJ. I mean, they still hold the world record for most points in a single game. And deliver that, it's going to be, you know, another one of those examples where Falcons prove that they are the superior team. And can you imagine them being a 2-time champion at EWC? They already have the 2 stars as the club champion, so why not make that run it back?
Yeah, absolutely, man. 2 teams out here on that stage capable of becoming the 2-time world champions for Free Fire at the Esports World Cup. You've got EVOS, you've got Falcons, but are they going to be upset by the squads out there today? Because if you look at the overall leaderboard, based on the performance that we saw off of Kalahari earlier, it's currently going to be stacked with the Titans at the top.
Absolutely. And the one thing that I was worried about coming into this grand final,
भाई थोड़ा कि कुछ स्नैक्स खाने मन हो तो इंस्टेड ऑफ एकदम अनहेल्दी थोड़ा तो ये एटलीस्ट उससे हेल्दी होगा इसके लिए मैं तो खा लेती हूँ. अच्छे थे हाँ चिप्स अच्छे हैं एक्चुअल में अच्छे हैं. मेरा मॉडल खाया थे आदमी ने. ये वाला प्रोटीन बार मेरा फेवरेट है, बहुत यम्मी है. बस आई डोंट नो मे बी कुछ हो इसमें जो आप नहीं खा सकते हो, सो यू हैव टू चेक, बट मस्त है ये.
The human body was built to move, not trapped at a desk in one singular posture for 12 hours a day. It's time your
जीना तो बेस्ट है भाई. ब्लिंकिट में मिलता है, हम ब्लिंकिट से मंगाती हूँ. ब्लिंकिट से इसका एक डब्बा आता है, उसमें 5 आते हैं शायद से, वो डब्बा मंगाती हूँ. मेरे से ज़्यादा तो मेरी मम्मी खाती है. मम्मी को तो इतनी पसंद आ गई है क्योंकि मम्मी का भी ना मम्मी को चॉकलेट्स खाना बहुत पसंद है. तो अभी मम्मी चॉकलेट खाते हैं फिर भी बहुत सोचेंगी कि मीठा है, कैलोरीज है, ये वो. तो इसके लिए मैंने मम्मी को बोल दिया आप ये खाओ. तो मम्मी पूछती है मैं डेली खा सकती हूँ. मैंने बोला हाँ खा लो आप कुछ रहो. मम्मी को बहुत पसंद है. ये मैक्स प्रोटीन का डेली वाला बार है चोकोबेरी.
And almost fully taking down EVOS as well. So brilliant stuff coming in from their end, but also have to add on to Loud's consistency coming through. This time AGL might have troubled them, but you can see Loud for Brazil, they're also moving in that direction. And I really like how these teams on one end, India on the other end, Brazil, everybody's trying to take this trophy away from Southeast Asia.
Exactly. Okay, so we have Brazil teams here, Loud and Fluxo. They are doing pretty great, right? But what is wrong with Lost? I just keep questioning myself during the 3 games past, like, what is really wrong with them? Like, I don't really know what is happening to Lost. Like, have you got any idea?
I think right as now it's Loud as well as Fluxo. They're the ones who are picking up, and MIB are lost. Unfortunate, they're coming in the mix of that battle and they're unable to pull it off.
Hopefully they
do something different that works in their favor, but one team that did in their favor to get back what they did in EWC 24 is Falcons, that they want to be a 2-time EWC champion.
Great, but what about EVOS? Because they are getting a little slower by
खाने
slower
की
than
बातों से
during
याद
the
आया,
3 games
मैं भी खा
away.
लेती हूँ,
But I'm really impressed with the
मेरा तो
final
full
play.
cheating session
We
चल
have
रहा है
our
मेरा।
last circle, AJAL, Fluxo, and also Team Falcons. And Falcon Pina is definitely on fire. He's played really nice, even in the last circle. Control the game's really nice. We cannot talk about on fire, but he's getting fire in his back, and I'm really proud of my little boy here.
Falcons indeed are getting their fire back in because they know that they need this trophy once again. They need to become the two-time. It's not seen yet here. And if they do it at Esports World Cup 2026 Paris, they will be elated. They will have their key right here. That's the reason we're standing right next to the game trophy along with 3 keys that they could maybe crush and take it home. But again, the reason I say maybe is this is Falcons getting their very first booyah, the second in the overall tournament. So there's a lot that they have to do yet.
Yes, and I'm looking forward more to see our teams because this is unlimited games, right? Reach more to 90 points. Okay, so let's back to our studio, shall we?
Thank you very much, Lucifer and Yun So. We are about to hop into game number 4, and it is Bermuda time, back to the origins of Free Fire. And you're right, so far some of these front runners from Thailand and Brazil have been hitting it hard. MIBR lost, nowhere to be found, but hopefully they are going to start showing up because we don't want to end by game 5 or 6 AJ. We want to double that. We want to go game 12 to make use of the unlimited games available in this grand finals. So let's see if some of the bottom dwellers can deliver us a surprise on Bermuda.
I've got my eyes on 2 teams, Loud from Brazil and Team Apex Gaming from India. Like I said, man, they needed the big mustache on the desk so that India can get a little bit more excited. Let's see if or not they take this one all the way. They haven't had a booyah on Bermuda just yet, but I'm hoping this is the first one for TAG Fluxo. In a little bit of a danger zone here. I'm talking about TAG. And they're making me a tad bit nervous. Do you drop at Fortunon? It might just happen. TAG, you better win this one out.
Me and you.
This is quite the shift because usually Fluxo prefers to go straight for Mars Electric.
I know, right?
कोच ने भी बोल
So
दिया
it's either
अनलिमिटेड मैचेस
intentional by
नहीं आशीष नहीं
Fluxo or
मानेगा
TAG have something that we don't know.
आशीष बोलेगा
Thankfully,
कोच
they're
को
not
नहीं
directly
पता
on top of each other, so there's some
मुझे पता
real
है।
estate they can both share in the vicinity. But TAG, they've already lost Woven. Shoto
Oh,
and
no.
Sayujan not really looking too healthy. Shoto
Oh,
in
no.
front, but
Oh,
MT7
no.
coming out on top. And Fluxo again off to a good start.
A very callous push there in that situation. Shoto's down, Butch is in as well as Jiu. Shot from afar.
ये तो रिवाइव हो गए
Didn't really get to see exactly who was that taking the shots up against them, but it doesn't matter. Katie God's on the way out of this sticky situation. And like a cowboy, he's riding away. No sunset, so I guess it doesn't matter.
In this context, luckily there's no sunset.
Nuh-uh.
That would be an early exit for TAG.
Hey, don't say that. I was waiting for them to come back.
Same, man. I was hoping the same as well, right? And again, that's the concern that I did brought up. Because I was expecting that, you know, the Thai teams, the experienced one, especially those that qualified directly into the grand finals and didn't have to play yesterday, they're going to come in hot, looking for eliminations to get that big lead. And that's exactly what happened in game 1. You know, BRU did that. Just the Minds did it in game 2. Got a booyah. So for the teams from India, this is probably the biggest pressure that
को उसका ही बाउंटी मिला है भाई वो वैसे ही अकेले बचा है मतलब भाई वो अकेले बचा और उसका पोजीशन दिख रहा है ये लोग को भाई ये तो बहुत खराब चीज है कैसे सरवाइव करेगा फिर ऑब्वियसली ये लोग जाएंगे उनको पता भी है भाई गया देखो
They managed to take down Katie God, but that's not going to give them an extra
ये तो
advantage
गलत हो
because
गया
the
ना
revival was already
एक
completed.
सेकंड
The squad is
उसने
on the
रिकॉल
way
कर दिया
back
था
in. So very
What?
intentional
Recall
play
कब किया?
executed to perfection there by the Brazilian
मिले
Giants.
था ना
Fluxo getting 4
Take
points
his
off of
speed.
TAG at the very get-go. Buriram on the other hand, just one
ओ
point
भाई
gained
मिले
so
हैं
far,
मिले हैं
sending
मानना
you all
पड़ेगा
out.
मानना पड़ेगा मिला है
Well, TAG got lucky for just a little bit because they actually went to peak, and that's where
You
Buriram
got
usually
them.
spends a bit more time hanging around. So because Buriram moved to Bimasakti Strip, TAG actually gets a second chance in this lobby.
Mark Rudy
Not so
में
lucky,
विटामिन
not
भी है
so sure about Lost though, because
मुझे
they're about to
honestly
run
नहीं
to
पता
BRU.
उसमें क्या है
Lion
मुझे
beelining
बहुत
towards
tasty
where the
लगता है
boss is, and that could be some info the Twisted Minds can use, but I don't think they want to fight right now. They want to get those revives.
Lion versus one player from the side of Twisted Minds. Bass is going to get caught in a tight little spot here. Joker with the M24 flanking around the right-hand side. Della pushing on forth. Spots out Bass.
मैंने मेरे नाम झूठा बोली मेरे को
Bass pulls up a good blue wall. He's going to be able to block the shots from Della. Grenade's not going to find him just yet. Bass has got the Drogon in hand.
गाइस बट मैंने मिस किया मुझे समझ नहीं आया उसने कभी कॉल किया मैं डर गई थी मुझे लगा भाई ये तो गया
trying to interfere in the situation, but the time turner is going to allow the Lions to pick their buddy up and find that recovery as well. An extra glue wall inside the time turner just in case they break it down. But just no aggression from the side of SHUL just yet with those shots. Limit is going to get tagged up here as well. And it is a battle that I did not expect to see the Thai Giants join. And this is now turning into a three-way fight. And SHUL might be able to get away as Lions now start shooting down the Falcons.
SHUL is the team that has info on both Falcons and Lion, and that's why they instantly backed off.
Hi,
and leave Lion to be the Falcon problem instead of themselves. Limit just got picked back up, so Falcons didn't really have much time to pick themselves into shape. But there's still a trade between Lion and Falcons. Guerrero finding game king. That is the back broken on the Lion side. They know they have the anchor, and Lion will be forced to split up.
Brilliant play,
brilliant counter by Falcons. Although they were in a tight little spot there, using the jump pad to see if they can pull away some numbers from that equation, intentionally or unintentionally help the Indian squad of SHUL survive. And the Lions didn't go in for the pressure since Falcons got a couple of numbers off of them as well. Now the Bears still under pressure. This time it's EVOS that finds him. That's about it. What a turnaround. M1917 gets the knock. Can he get the confirmation? No, he gets the double! Can he get a triple? Locked down by the thrill of battle. The flank comes through from the back. Good glue wall. And he gets the elimination. The best, you monster.
Absolutely insane play there. Hunted down by the entirety of EVOS and comes out with a 2-0 head-to-head so far. And the entire game, he has been alone. He has been isolated. And finally, Ray takes him out. But it did come at a cost for EVOS. They have forced to soft reset.
Good anticipation for Ray there off of the BSK. Silejet in the vehicle. A disadvantage up against Strap, who has the Woodpecker. Katie got, and now they're all spread out on the battlefield. Twisted Minds right above on the revive. Don't tell me he's going to drop right in here. That might be the distraction that Team Apex Gaming is going to need. SHUL, on the other hand, up against Falcons. In this compound, Falcons have got the high ground advantage. Limit. Riptide Rhythm sent out already, so he's on cooldown for the active skills. Jack's going to be spotted out from afar. Pina quickly repositions towards the lower ground. They pulled out the painted refuge off of that Steppy earlier on, but no nades were sent from the side of Falcons. That could be the active wasted. It's a 2v2. Time Turner used a little prematurely.
Nice.
Pina gets caught out though. That's a big red, but even Drogon goes in for the doozy. And the follow-up will put Falcons out of the equation. SHUL esports still alive.
Perfect stuff from
How did we win this fight वैसे? वो लोग ऊपर बैठे थे, वो लोग पे better position था. मुझे लगा था ये fight तो वही जीतेंगे. Wow.
Right into the crosshair of Tro and TAG on the other hand. You wanted the Indian team to step up, AJ. I think they are granting your wish as they were chasing the isolated members as well. And this could put them in a good spot and give them more games in this finals. With Falcons removed, now it is Twisted Minds and Fluxo's chance to get ahead.
Bharat Mata Ki Jai. That's the way, baby. But of course, it's not enough. They're still towards the bottom of the leaderboard. If they can climb up consistently, maybe get into the final circle, they stand a good chance. Man, the Bass is just having an unlucky run here in this Bermuda lobby. Tagged up again. Can he pull off a superstar play? This time it's Katie God with the M1917. The double revolvers up against the Bass, who does have the SMG in hand. The Bison, deadly.
Apex Legends.
Katie God needs a sharp shot here. The Bass quickly finding the recovery off of the Superman and the backup from afar. Unfortunate. Exposi brought right back in here. Twisted Minds continuously on the revives now. Shoto needs to turn tails and get the heck out of there. Because you've got two players on the side of Twisted Minds with a high ground advantage, and Diamond has the VSK. That's it. He tries to get away. Diamond, are you going to miss all of those shots?
I missed it.
One more.
Some luck is keeping him alive.
Oh shit, bro, you almost survived.
Took too long for Diamond, but finally sorted that out.
Longer than they needed. Exposing, he is running all the way from peak to join his teammates. Vovin is still up, but this vending machine is so far away. And Mill I think that's where he's heading. We saw the binoculars being used earlier on, but it also could be from AJL to make sure that there's no team coming in from the eastern side.
Yeah.
SAUL have been duking it off with BRU for quite some time. Let's see if Bunny can come out on top. The glue wall all go down at the same time. It's Bunny against the captain and Jonah Besson.
Man, I mean, Jonah's a monster always, but in that situation, he was definitely outnumbered. The rest of the players from the side of Buriram is having the crosshairs on him from afar. Moshi spotting out Jack as well, but Jack, with the Valiant dash, will be able to put a little bit of a distance between himself as well as the super sniper of Buriram. But the rest of the SHUL players are not out of the woods just yet. Spotted out by Buriram, Jonah, as well as Get High XL out in the open. Troll has got the Car 98 and the VSK.
Oh no.
The quick scopes will get him absolutely nothing. Perfect defense off of Buriram. On the opposite end, we've got Loud bumping into Evos.
Yeah, he doesn't see Jonah with a stealth
Lion?
so it could be dangerous. Evos here. Is it another three-way fight? If it is,
could even be a four-way, Husky.
RRQ joins it. You call it.
There you go.
With the snipe onto BZP, Apex is going to try and capitalize on this, but he's going to be pinned down in this warehouse as well. If Lion pushes this, it is going to be bad news for Evos.
Yeah, good recovery for Loud here. Just quickly going on to the drone, making sure RRQ does not get those easy shots. And assisted by Evos from down the bottom as well, who lay out all of those glue wall melters. They call out the Painted Refuge from Steffi, protecting them from any nades that will be tossed up onto the roof. So that's a brilliant defense here by Loud. That ice grenade's not going to do anything to them. Dragon Freeze will not scratch them at all. But the Painted Refuge used up already. They all get tagged up by the Moko. Evos knows exactly where they are, all thanks to the lightning zone as well. And Loud has got nowhere to go.
They're actually trapped on this roof. But the good news is that it is right in the center of the circle, so they still have some time to plan their escape route if needed, or at least just hold here and wait for the other teams to take themselves out.
One more.
Apex under pressure, trap, clear vision of him. BRU
ये वाला
unfortunately,
कास्ट
as they actually lost the
क्योंकि
fight
लगा था
against SAUL off
accent
screen.
कल
So Moshi will have to
but I'm
backtrack from
not
where he came
sure.
from.
The two Indian teams are still alive, so I'm a happy man. Buriram, on the other hand, rough round here. Moshi. Uh-oh. Could just see the end here, Nameless. I don't know if he knows.
Cypher should check this.
Flanking around, Cypher.
Get him.
Spots him. Moshi is not going to survive this one. Buriram taken out. Their banner burned out of the skies.
हितार्थ ने मुझे कुछ तो भेजा है. हितार्थ with the 1000 on UPI. Damn, thank you Hitarth. Thank you so much guys. W in the chat for Hitarth. Thank you Hitarth, thank you. इंडियन हैकर न्यूज़ में इंटरव्यू किया था. हाँ, मेरे को लगा ही था. इसके बाद अच्छी लगी मेरे को.
To make some magic happen. Gonna try to go into the other side of the building of the window. Woven needs some distance to reconvene with his teammates.
Oh man, the guy had no glue walls. He almost
Accent
got
पे
shot
ध्यान
in the
दिया ना मैंने
back.
तब मेरे को लग
But
रहा
thanks
था.
to his lucky stars, I'm very sure they're aligned for the team
Bot
perfectly right now.
bot prison.
But luck is about to run out for TAG. They do not have the resources needed to survive this final circle, and they don't have the number of players on their side as well. Will luck be on their side? A Riptide Rhythm from another squad, giving the opener here. SAUL losing lives one after the other as well on the opposite end. And the four-way fight still has Loud alive and kicking up on top.
They are holding on
भाई
so
लाउड में
well.
सुपर
So
चढ़ के
much
बैठी है.
medkits
ये लोग का
and glue wall to
अच्छा
work
जगह है
with.
ना.
They've weathered the storm
वैसे
for now,
थोड़ा
so
open
RQ
भी है
is going to
from
be the
some
next problem,
angles
but
देखा
at
जाए तो.
least they have the warehouse to drop into if needed.
Wow.
Fluxstone did bail
Goal?
TAG out from the jaws of Twisted Minds for a while, but now TAG will have to somehow get out of this with minimal resource.
SHUL, although they survived long enough into the 12th
I
minute mark,
just thought
placement points wise, they don't really get
कि
anything
हमारी
much off
टीम
of this lobby
है
at all.
जिंदा.
Team Apex Gaming with two
यार.
final survivors, a double caught on the outside. Twisted Minds hopping on in. And they find a quick recovery before perhaps taking the fight up against Team Apex Gaming. They just need to knock on that door slightly and they'll be able to get 2 free points, unless, of course, Wolvin and Sile Judge show us some miracle because they have no glue walls to play around with. They'll just have to take a straightforward gunfight.
The Lion just wiped out
अरे यार,
3 out of
sorry यार.
4 Fluxo members too, as they were going on the
थोड़ा
cross.
सा मैच
The
में
high
मैं
ground
लॉक इन हो
advantage
गई
was
थी. भूल
too good
गई
for Lion
गोल
to
के
pass
बारे
out,
में.
and now Tahijas can get absolutely ran through by the bars. They should spell the end of TAG and get out into the blue. Woven actually finds that revive on the KD got to extend their lifeline, and he's on the MT7. Woven though loses the fight, but MT7 did eventually perish to the blue.
Yeah, Woven did manage to collect that elimination off of him. Brilliant play,
यार
but of course Team
साथ
Apex
है
Gaming,
यार
that's
और
going to be their
बेटर
consolation
होता है
prize.
यार
They survived definitely much longer, but elimination points
थोड़ा
wise,
placement
that's
तो
exactly
मिलता है
where we
यार
see the big improvement coming through from the squad. But they need
Razer
way more
US
than that to
region किया
climb
तो
a
कोई
leaderboard
US
in
के
a
streamer के
massive
stream
lobby
पे
like
देखो
this.
क्या आ
Not
रहे
their
हैं
fault at all on the survival stage.
PUBG
You
Mobile
didn't have these
PUBG
big boys,
Mobile
you didn't have
is
these monsters prowling
August
around.
में
It's a tough
Week
lobby to
1
say the
August
least. Lions now rotating away from Twisted Minds. Fluxo versus RRQ, the big fight. Dude still alive and kicking, but lost. Doing a number on them, spotting out Rams. Circling around the glue wall, won't get clapped by the thrill of battle, and the A124 does RRQ in. The sniper of RRQ can't do much in this situation, tries to run away.
God.
Prevented by Rigby. Easy points for MIBR, and that's the 4 that they pick up in this lobby.
Good stuff. MIBR lost needed an intervention. They needed a way back into
नाम
this
बताना।
finals, and I think they found that
FNS
opening. Now it's about converting
सिर्फ
that into
ट्विच
more.
कर रहा है या वो
Lau still
रीस्ट्रीम
holding on
करता है तो
strong. The
अगर
next
रीस्ट्रीम
circle.
करता है तो
Let's
होगा
see if
भी
it decides whether Lau gets to stay. Nope, out into the open we go. AJL, they are primary
तारीख तो
position
YouTube
to
Twitch एक साथ
vulture all
करता
of these
है
points for the
मुझे
fight. If
FNS का
AJL
नहीं
gets this
पता
booyah, they are going to be so close to
तारीख
90
शायद
points.
अभी नहीं
How
कर रहा
long
है
has
not
Loud
sure
stayed on this roof? They have played their defense perfectly. Nobody has been able to punish them. Nobody has been able to kick them off. Now the blue zone will finally do the job, removing the Brazilian squad off of that roof. But the question is, how will they make their move in towards the next circle? Now Lightning Zone has been called out. It is not AGAL's bolt maker. Potentially from MIBR, as they are looking to make their way a long journey
We are still
towards the
bottom
next
two,
zone.
bhai.
Blue wall melters laid out here by AGAL. General's going to be in a lot of trouble, but the shots, the cover from Yago allows him to make the quick rotation round, and MIBR still safe.
The only way to really make this competitive is for Lost to get that booyah somehow. Allow wiping
What
out
a
Twisted
play.
Minds members. BZP hanging on by a thread. Now top back up. That's the quad and the 5th for BZP. Nix comes in as well. But Lion shows up and Della leads the charge. Games King also winning out his one against Guaksha. Lion not to be denied.
Yeah, Lion steps on in right after the
Lion.
double nade from the side of Twisted Minds. Beautiful play. And of course, it is Lions that get the biggest slice of this pie through those points. Diamond still clapped by the thrill of battle. He can't use his active skills just yet. Goes in for the Superman right outside the zone. Tanking a lot of damage. Traps down on the ground. BZP needs to go in here for the pickup, and Games King can't find the final player. Diamond going in for the shutdown.
Oh my
A
goodness.
sliver of health left here for BZP. And
Oh my
Diamond gets
God.
the final player, and it is an all-out Thailand final
AG.
circle that's clapped by AJL for the booyah.
And they have now officially hit that critical mass. They are so close.
ये hashtag
to
12
90
खत्म क्यों नहीं
points.
होता है लाइफ से
Big Booyah, I believe, paired with 11 eliminations, puts them one good game away from the 90-point threshold. How sweet would that be? They came up a global finals class squad victory, but it was something that people brushed aside because it's not Battle Royale, it's not the Holy Grail. But now the Holy Grail right in front of them is just one step away.
Before this match, they were 33 points away. I wonder if or not they've managed to pull off a phenomenal run. I mean, if you look at it from the grand scheme of things, these three Thai squads, Team Falcons, Twisted Minds, AGAL, they didn't really go all out in the first game like what Buriram did. But right after that, you see the consistency out of these boys. And Falcons and Twisted Minds already with their booyah earlier, and AGAL just picking one up for themselves as well. So if you look at it from the grand scheme of things, Southeast Asia doing phenomenally well out there.
This has to feel like deja vu for BRU.
Frankly
This was
speaking,
exactly what
Tanvish, it's
happened
their
back in
first
Riyadh
time at
in
such a huge
2025.
event. So
Get
yeah,
a hot
that's
start
a
on
big
Bermuda
thing.
in game 1, and then absolute silence.
Yeah.
And it has happened 2 rounds in a row. You gotta feel what the players are thinking. I think Wasana is starting to feel the stress as well. Hands on his head in game 3 and really just slumping back on the chair after game
First
4
match
ended.
के बाद down
But there's
चल
one
रही.
team that deserves
But
Twisted
वो लोग
Minds.
कर लेंगे.
They missed out last year.
Yeah.
Jump was with poor memory. They didn't even make
और
they
जो
didn't even
begin
make
होगा,
80
ऐसा
points. They
तो
finished
नहीं है
last in
यार.
Riyadh. He joined Twisted Minds and
We
now
are-
they're here. And they're
मतलब
ever so
ये
close.
जो बाहर
Absolutely.
बहुत
But are
टाइम
they
से
close
चल रहा है ना
enough to
बाहर
the
के लेवल
consistency
को
of
पहुंचने में
AGAL?
टाइम तो
They have
लगेगा
been
ना
dominating
मतलब
that squad, and they
एकदम
have
से थोड़ी
also
आप
been
वर्ल्ड
ripping
बेस बन
away
जाओगे. It takes
massive
time.
points in whichever battle royale lobby they hop on into. any tournament that they've visited so far, they've
At
definitely
least
found the top 3 for themselves.
मतलब
And
उस लेवल
now
का हो
they're
रहा है यार
looking to
इंडिया में कि
become
ऐसे इवेंट्स में
the champions
इंडिया
here for Free
रिप्रेजेंट
Fire
हो
at
रही है वो
Esports
बहुत
World
बड़ी
Cup
बात है
2026 Paris. And they're not too far away from doing exactly that. 90 points. That's our match
गेमिंग
point
कल्चर
target.
इज स्टिल ग्रोइंग
And
हियर
right now they
मतलब बाहर
may
से
just
तो
be, like you
कंपेयर
said,
कर ही नहीं
one
सकते
game
अभी
away.
बहुत
Yeah, one game away from
बहुत आगे
90.
जाना है अभी तो
And if everything goes according to plan for AJL, Game 6 is where they lift that trophy. It would be a fast finals. I mean, not that we've not seen it. We saw it back in spring when Team Secret walked away with 4 consecutive booyahs. But AJL has such
आज रात को मैच
good run
देखोगे
so far.
I
But
don't
again,
know
we did highlight Twisted Minds earlier on, and now we have them on stage. Let's hear what they have to say.
Welcome back to the main stage. My name is Barney Banks and I've
देखते
got
हैं ये
Exposed
guys
here from Twisted Minds.
Free Fire
Playing
finals
absolutely
कब तक
out of their
चलते
skin
हैं
at this point.
and
Exposed, I
then
want to just
I'll
quickly ask
decide
you,
कि आज मैं
if we look
किससे
back to
ब्रेक
groups,
लूंगी कि मैं
you guys
स्ट्रीम
would play
करूंगी
relatively slowly and you would gain momentum throughout the day, and then obviously you'd end on a high, obviously winning your group. However, today you've come out really, really aggressive. Was that always the plan?
ก็คำถามแรกนะฮะถ้าเกิดมองย้อนไปตอนกรุ๊ปสเตจเนี่ยฮะตอนนั้นเราเล่นกันแบบว่าค่อยๆไปเรื่อยๆแบบว่าไต่ขึ้นไปเรื่อยๆแบบเงียบๆจนสุดท้ายแล้วเนี่ยเราจบที่1ของกรุ๊ปสเตจเลยนะฮะแต่ว่าพอมารอบแกรนด์ไฟนอลเนี่ยฮะพวกเราฟอร์มของพวกเราออกไปทางร้อนแรงแล้วก็เอ็กซ์เซสซีฟค่อนข้างมากเลยเป็นยังไงบ้างฮะตอนนี้
ก็ดีครับรู้ทีมได้ปั่นจักรยานไปหอไอเฟลครับก็เลยเล่นดีครับ
Yeah, actually like the reason behind like our aggressive style is like because we got a chance to like ride a bicycle to the Eiffel Tower, so we have a lot of energy to play today.
Because you rode a bicycle to the Eiffel Tower. That's pretty cool. Let's talk about the current situation that you're in right now on the leaderboard, okay? You're from one of the strongest regions coming into this, alongside the likes of Falcons, AGAL, yourselves as well, and of course, Buriram United Esports. How does it feel right now to be sitting, you know, towards the top of the leaderboard, almost leading the charge?
ก็ถ้าเกิดมองไปที่ลีดเดอร์บอร์ดตอนนี้นะฮะเทียบกับสกอร์ของทีมที่มาจากรีเจียนเรานะฮะไม่ว่าจะเป็นว่าฟาลคอนนะฮะบุรีรัมย์หรือไม่ก็ทีมอื่นทวิสเต็ดไมล์หรือว่าอื่นๆก็ตามนะฮะคะแนนของเราตอนนี้เนี่ยค่อนข้างโดดออกไปทีเดียวแล้วก็ตอนค่อนข้างสูงแล้วก็เกือบถึง90แล้วนะฮะรู้สึกไงบ้างครับ
ก็รู้สึกดีแล้วครับทีมเล่นดีก็ฝากคนไทยเชียร์เยอะนะครับ
Yeah, I'm very happy and very satisfied for the result of our performance, and hopefully like all the Thai fans and everyone around the world keep supporting them to the end.
Well, finally, before I let you go, I just want to ask you what it would mean to you and your teammates and, of course, your community watching to lift this incredible trophy that you see before you.
คำถามสุดท้ายนะฮะก็รู้สึกไงบ้างฮะแล้วก็คิดว่าแฟนๆจะรู้สึกไงบ้างในนาทีที่เราได้ยกถ้วยรางวัลนี้ขึ้นมาฮะ
ก็ดีใจครับซ้อมมาเหนื่อยก็ถ้าทำได้ก็ดีครับ
Yeah, very happy like because like we're going so hard for this year, like we're giving everything we got, and hopefully we can finally lift the trophy.
Okay, well, yeah, it shows. You guys are trying extremely hard. It shows. Congratulations on where you're on the leaderboard. If you guys lift that trophy, I'll ride a bicycle with you guys to the Eiffel Tower. And so with that being said, we're going to head back over to the studio before we come back with some more Free Fire action, baby.
Esports World Cup up.
Hi Karan.
Everybody, we are hanging out in the festival zone, and if you don't know what this is, we're going to walk
walk you through it a little bit because you definitely want to check this out while you're hanging out at EWC 2026. This is going to be right next to the Free Fire station. You can see there's got some people playing in here already. There's the option for basketball or football, soccer if you're American. And you can come in here, play this all day, breaks between the games. It's the perfect thing to do to kind of switch things up as you're hanging out. But there's also a ton of games that you can participate in. I don't know if you've been by the Free Fire stage lately, but the fans from Brazil for these teams are insane. We're talking musical instruments, drums, cheers, matching outfits, flags. Sometimes that's a break. So make sure you come and check out the festival area to do exactly that.
But I hope आगे के matches देखते हैं.
Another very helpful thing to check out while you're here at EWC 2026 is of course the venue map. Now, might sound a little bit simple, but I'm going to walk you through why this is going to be so helpful. This is how you're going to be able to navigate the entire location, and you'll be able to keep track of how everything is going. It's going to be one of your best resources here at EWC 2026, so make sure you check it out. This is one of the games that you can play here at EWC 2026. This is your opportunity to potentially win some EWC 26 merch or even tickets to one of the events. All you have to do is come on over, take a spin on the wheel, and if you hit the right number, you could be going home with some pretty cool prizes. Now, of course, you know, we also have our super fan area. Now, this is going to be where you want to go if you are looking for those up-close and personal interactions with some of your favorite players. You have to come here. You can get some photos with your favorite players. You can get them to autograph some of your EWC 26 merch. Are you having a good time here so far?
Yes, really nice. And I'm so excited to be here. We are supporting Lion and Gun Dynasty.
Seeing Glitter spinning that wheel reminds me of what's going on right now with that leaderboard from last time that you saw us. That leaderboard has been spinning because at one point it was Buriram. That's not the case anymore. This is starting to look like 2025 Buriram.
2025 indeed. They came out of the gates running last year, and it looks like, you know, they were going to be the leaders of the pack, but then unfortunately something happened to them and they ended up in 9th place. And we're kind of seeing the same happen today. So is it a, you know, a bit of a jinx or a turn of events? Who knows? But look, obviously we need to talk about these teams and everybody's sort of wanting that prize, wanting that, and they definitely have what it takes to get back up to the top of the leaderboard. But right now we're just having deja vu.
Yeah, I do agree. I mean, it's really difficult right now because they're the ones left out of the Thailand teams who's grabbing those booyahs. Like 3 out of 4 that is in grand finals right now. They're already taking that big B, and Buriram United is not getting it. But they did have a massive game number 1.
But then again, if we're talking about the Thailand team, we also have AGAL. I mean, that booyah and those consistency. Game 1, 2, 4, they keep getting 11 elimination points. And I think that is the goal today. They're going to go aggressive, and they are surely locking up the points with that extra booyah they just had on Game 4.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we actually end up seeing them in that first place whenever we end up seeing the overall. But for everybody currently watching at home, even if your team is not performing that well, it's okay. Just log into Free Fire and make sure you get some of the sweet in-game rewards because there's a bunch. I mean, you can kind of see them on the screen right now. Honestly, I want that EWC back right there to support your local team, claim your rewards, and I mean, I can hear it from the back too. Everybody wants a back. Can we actually get one? Because I would love to have one. Yeah, in the when we do what is the jersey? The jersey was a question mark too. A question mark is currently what the Indian teams are having above their head because it's not looking like what we saw yesterday from Survival.
Yes, I am so sad actually because I am here to represent Lucifer, who is now at the casting desk. But again, I mean, they do have some opportunities because we all saw what happened on the previous match where Buriram got taken out by tag. They came up with a vengeance from being eliminated early on the previous game to taking out the biggest threat. And of course, we also saw how SAUL eliminated Falcon right on the previous game. So they do have what it takes. It's just that somehow the consistency when it comes to getting those points, now that is questionable. It's the rotation that I think they might have to reconsider against again.
We talked about yesterday about the mentality of some of these squads. Maybe this is what the Indian teams need, Neptune. Taking those big fights against the top dogs little by little. And the thing right now, with the way that the leaderboard is set, whenever we get a chance to end up seeing it, you'll see how compact everything is as well.
Well, one thing that hopefully doesn't happen for them,
No,
despite
I
of
was
them
supporting
taking down big
Portugal
dogs,
only because
is that
of
ego.
Ronaldo.
The
पहले
ego
Pepe
wherein,
भी
yes,
था,
they're confident
but
already
Pepe
to
तो
take down one,
पहले ही
but
retirement ले लिया,
faltered the next
obviously वो
match. And that
भी
is
ज्यादा है.
what happened for
But
Team
सिर्फ
Apex
Ronaldo
Gaming.
की
Because
वजह
yes,
से
they
bro,
did
Portugal
get
भाई
one team
बेकार
earlier
team
on
भाई,
a match
इतना
3,
गंदा
but in
उन्होंने
match
खेला ना.
4, it's
उन्होंने
Flipso
टीम
who did
जैसा
take
खेला
them
ही नहीं है.
down.
मैं तो
Yes,
बहुत
I mean, attack
गुस्से में
were
हूँ.
amazing. They were a
वो लोग के
beast on the
performance से.
survival stage. I remember correctly on game 3 where Shoto had 4 elimination on his own and 1,966 damage points with 7 assists. But looking at the overall ranking finals, this is interesting, 7.
It is interesting. Team Falcons, a team that's currently
I don't know
challenging
why
as well
they
for
are
the
helping.
club
मेरे को तो समझ ही नहीं
championship,
आ रहा.
does have a booyah. Just keep that in mind, because right now the top 4 teams, all of them do have a booyah. Whenever we reach that 90-point threshold, the way that you'll have to be able to win it is going to be with a booyah.
I must say that this is going rather quick, Lace. I mean, we have 70 points already from AGAL.
Yeah, and look, we're talking about booyahs, and who doesn't have one yet? Fluxo, okay? Look, the rise to the top 4 in match 3 is exactly what we expect from this team. I mean, the aggressive fights, the adaptability. There was a part where they had Falcons on height of bridge and then AGL on the south of them. But however they did that, they maintained composure and defense in that situation. Did they get the booyah? Obviously not. It's not on there. But it was an impressive game from them to be able to move from their position that they were in to get that second place in the third match. And match 4, you know, they did prioritize early eliminations, which did sort of put them into that 4th place position with only Falcons like having 1 more point than them. So this is what we expect from Fluxo, but it is the consistency that we don't tend to see from them. It's just they get the big games in, and that's how they're maintaining their points.
That is so brave of you to say, because we're standing right behind the supporters right now. But one thing that I can also say is that at least they're doing better than my Indonesian teams, okay? Because as we all see, Evos and Argaryuk are having quite a hard time. They only have 41 and 36 points overall now without any booyah. So I'm just hoping and praying, because like I said before, they are booked and busy on the previous matches. They somehow had the worst positioning of all time. This is just not their day.
Yeah, I do agree, especially in that moment where Ma could have survived
Yeah,
by trying his best, but unfortunately, like, he was just caught off guard. And that has been the same situation even in the regionals in Southeast Asia. So I thought he did manage to pull out of that, because there were some instances where even in a shotgun, he can battle it out. He can duke it out against a 1v1, 1v2, but that is a different mode, Clash Squad. In Battle Royale, I think they are just going back to their usual ways, and it's not working.
And Neptune, talking about the next map coming up, next era. I mean, we usually end up looking at some skills. We end up seeing some crazy stuff. What are you specifically going to be looking at for next era?
This is where the teams will be farming all those eliminations, because despite of this is similar to the size of say Purgatory or Bermuda, we are seeing a lot of compounds in here. Most of the compounds is a hiding spot for those who's trying to survive, as well as the vending machine available. So this is where, in most cases in tournament, we get to see a lot of revives and then a lot of elimination as well.
Now the question is, who's doing the farming and who's getting farmed? Because right now, like I said, I am hoping and praying for our Indian teams, because they do have what it takes. We all seen that happening on the survival stage, but somehow right now they just have to shake off those final jitters, I think, because
it even looked good for SAUL for that one moment.
But then what happened? I don't know. That's exactly what we should be asking to the players, because they look chill as hell right now, and we need to
at least
get
now
them
I
refocused,
will be
because
so
next era,
emotionally
again,
attached.
this is not going to be an easy map for anyone.
Yeah, it's definitely not going to be an easy map for anyone, especially for those bottom teams. But at this point, the one thing that they do have going for them is that you're at the bottom. You got absolutely nothing to lose. You might as well just sit in it. I think that's why we have seen them previously fight against those top dogs as well.
And one thing I would expect right here, based on the numbers, is Brim United might be going for a comeback. Because so far the average they have is 20 points for each time that they step into next era. And who's following them would be RQ as well as MIBR along. So there's a huge potential that 3 regions or 3 countries will be taking that Booyah in this map.
I mean, when we started today, we were talking about Booyah Ram. We were talking about the points that they were able to get, right? During the groups, they were averaging about 19.7 points. So far today, even though they had a great performance in game 1, they've only been 11. So a massive drop-off for that squad, Conchita.
Yes, it is. But then again, if we take a look at the Booyah list, 3 out of the 4 Thailand team has gotten it. So maybe it's just about time. Then again, Buriram United Esports, they were doing so well at the elimination points up until that time when they got eliminated early. So there's still hope for Buriram United Esports. I am keeping an eye out for them. And Nextera, once again, this is one of Wasana's favorite maps. Actually, he said it somewhere.
अगर गलती से भी सारे चीजों के अगेंस्ट में लड़के somehow स्पेन जीतने के लायक होगी कि 80 मिनट्स तक they are up 2-0 1-0 तो लास्ट के 10 मिनट में वैसे गेम पलट जाएगा. That is the
overall. We saw first place there with 70 points with AJL, and then going all the way down to Lion. I think they were somewhere in the 53 point mark. So honestly, one Booyah can
अगर 2-0 है तो 2 पेनल्टी मिलेगी उनको ताकि वो इक्वल कर पाए. 1-0 है तो 1 पेनल्टी मिलेगी ताकि इक्वल कर पाए. मतलब that is the script. That it is ready for you.
It's gonna be absolute madness. And
फाउल छोड़ो, मेसी को कोई टी-शर्ट के ऐसा हवा भी छू गई ना, बस वो दे देंगे, फ्री किक दे देंगे.
Well, madness is exactly what we're going to be getting as we go into this match.
या फिर ज़्यादा मन किया, ज़्यादा ही मन किया तो
possibly match point
स्पेन को रेड कर
because of the possibilities of some of these teams popping off. Just now, Neptune already said 3 teams, BRU, MIBR lost, as well as RQ have high potentials of going huge on this map. What do you think, Lucifer?
I don't like it, Tash.
Why?
I went on the stage and was like, hey, this is the time that teams are trying to take it away from Southeast Asia. But look at it, as we are back towards our match number 5, 3 teams from Southeast Asia are ready to get to match point. And that just feels like it might just go back. But doesn't matter, the cooperation looks really good. AGL, Twisted Minds and Falcons looking forward to a chance on the game trophy. This is next era, the last game where you know the clear path to, because every game after this is randomized and you don't know where you're heading in the flight.
Yeah, you're basically going in blind in this situation. Again, there is high possibility of hitting that match point. But the question is, which team will be able to clinch in that final Booyah to go home with the trophy and the championship title?
आओ guys, match 5.
Cutting the map in half, nothing much to
भाई,
be worried about
just
for any
because
team.
we have eyes, we don't hate
you have a
Messi.
chance at intellect
हम
center.
लोग मेसी
If you
फैंस
want to
जैसे
go
नहीं है
to
जो
Deca
रोनाल्डो को
Square,
हेट
which is
देते हैं.
so
जो
far
दिखा है इस
in
वर्ल्ड
our
कप में उसके
previous
बेसिस पे
days
बोल
of
रहे
the
हैं.
journey, the 3 days
And
was
literally
very
पूरी
sought
दुनिया
after.
बोल
And
रही
even
है,
our
तुम
last few
सबको जाके
circles
hater
ended
बुलाते
up
रहो.
near the Deca Square itself.
Like, we
And
have
that is
eyes,
now,
we are
it's
not
only going to
blind.
be SATUL. However, towards
And
Rush
ये
Town,
discussion
we
बस
see
खत्म
Falcons
भाई,
and
मेरे
a
को
mix
नहीं
of
करना, मैं
Loud
इसके
and
लिए
Loud. They are the
बात
next
ही नहीं
best.
करती हूँ इस
In
बारे
case
में
the
स्ट्रीम
Southeast
पे.
Asia do not
सब
find
ऑफेंड
their
हो
match
जाते हैं
point, it
बच्चे.
is going to be Loud.
Yeah,
But
Loud
जो
looks
है
really
जो दिख
good.
रहा है
I
वर्ल्ड
think
कप में
in the
हो रहा है
first match was
वही
a
बोल
bit more
रहे हैं भाई.
quiet from them, but they
पहली बार
started
नहीं
to
देख
warm
रहे हैं
up.
कोई
And I
जो
think it's really scary
हमें
because they
समझ
are
ना
a type
आए.
of team that is just really patient with how they play. And
Literally
we saw some
4th
gunshots
या
coming
5th
through
वर्ल्ड
from
कप
them
देख
as well. So
रही
we
हूँ
are going to be seeing this fight happening.
बहुत
But at
ज़्यादा
the
हो
same
रहा है
time,
अभी,
I
बहुत ज़्यादा हो
suspect
रहा है इस
that for the
वर्ल्ड कप में.
players of Fluxo, they're keeping a close eye on this team.
So
Limit
yeah,
already chucked
now
out
enjoy the
so
watch
low,
party.
even knocked down, but the
Thank you.
revivals are quick. But Loud is just happy with his early 2 points.
2 points. The Binoculars used to get to know where more players from Falcons are, so they know Pina is also close by. Not exact coordinates, but Pina, he'll also be snuffed out very soon. He's running out in the open. He doesn't have an idea that there's a player already ahead of his position. And very soon, Falcons, even though they've got the revive, will also lose another player. On the other end, Buriram finally getting back into action, and they're taking down Evos. They were supposed to be the ones closest to the match point, but they've been pushed so far down at the 7th spot that they need to rise up the ranks, get back to around 70 points. At least in this game, I don't see a possibility for Buriram to get to match point as comparison to the others.
Sipina, great attempt and also successfully
भाई
being
AG
able
और
to pick
Twisted
up
Mind
Trap
तो close
in
है.
his position. Aggressive as
Threshold
hell. Looking
के.
able to go for this 1v1 against Nyx. aware.
और वो लोग तो
Drops
खेल
down
भी
those
बहुत
blue
crazy
walls,
रहे हैं।
but able to bring trap back into the
भाई
game.
मुझे अभी
Double
एक्चुअल
dash
में
to bring
फीलिंग आ
down
रही है
the
कि
blue
ये बहुत
walls.
जल्दी खत्म हो
Moving
जाएंगे
all
फाइनली।
around the area. The lack of info keeps Pina at bay, but On Fire is
ये
here to
फिफ्थ
provide
मैच
some
है ना,
support. But
सेवन
Fluxo in the wings wants to join the
Seventh,
fight, but
eighth.
before that could happen,
हो
Pina
सकता है
gets
एक्चुअली
another
7th 8
elimination in
इतने
the
नीचे
bag.
कैसे ब्रू के साथ क्या हुआ ना 2 गेम आई थिंक एक गेम अपन ने एलिमिनेट किया उनको फिर एक गेम शायद से टैग नहीं किया मैं
working in favor for Fluxo, but Fluxo
वही तो 3 टीम्स बहुत क्लोज है अगर वो लोग ने अगर मतलब 2 तो कम एलिमिनेशन के साथ भी जीते तो भी हो जाएगा एक को एलिमिनेशन पॉइंट्स चाहिए ज़्यादा
Falcons are the ones who reattempt and Loud are the ones who get away with it. UAV being
उनकी
used
तारीफ क्या करिए तो नीचे आ जाएंगे मैंने कहा था ना तुम लोग जब सब ब्रू बोल रहे थे कि मुझे लग रहा है ब्रू का नहीं होगा मेरे को तो लग ही रहा था
on the top to see if anybody exits in the nearby compound, and then they both again in a 2v1 might look forward to a second elimination on Falcons.
Now On Fire is very capable of winning 2v1s, but over on this side of the map here, Rand's in trouble as AGAL completely overwhelmed and swarm. Great work coming for this team. Positions all noted. No one is truly safe in this area. And now, wants to jump off from this site is looking scary. Attempts coming through here from SAUL. Jack on the other side. The glue wall somehow will go down as AGL so meticulous with how exactly they take these fights.
SATL needed to win this if they wanted to deny AGAL the match point. And with that not happening and AGAL getting the eliminations, they will now slowly get closer towards match point, and they need only 20. And if they activate match point here, meaning match number 6 is where they just need a booyah and they will close this entire Esports World Cup 2026 for Free Fire.
As Louds just now as well, looking really good on how they played this area. And I have to say, those early fights were really good. Loud knowing when exactly to let go and leave as soon as a third party came is the reason why they're able to have these really deep runs and survive till the end.
AGL, they would want to be the ones who survive to the very end, grab as many points as they want. 4 eliminations right now, and right in front is going to be Loud. The team, not from their region, but the challenger at best. They've been showing consistency from the very first game. Got the booyah in the beginning itself, but it's not been a case where they continuously get a lot in terms of eliminations, whereas AGL, they've been better in consistency and just secured a booyah in the previous game. And AGL, all gamers global. What a global title for themselves. They won it in Clash Squad, and now they want a Battle Royale, and Nyx is down. Cypher. Oh no, a counter now coming through. That's in from Loud. The challenge for a 1v1 is only for a knock. No confirmations, but Dew has been found out, so that's going to be trapped. More falling. Cypher as well. Loud are not taking this easily. They instantly want to challenge. Nice hit coming with the throwable. Cypher is still brought back to life. Chrono being used. Cypher might have patched himself, but BZP with the melter. He's surrounded, gets one. But Cypher will be happy that Nameless brought him back to life, and BZP out. AGL still functioning. However, Nyx is the only one floating above because Stab just got taken down. So troubles and problems for Loud.
AGL looking very aggressive here, but we also are seeing Twisted Minds join in on the fight. 2 members from the team knocked down already, quickly taken away, and Cypher is limping right now. Forced to hide in a corner, forced to just really keep quiet and keep his head down. If he wants to be able, just go for that reset. Regardless, the rest of Twisted Minds not really interested in going in for these hunts, rather prioritizing survivability and positions later. But as for this side of the map here, Fluxo hit toe-to-toe up against the Falcons.
Fluxo, W7M. Their fans have been non-stop on the drums, chanting their names. And now they need to get to that position. Taking down Falcons will give them massive points and deny Falcons from getting towards match point. Melta was already used. So the aggression still continues. While we take a look at the circle, which is about to make its own shift, to bring its own gameplay and a push where teams will not be ready for. And what a quick shift it's been. A drastic one moves through the complete eastern edge, leaving only almost Twisted Minds at the center of it. And it seems like the whole ploy is being towards Twisted Minds, maybe being the champions as well.
SAUL wants to go in for this fight, wants to be able to play comeback here. But Fluxo is definitely not a foe to be underestimated here. Troll, great on the opening. They were aware of his rotation from the other side. A nice piece of cut across. They've been able to do it. MT7's position noted, but movement is good. Being able to take some chip damage, but not enough to drop him down. Bunzin goes up close and personal, dropping down a member of SAUL as Bobs. The damage is good toward Bunny, but no knocks yet from their side. And in this situation, they're barely alive. With Troll looking to find the final member. Bobs knocked down already. MT7 running for his life.
Team wipe हो गई. Oh bhai.
Overcome the giant.
Nice one. Let's go team.
This man was on the stage
चारों को?
with us.
अच्छा वो
4 eliminations and SATL
मैं भूल
Esports
गई कि पहले फाल्कन वाले भी तो थे यहाँ पे वो भी तो नॉक हुए थे उनसे भी मिले अपन को
making
points.
sure their attempt is back again. Next era, this map, this matchup is going to be crucial for every team that's making a comeback. So is Buriram. RRQ also need the points. But them all playing outside the zone means this could be an opportunity for the others who are inside the circle. And taking another opportunity is SHUL. Now it's Lion on a challenge. Noors down, Jack as well taken down over there. Della, he's the one who made the hit. Games Kings North, and for the time being quickly Della to recover and patch himself. Puts glue walls in the container. And Noor wanting to help his teammates, but he's going to be surrounded and he'll also be knocked.
Completely overwhelmed. Lion doing great with the timing. And they've been very, very opportunistic throughout the entirety of today. And now, in this situation, a little bit more further out of the zone, but they do have the opportunity to get into the area since the area on the northern side is fairly empty. The only team standing between them is just TAG.
Team Apex Gaming. We just saw what SATL were able to do, but
भाई
both
FNS
SATL
को
and
कोई
Team
इसके
Apex
chat
Gaming are
में
sharing
पूछा
the
when are
position
you
on the
playing
overall
ENC
ranking.
for
Not
Team
great.
India?
However, Jack trying to make it better. Spots limit, but damage being done by Jack as well. While on the other end, front runners is what we were talking about. AGL out on the top of it. Cypher gates by Rigby. M590 to do the damage. Confirmation also to follow through. Nameless trying to hammer MIBL loss and then successful blows being landed. Nameless now covering the outer fronts. Ravan, after he's losing his teammates, wants to make a run, go for a revive. But even Rigby, he will not deny on this challenge. He will try to stand for it. It will not work out as AGL will have MIBL loss surrounded and swept out.
team भी गई. Open the best now. Thank you, Shisham.
Around the area, just sweeping it. Looking really good right now as we look at the entirety of the circle. Majority of it, at least the best positions, in my opinion, have been completely taken over here. EVOS on the western side, Twisted Minds, and now sharing the southern side as well. Now I'm just waiting for these two to just really just duke it out because we all know how bloody it can be.
Dinoculus will use informations being relayed on either end. Twisted Minds, we spoke about it. AGL might be at the top, a team from Thailand, but Twisted Minds, they were a team that nobody had to bat an eye on. Nobody thought that they're going to be, because AGL's there, Buriram's there, Falcons is there from the region, but Twisted Minds, they're twisting players, hands and legs to make it happen. SATL will also trying that similar approach. They did battle against Falcons, but now Pina
10 तो मारी दी है. Placement में ये हो जाएगा उन लोग का तो. और थोड़ा तो वैसे भी मार ही देंगे. Nice.
Pina still going for a 1v1. It's going to be a match 7 end for him. And SATL Esports secured their 13th elimination.
This is a different look coming from SAUL. Yes, there are moments of brilliance, but this is the capability of what they're able to do. Riding high on that momentum, being able to take out the Giants. And now they continue on here. Northern side, they have the compound and space. And if you were to look at the zone right now, the southern side is about to get hectic. A majority of teams rotating through. Looking at the areas as well, for AGAL, I would say this is one of their best ones. 10 eliminations, not too far there. As the Falcons and SAUL
यार बट अपन
each
फिर
are
से
getting
जोन
completely
में
destroyed
पहुंचेंगे ना अपना
in
हर
their
बार
own
ही होता
compounds
है.
and areas.
AGL,
इनमें तो
two
अपन
different teams
भागते
in
हुए
front of
मर
them, Twisted
जाते
Minds
हैं.
as well as Loud. But Buriram, they have only one. That's going to be RRQ. Get High is out. Problem striking. Dutch confirms Rance as well. And Vasana trying to bring Buriram back. He will be put to his knees. Dutch will be recovered because Rance is closer. Buriram having a teammate Jonah who gets closer. Moshi from afar tried his shots, but none of them worked or connected to RRQ. But this breather was enough. Buriram is back in action, and Buriram also getting help from Evos. And now Evo's helping them out. RRQ are in trouble. Dutch, can he recover this? Only good for an exchange, and instantly he will be shut down. And that's the end for RRQ.
RRQ looked like they had a really great start there. This is a situation they really needed. Quiet in the last 2 games, needing to play catch up despite the great start. As for FAUL, Bunny getting knocked out by Lion. Making sure they dot their I's and cross their T's, and even going for more. Evos is now pressured since Lion does have a high ground advantage.
All gamers global now making a rush towards Loud. Already a casualty over there. Can they confirm the elimination? No, Loud managed to recover. But the push is still there. And helping out was Twisted Minds, and in an instant Loud wanted to get out. And all they get out is out of the game into the lobby. Loud Snickers. They were almost consistent, but with only 4 points in this game, nothing much, but more points coming in for Buriram United Esports. As Twisted Minds did help out over there to AGL, now they have their own concerns.
Yeah, they're on top side. They are safe for the time being. When they found Limit, they knock him down. As for Evos, wants to wrestle away this space away from Lion. But they're just getting knocked out. Their space just running out. Della waiting in the wings. His teammates shepherding the players of Evos toward him. A beautiful nade takes out Abax. Russia gets knocked down as well. And a quad for Lion. Joker going huge. In this particular round, Evos eliminated.
Joker! Already
AG का match point hit हो गया after this
and now
game.
they spotted Twisted Minds. A knock was dealt, and that's the warning coming in from Lions because they're going to be the beasts of next era. Falcons Keroro trying to close the distance between Buriram as well as Twisted Minds, but he only read that there were players on the roof, not inside the compound. And Keroro, if he jumps in, it's going to be trouble, but trouble
Twisted Mind का भी वैसे तो chance है bro.
Flash freeze all being used, and Lion are peppering them with bullets, and Twisted Minds are dropping nails after nails to trouble AGL.
Yeah, AGL, terrible position to be in. Not a lot of space either, and they're completely crunched from multiple angles, above or below. They are gonna get dumped down here. And Lion, a lot of space to work with, but this circle shift is about to get interesting. Yes, Buriram United and Twisted Minds has a little bit more space. Walkos getting knocked down here, should be able to get picked up, and AGL looking to rally back.
Lion quickly recovered. Thankfully, they
तभी
did
तो
not
मैंने
lose
बोला
their
मुझे next
sniper.
1-2 गेम में खत्म होता हुआ दिख रहा है भाई
Nameless gets hit.
फाइनल
But there is a
तीनों का
chance,
हो
glue
जाएगा
on and recovery. This is just the back and forth now.
Twisted Mind को
Explosive
थोड़े
Joker,
से
but
या
a
तो
quick recovery, but Explosive,
या
can
तो
he
वो
find
लोग
another?
जीते
Nice monster truck being brought
Even
down.
second है तो भी
Blocking
होगा
vision for the time
हो ही
being.
जाएगा
Yoka trying to find an
Elimination
angle.
ना भी लेना
It's not
जीत गए तो
possible
भी
for
हो
the time
जाएगा
being. But Lion, if they pull this off, 27 eliminations already. We were talking about records. They might be getting closer. Aurora was the last time who managed to get closer to it. But they did not close it out. And all Lion are doing is a knock after knock after knock. We have to see when do teams manage to not able to rise up. No revives. And finally it seems like AGL have had enough. They make a rush.
They are forced to take
बिना हमारे first second भी
A
आए तो
bad
भी हो
situation
गया
turned into a good one. Desperation turned into a win. They have the space right now, looking to overwhelm the players of Buriram United. And this is huge. Really stop Buriram United in their tracks. Continue their silent run throughout the last few maps. From United, their backs out in the open. Lion take full advantage of this. Wasana knocked down. Well, get high, barely alive. But they're holding on for twist for life. As the AGL members also are in trouble.
Trouble is not stopping. Cypher managed to jump, but he'll still be picked off. That's going to be the Twisted
third
Minds
आ
and AGL
गई
allowed. Comes
नहीं
down to
होएगी
the
फिर
last
ये
two teams. Lion and Twisted
अगर वो
Minds.
लोग
Twisted Minds
बिना
are getting
कोई
closer towards the match point,
third
but
भी
Lion
नहीं
have a
fourth
race to
out हुए
reach.
हैं
Opening yet to be found. Game scheme was not, but that's not going to be enough. Twisted Minds now rotating, trying to climb up the hill, but Joker at the angle. He puts jump down, needs a confirmation, and that's when the numbers will change.
Oh wait, when
this is really interesting because both these teams, you haven't seen a very healthy fight in a while here. Joker decided to move away here. Both players, both teams looking to prioritize positioning. They know exactly where the Twisted Minds players are. And Lion wants to try and take away that space, but it's a high climb, playing this angle where Twisted Minds have all the advantage. Diamond with the high ground, and even those snipers, it's going to be really hard to really challenge this space.
Riptide Rhythm being used, but he'll not be troubled. On the other end, Diamond will be because Joker came up close. Putting the player on the roof down, and now look at this. Lion closing in because they know the zone's closing out. Twisted Minds. Della as well close
Twisted
by.
Minds
Confirmation. Twisted Minds have lost the player. Games King finds the ball.
फर्स्ट या सेकंड ही आना था उनको. ये लोग 30 मारे भाई साहब. 30 के बाद इनको भी मारा. 40 plus points for first time देखी.
Next Terra was said to be a map for other teams, but they decide to go aggressive. They decide to take this fight with gusto, and they are fearless. From a bad situation to a good one, disadvantages upon disadvantages, and turned into advantages somehow. This team rally, and this team decides to overwhelm them out. And suddenly, everything up in the air. Match point is still. We're still wondering when exactly that's gonna happen.
They crushed Keys yesterday, and today opportunities of match point being crushed. 45 total points. Lion break all the records that anybody thought could have been left as it is by Falcons, which was done. Aurora got closer, but they couldn't. And Lion, they do it. The beasts of Nextera making a comeback in the grand finals. Looking forward to match point. What a play, what a position. Look at this, Joker, unbelievable stuff. He did find his opening, but this was the crucial one. Putting Diamond out. How did they make it happen? That is crucial with Della going up close. Let's hear them out.
So much match है ना, मेरे को भी यही लग रहा है.
Crazy work coming from the zone. You could tell
अभी ये
how
लोग
much
को
they
बस जीतने
wanted
पे
it.
फोकस
They
करना
were
है.
super,
3 games
super
मुझे
high.
तो
Like as
एक
you
या 2 लग
mentioned,
रहा है भाई.
match point denial
क्योंकि
coming
ये
from
teams
this
बहुत
team.
crazy खेल
And
रही
if you
है.
were to see their record throughout this entirety of the week, they didn't really get activated up until later.
45 points एक game में. सोचो.
And most importantly,
match point
what
90
the heck
है.
was that
ये लोग ने उसका आधा बनाया है game में. तू सोचो.
But AGAL, they got 22 points, and now I'm afraid. It was 70 points before we started this game, and now that match 5's ended, I think they've made it to match point. The only team that have made it to match point. We'll take a look at it, but let's talk about the key players. We were talking, the highlight was entirely on Games King when we always spoke about Lion. Yes, in his region, when we were seeing their games, it was yes, him, the MVP, finding eliminations, but when it was necessary, the whole team stepped up, except for his name, everybody else was there. That tells you when Games King could play his own game, and on top of it, Joker as the sniper. Oh my God. He made sure Twisted Minds, if they thought they had a chance, it would be swept, vanquished, and cleared from their minds.
प्राउड है अपने इंडियन टीम्स पे टफ कंपटीशन में 10 में रहना नॉट इजी. एग्जैक्टली दोनों के लिए भाई फाइनल्स में आना बड़ी बात है भाई.
All the information he needed, but that one shot coming in from Lion to take down Diamond, and suddenly it just felt like a huge collapse.
You have to keep that in mind.
All the defenses fell apart, and that's
इधर
what I
खेल रहे हैं वही
like
बढ़िया है भाई.
seeing
अपनी
for
एसिड
Lion.
ने लास्ट गेम कितना अच्छा मारा.
Opportunistic to turn
वो
the
लोग हर बार
tides.
रोटेशन में
Regardless,
मर
we're
रहे
going to
हैं.
take a breather, and when we come back, let's see
बहुत
what
बढ़िया
exactly
खेला
will
last
be going
game.
on here in the grand finals.
We were there for every click, every clutch, every respawn. We were there for the years of grind, and we're here now. The proud founding partner of EWC, powering the biggest event in gaming, shoulder to shoulder with the world's best, making history. Greatness deserves a stage. Lenovo Legion, reach your impossible.
lot of people are haunted by their past. I'm inspired by it.
They're not just playing for themselves, they're really playing for their entire family.
They have defeated their demons! They have crushed the curse!
Everyone, the match point has started. We have two teams activated the champion rush. Lion and AGAL with very impressive points, 89 and 82.
That is amazing indeed. I mean, just take a look at that last game. Lion, they totally won our heart over. They had it really hard against Twisted. Twisted had the better position, but they were quick. That they were super fast. A booyah, first booyah for Lion today, and they got 33 elimination points in just one game.
Yep,
they were struggling at the beginning, but 33 elimination points is huge, Yunso.
The youth energy is getting fired up right here, and I want to talk about Joker. He is such a nice sniper. Wait, getting himself 11 eliminations point is amazing. Very incredible, right? Super love that guy, actually.
And of course, if we're talking about the match point, they are now 6 points ahead of AGAL, and that is something that we should look forward into going on the next game.
92 as well, and I think both of them can activate it. Both of them had activated the champion rush already and just need one more booyah to become the champion of AWC 26 Free Fire right here. But behind that, we still have Twisted Minds, 87 points, and Loud, 71.
Yeah,
Pretty
and that
close.
is amazing. And you just saw what happened in the green room. You just saw our reaction because that game, that match was just intense. But now we are surely having high hopes for Lion and hoping the other could catch up to them, because this is what they show exactly at the survival stage. I mean, technically, Lion was also one of the very first team who got the booyah during the group stage, right? So we all know that they do have what it takes to be the champion.
Well, this is the first time a LATAM region can rise above and become the champions. What do you think?
I think this is going to be huge, and I'm pretty sure that we are in for some more surprises. But now I think it's time for us to go back to the casters. I'm sure they have a lot to say about the upcoming matches. So Yunsul, are you sure that your team can still make it? What's your team again? Oh, no, they did not make it. I'm so sorry.
Why are you being like
I still have 2 teams. I still have Honor Q&A, and I do hope they are going to put everything they have on the land right now and activate those match points.
Oh man, this is getting real hot right now. 2 teams already on match point, and 2 teams are about to bring home trophies for the first time to their own regions.
Cutthroat is the competition. Like our talents down there as well, Princes and Yunsu.
Match point 90 है और हो गया कई
This is
teams का.
how this competition is turning out. Records broken in a grand final stage. And that is not from your Southeast Asian teams, not from the Brazil team, from a team who've made it and got their match point activated because of their booyah with 45 total points. That is Lion. And now they're moving into the next game. A total of 98 is what Lion have secured. With 65 eliminations.
3 points
AGL, for a second I was worried AGL did not get it, because
God.
looking at how they were taking the points, obviously I think AGL, this was a close call, and they'll be happy that they got to match point. Even if Lion managed to secure the booyah in the next game, AGL will manage to try and defend it. So chances for AGL also there for becoming a champion.
That's right, and this is where things get really hard. Getting the match point is not the hard part. Getting that booyah, however, it's as though you're putting a big, I would say, target on your back. And it's as though you have to have that mental
यार
to
देखो
make it all the
ओवरऑल
way to
प्लेयर
the
में ना
end.
2 चीजें होती है, एक एम, गेम सेंस, मल्टीपल चीजें इनके अलावा भी है, बट सिंस वी आर ऑल जस्ट स्ट्रीमर्स, इतना मैटर नहीं करती बाकी चीजें. तो उसमें थोड़ा देखो स्नैक्स रहेगा, क्योंकि स्नैक्स दिमाग लगाता है, ट्राई करता है, ज़ेरेफ मस्ती में खेलता है, फुल टाइम पास पूरा टाइम चैट पढ़ता रहता है. वो बिल्कुल दिमाग नहीं लगाता है, बिल्कुल भी नहीं. तो एक्चुअल में अपन कौन बेटर खेलता है वो तब बता पाएंगे जब दोनों अपना बेस्ट ट्राई कर रहे हो. उतना अपन नहीं बता सकते.
And Vatsana as well. 1-1 elimination each, and Wolven also goes out.
Getting
लो भाई
eliminated so
Evos
early.
आते ही
Evos.
खत्म.
What on earth happened over on that side? Meanwhile, over here,
Tag भी
TAG
2-man हो गई.
still surviving, still as a 2. Vietnam United doing a great job of just maintaining this space, making sure that they're able to just bring their team back into the game. Yeah, they lost Osana, but how quick they were to go for that, I would say, that reset. A replay to just see what's going on right now. Look how quick Vietnam United just completely overwhelmed, left no space and moment for TAG to completely pick up the pace.
And while that replay happened,
ट्रॉफी बननी आ
MIB
गई
lost.
उनके
They were the ones who
आगे.
put Evos out here at Shrines.
यार but
TAG
Twisted Mind
and
का कैसे
Buriram
नहीं हुआ
was
मुझे
again
समझ
drop
नहीं आया.
cash
मतलब वो लोग
previously. TAG
जो
had to
points
go to Santa
दिखाते
Catarina.
थे,
They decided,
वो
hey,
लोग
let's take a hit at Buriram. This time it
किस
did not
basis
work
पे
out.
दिखाते थे अब मैं
But
confused
Buriram, when we talk about that, it seems like they have a challenge.
क्योंकि मैंने
Very
placement
soon,
count करके बताया.
Lion, who just broke the EWC record, are now going towards Stone Ridge. AGL on the other end, they better be wary about it. If they don't read into this, if they're not ready into fights, and if they end up losing players, yes, not a team elimination, I hope. Players still is okay, but they have to be worried as Buriram get hit by Lion, and the battle strikes off. Get High is down.
नहीं ना
Games King
second
confirms
आए
it.
तभी तो.
Trying to close the distance, Jonah. Can he hold it off? Yes, he does, but Games King is there as a backup. What do you do against these beasts of Free Fire?
Vietnam United in this situation
current
possibly not
placement
only
points
been
include
more than
होते
they
ये
can
नहीं पता
chew,
था.
they were also
हाँ, तब भी.
completely tunnel
मुझे लगा
vision,
नहीं होता live update.
unaware of the positioning, the layering of how the Lion players have placed themselves. Now we move over to the Falcons, just side by side to the players of TAG. And this is interesting because usually for the Falcons, it's all about going aggressive here. They go do that against Trap, quick to find him. But the rest of Loud, very, very comfortable on the other end, able to move away.
I think it was just Loud trying to scope out for information, and Trap just got spotted out without knowing that players were behind him. But one more team right behind Falcons is this time Team Apex Gaming, who just made a recovery. But look at Pino.
इनका हर गेम ही फाइट होता है स्टार्टिंग में.
Shoto instantly put down and get it.
नहीं दो
Falcons. They're the ones who are flying and clipping the wings over the
They
side
can't-
guard
they
position
cannot
compromise.
run.
The Pelgrim also used,
GG हो
and he
गया.
will also be brought down to his knees. Wolven, he did manage to recover the team, but he will not be able to recover even a single elimination against Falcons.
Falcons look really good right now, much more like themselves. They're just moving around the area and the map and just really taking fights against every single team they cross. But definitely, I have to say, Lucifer, this map is definitely a lot more slower than the first few maps today. Everyone's so cautious. No one wants to give any opportunity.
Bound to happen. Two teams have match point. If you mess up, one of those two teams will become champions. Crush your keys, put it in their trophy, and for the entire year will be reigning kings of Free Fire. And you do not want that. That is the reason the teams who are the closest, Twisted Minds as well as Loud, they want a recovery. But Tag, they are not finding any recovery at all today.
It's like a marathon of just
it's
recoveries
just been
for them.
revive, revive, and revive. Nothing on the elimination front.
Look so, the crowd's so loud for them, giving them that energy, and Diamond will be the first one to get knocked down here quickly. 1 point in the bag here, and T7 does find one of their own, but they are going to be rallied back. Because we do have Twisted Minds here that do still want to play. Jump, knocked out already, 2
Imagine ये लोग वाइप हो जाए.
A first
एक
step
बचा
too
इनका.
many
ये लोग का मैच
for it
पॉइंट
to
भी नहीं हिट
climb
होगा.
up the ladder.
Expose ही
Bit
बचा
more
है.
quiet for the rest of the day since they did manage to get one big game earlier.
Twisted Minds, thankfully they got away. They are 3 points away from match point. If they don't get there in this game, they have to only hope that AGL and Lion, they don't win out. And thankfully, Falcons are trying to deny, but Games King says no once again.
ओए तो मर गए Lions.
Insane right now.
Guerrero, his confirmation comes through. And now Lion are quick to check and pounce upon if there are more Falcon players here.
ये तो crazy हो जाएगा भाई.
Now for AGAL, also
45
up here,
point
ready
win.
for that trophy. But
And-
Lost looking to just really shut them down, not able to do so with General. Going to get knocked down
Survival
here.
में भी भाई क्या
Tries,
खेले थे खैर.
can't do so. Blocked out by those glue victory position. First elimination in the bag. But for Made in Brazil loss, you see Yago pressuring Barros, forced to move away. He barely survived that encounter. And now AJL not able to overcome. So what they're going to do here is they're going to try at least hold on their positions, try to isolate Yago, be aware of where everyone is, but they cannot get any more eliminations.
AGL do not even want that. They just want a booyah. Even Lion. But Lion are still pouncing upon opponents, taking them down. They have 6 eliminations already. Just did lose out a player. And that's due to the launch pad they took, but that's still okay. However, they have a hit list on them for the next 1 minute. The position to the team who activated the hit list will be pinged. And they have to be wary about it. And that's going to be the Falcons. Initially, Lions did take them down, but Falcons, I think, want to fly and swoop down, put their beaks into the Falcons, and take that beast away.
It's going to be really fun how it's going to go. Lion, you know, I would have surprised. I thought they would have changed up the way they play coming into this particular game. But for them, they're saying, no, let's just play our game. Let's continue our momentum and how we move. In this situation here, we just talked about Lion. Squawka's already getting knocked out. Now for Twisted Minds, an idea on exactly how it's going to go. Look at this map here, this area toward the sub. No one really around, so Fluxo, they can become the gatekeepers. They want to know. Twisted Minds knows exactly where MT7 is. Takes a lot of damage already.
यार इसमें थोड़ा अलग है यार.
The long range weapons that MT7 has is lethal in his hands. Exposy is getting shot back in return.
मुझे नहीं लगता इधर वो चीज
And both
होगी.
these teams temporarily on a stalemate. Exposy, the glue wall falls, takes quite a bit of damage, forced to reposition, but able to put another one down.
Twisted Mind ने अगर एक फाइट भी निकाल ली ना ये लोग का हो जाएगा.
Not for long. Teammate knocked down. The bat is here as well. MT7 is going to be completely overwhelmed here. Tries his best to at least steal away a
They
pickup.
literally just need 3 points this game.
Geo decides to join in on this fight.
एक हो गया. सिर्फ इन लोग को 2 points बनाने हैं चाहे मर जाएं
It seems like there's been a call made to retreat. Do not continue this fight because if they keep giving eliminations to Twisted Minds, that is them going to be activating match point. And Twisted Minds, their chase doesn't work in their favor. They almost were about to lose 2 players. They did lose 1. But instantly knowing that Fluxo is close by, they decide not to continue that fight with this disadvantage.
Gotta take this slow, you gotta keep very safe, but the very least here.
इस मैच में खत्म लग रहा है.
The rest of Fluxo, they can be the ones to keep Twisted
Twisted
Minds
Mind
out of the zone. But if you take
enough
too long,
points
the
बना
Lions
लिए
are
ना,
going to go
तो इन
on
लोग
a
को
hunt,
टॉप 2
and
को
Lion
टारगेट करने
is
ट्राई
now
करना
here.
चाहिए. वही
Their
तरीका
strategy
है.
of going completely aggressive,
ऊपर के दोनों को
taking fights
रोकने
left,
के
right,
लिए
and
खेलना
center
चाहिए.
has been going very, very well
ऐसे भी
for
इनको
them.
2 ही points चाहिए.
Twisted Minds, only 1 elimination.
And points बनाने
Meaning they
का
will jump
फायदा
to
नहीं है
88.
वो 2 teams में से कोई जीत
They
जाए.
need more players to be at least eliminated. 10 in the lobby. If a team gets eliminated, they bring it down to around 8. They'll start getting placement points and they might make those 3 points. But this is how pressure works, especially in the finals. You know, with match point under threat, if you don't activate it, somebody else activates it, and then the booyah to follow is the game being closed for Free Fire. And that is why Twisted Minds are also along the same line of how we are seeing AGL trying to play safe and secure some of those eliminations, those points.
The position coming in from Lion, instead of just going in for this fight, decides to prioritize positioning, and it's good. They got a compound, and most importantly, a bit more advantage to the players of Twisted Minds and even Fluxo.
भाई लाइन ने तो जोन भी ले लिया.
Last map would be a change in pace for
खत्म लग रहा है. खत्म लग रहा है.
Quiet, but we haven't seen more from them on this map either.
But Twisted Minds, they're also unable to see a lot. It seems like they're just back and forth in the play zone. They're playing outside the edges itself. Anytime they try to get closer, Fluxo once set them down, and the other time they had a clash, somehow surviving. Good use of the electrotherapy is all I can say at this point because they're trying to survive that play zone and nothing else because they want to make it to the end. They're trying to bank on those placement points we were talking about. RRQ on the other end at the 9th spot, 46 points. We just broke a record. 45 total points. Why not them trying their hand at it? Because we know RRQ have that potential.
They do.
It's just that they miss out when it's time to close. So RRQ can always stage their very own comeback.
बढ़िया है यार विजय एकदम.
In this situation as well.
दर्द हो रहा है ये देख के but.
Like you mentioned, fairly quiet, but this era to our refinery could be good for them. Going in from these long-range picks, being able to catch people.
यही होने वाला है. ये दोनों में से कोई जीत रहा है
I'm surprised to see refinery so empty. AGL.
Why is there no Suhaina? होना चाहिए भाई.
That continues. They can see command posts right down. And that is where the circle
email
is.
डालना पड़ेगा
But
YouTube
the fights are still going on here with they made in Brazil lost, getting that first pick off here. But General will be the one that's faded out there. But you can't count Yago out, putting in that damage for the Falcons. We're so ready for Rigby's jump shot. Triple elimination for him. Aggressive attack and another step forward.
भाई MIBR का भी बुरा चल रहा है finals तो खैर.
With MIBR loss, able to bring one player in the game, you need more.
क्या खेली थी group stage में अभी देखो.
Coins to be able to do so.
इन लोग का खराब चल रहा है game एकदम.
Problems for every team who want to get closer to match point. Loud have only 4 eliminations. Falcons want to make their way, but they need around 27 in total. They have earned 10 of those eliminations. AGL finally making a rotation out of the refinery. We spoke about it. Circle is not there. With the position that they hold, they have a clear front to move around. And that's how they decide to rotate as well. Rather than going directly into the circle, they're moving around it so that they have information. And especially the vertical terrain advantage is what they still want to keep.
AGL just now, they were trying to get that advantage earlier, but now the advantage comes close since they do have this huge terrain. Those Lion Games King will be knocked down, but Della is here to completely obliterate. Shots from above, catching the mid-rotation.
दोनों आपस में लड़ लिए. दोनों आपस में लड़ लिए. गई.
A quadra kill from this player to further their way into the game, and a heartbreak for AGAL.
That was an M249 used like a Gatling gun and gutting AGL out. And Lion, Della destroying the team who had match point, and now it's only Lion in Kalahari. They spotted the next opponent. That's going to be Fluxo. But they don't have to run into it because Fluxo are already in another fight. That's going to be Buriram. These teams are fighting amongst themselves while Lion are cleaning shop and paving path.
It's going to be dangerous right now. Fluxo, crowd loud for them. A lot of energy, a lot of cheers. And Buram United looking to silence them. A quick reposition coming in from Bison. Good enough to keep the rest of Buram United at bay. But the shots coming
प्लेयर्स
from
को नहीं
Lion.
दिखता. क्या बात कर रहे हो? अच्छा बीजे में दिखती है क्या? ये नहीं पता था.
And they're not able to do a lot.
भाई फिर तो इन लोग को पता ही नहीं रहेगा.
M249 not stopping from Della. Has 4 eliminations, finally Troll puts a stall and then a knock on Della. That was crucial to put Lion down, and SATL are charging towards them. This is going to be an opening, but Joker tries to slow them down, confirms on Jack as well. Bringing it down to
Lion,
Bunny with the ACAT has done the damage. Boltmaker also surrounding Lion. Very cautious on the approach. Nade being cooked, toss, but will not hit the mark. SATL are right behind the containers, but not in position for Lion to instantly fight.
Yeah, and now Lion looking to running out of space. The same could be said about SAUL. Maybe a temporary respite between teams. Regardless, gonna try and chunk forward here as well, but kept at bay. Damage is too much, and throughout all of that as well, Falcons and RRQ gonna juke it out. Falcons taking a lot of heavy damage, and RRQ completely collapsed. The Falcons cannot move.
RRQ, they managed to put Falcons down, but the fight is not yet done. MIBR lost, who managed to recover General and Yago. But RRQ has the zones closing, they want to be ahead of it. They want to make a move, and they are. They also need the points. They're at the 8th spot. We spoke about it. 40-pointer, but now it's tough. Players getting knocked. Mahal will be brought back to life, and General instantly put to rest by Abe. And RRQ get their 5th. But Lion, they are the ones that the whole lobby should be worried about. 7 teams still surviving. SATL at the front of it. Interesting. And Della makes it inside the circle. Joker using the stealth bikes, and look at Yako. He's in the other front. Reply to them. Use. This could be an opening.
ऐसे ट्वेल पीछे लाइन के मार सकते हैं उनको actually. Oh नहीं गई. Never mind. जीत गई भाई, जीत गई, अब तो जीत गई. वो लोग उड़े क्यों? बट मेरे को लगा था मारेंगे. खत्म है भाई. जीत गए भाई. जीत गए भाई, जीत गए, जीत गए.
Big one, M79, two of the players from Twisted Mind are down. Knicks up close and personal, and Loud have put Twisted Minds down. Lion, a 3v4.
This is insane because Wakos is just finding the angle to Waka. Not able to land those
Guys,
shots.
क्या लगता है? फटफट बताओ, फटफट,
But the
फटफट.
guys have a nice crossfire.
भाई
and
जीत
Wako
गए, जीत गए,
completely
खत्म ही है.
surrounded. Cannot really move. These two teams.
मेरे हिसाब से तो खत्म
Loud
है.
especially wants to stop
निकाल
Lion
लेंगे
from
लोग.
being able to end this tournament. Trap stuck in the corner. Lion playing at a disadvantage with one player less. Joker taking his time.
Trap is the one who made it possible. Now Trap has to be the one to put Lion down as well. But Lion, Joker, the man who became the MVP, he has to hold this off. Nice throw, no player being revived. Knicks making a jump. Can he do the damage? Two of the players from Loud have gotten closer. Doing the damage. Run being done from
भाई क्या हो रहा है?
Right now is not pulling the M249 up because he knows the number disadvantage in Knicks. He finds the opening. Loud are
Loud
stopping this from happening. And Knicks and BCP, they stop Lion, stop them and bring it back to Brazil.
They are not allowing this
भाई,
tournament to
but
end.
imagine they almost won.
With that trophy. Must be frustrating, must be a heartbreak.
अब ट्विस्टेड माइंड का भी हो गया. I don't think फोर्थ का हुआ है. Not sure. फोर्थ पे कौन था मैं भूल गई.
That could have been history in Esports World Cup 2026 in Paris.
भाई कितने sad हो गए वो लोग.
Happen on this stage, and Lion just by a sliver missed this chance. But look at Loud, their execution.
भाई ये लोग sad हो गए.
He started it all with the M79 using the
फोरमैन होते तो जीत जाते.
everybody from getting closer.
मुझे फिर भी लग रहा था भाई निकाल सकते हैं लोग. बहुत क्रेजी खेल रहे हैं लाइन.
And then Knicks
क्या
and
सीन चल रहा है बीच
BCP
में चला गया था.
together.
ऑलमोस्ट ग्रैंड फाइनल्स खत्म होते होते रह गया. ऑलमोस्ट.
That the game trophy is still standing there and no keys are yet crushed.
I have to say, losing that one player advantage was just too much to deal with.
बट मुझे सच्ची लगा था ऐसे ट्वेल मारेगी बे लाइन को. इनके पीछे थे वो लोग बट वो उड़ने लग गए. समझा नहीं थोड़ा मुझे.
Look at Loud. That's
मार
a Loud
सकती
reaction. The way they managed to hold this off. Trap. Yes. You have done magic. You have done the almighty as of now. That's what you pulled off over there. Otherwise, Lion, they were about to be the beasts of EWC 26 Paris Free Fire. Unbelievable, a back-to-back booyah to just close it off, close the stage. But Loud say that no, not yet. We are here. Southeast Asia has taken it away from us many times, but this time no. Brazil wants it, keeping the lifeline open. And Loud will strike this hammer for the game number 7, our match 7, which is going to happen next. But what a game this was.
They're so proficient in getting those eliminations as well. Didn't change their momentum or style of play. Didn't even slow down. AJL a bit more quiet this time, prioritizing survivability. However, that target on their backs meant that they were getting hunted left, right, and center. And I would say that if this team decides to play like Lion, play their own game, they would have had a way deeper run. Regardless, now that the map is still going on, let's have a look at what Lion has to say about that map earlier.
Hello everyone, Carol Bombshell here back on stage. Oh my gosh, things here are getting really serious. The heat is up right now. I'm even And this interview must be really important right now because we gotta talk with Lions, especially with the Joker. That was the player that got the most kills, the most eliminations for Lions, where they activated the match point. Okay, so you guys got the biggest booyah of AWC history, and you just broke AWC point record, kill, and record everything. How did you feel after that?
incredible game. Sir, मेरी तो गलती होती है.
más importantes en este torneo han roto todos los
Actually,
récords.
sir,
¿Cómo
मेरी
te
गलती
sentiste en
होती
ese
है. वो
momento?
तो
¿Cómo te
मुझे
sientes ahora?
realize होता ही है.
Nada, la verdad que bastante emocionado. Al fin y al cabo yo creo que no hay mucha sensación porque seguimos todavía compitiendo, todavía no ha acabado nada. Yo creo que hasta el momento no estamos dimensionando lo que estamos haciendo, simplemente estamos queriendo salir campeones y estamos jugando para eso.
We're really excited, but we are not really feeling right now because we're
I'm
still
buying
competing.
Asus
So there's nothing to
Oh,
feel yet.
bhai,
We're just
let's go,
focused on getting the
congrats.
win and being
क्या बात
champions.
है, new
Probably
laptop.
that's a good mindset for right now. You are now making history for Latam at this event at AWC,
Never,
the World
बिल्कुल,
Champions.
हमेशा,
And you
हमेशा,
are past the
always.
point and become champions. How does it feel to be so close to
मैं
making
तो
history
हूँ.
here?
Estás haciendo historia para Latinoamérica, están en el punto en el cual ya pueden ser campeones. ¿Cómo se siente estar en estos momentos a un paso de ser campeón?
Nada, la verdad que no hay como un sentimiento claro, sinceramente. Lo único que estamos pensando es en cerrar la partida, lograr el bulla y terminar el campeonato y lograr ser campeones. Básicamente estamos jugando para eso.
Me and
We don't
only
really have
me.
a clear feeling. We're only thinking about getting that big last booyah, being the champions, and that's all we're thinking about right now.
Okay, yeah, I'm pretty much sure that's the goal right now. I don't want to take much time with you because you got to concentrate for the next match. But I got to ask about this last game. You were so close to get the booyah that it's going to turn you guys champions. What happened? Can you share some thoughts about this last game, this end game against Loud?
Hablando sobre la última partida, estuvieron muy cerca de convertirse en campeones. ¿Nos puedes contar qué estaba pasando por sus cabezas en ese momento? ¿Cómo se sintió?
La verdad que en el momento simplemente era
वो तो है.
3 versus 4. Pensamos que había otro equipo que eran de diferente, entonces hubo como ahí como que chocamos en la comunicación. Pero nada, de hecho en el momento no simplemente era como de tratar de ganar, entonces no había como algo tan específico, simplemente estamos jugando para ganar y ya está.
We were 3 against 4, and we thought it was a different team, so we had a little bit of miscommunications in our comms, and we just didn't play it right, and what happened happened.
Perfect. All right, so for us to finish our interview, I just would like to make one last question. What do you have to say for those who doubt about the Latam teams, who said that the Latam teams was way below here in Free Fire?
¿Qué le quiere decir a las personas que decían que los equipos de Latam estaban muy por debajo en el nivel acá en Free Fire?
Nada, yo creo que en general por los resultados es muy fácil hablar, ya que al fin y al cabo no están compitiendo en ese sentido. O sea, desde afuera creo que es muy fácil opinar y decir todo ese tipo de cosas, pero nada, estando dentro, yo creo que pasaban muchas cosas capaz como en los equipos, capaz internamente, no sé, la verdad no sabría qué opinar ante eso, pero lo que sí sé es que en la TAM nunca hubo diferencia de nivel o estuvo bajo de nivel. De hecho, yo creo que en Latinoamérica todos sabemos que el nivel alto que teníamos y que podríamos llegar a ser campeones, pero simplemente las cosas no se daban. Y ahora tampoco se podría decir que se podría llegar a dar, porque hasta el momento yo creo que es mejor terminar el campeonato y después salir a hablar.
I think it's really easy to talk when nothing has happened yet, only based on some results. We in Latin America, we've always thought that we always had this level to be champions, to become the best in the world. We never thought about any level discrepancy between the regions. It is really easy to talk from the outside, but once you're inside, that's where it counts. So we are just focused on winning.
Amazing. I love your answer. Guys, you have heard enough from Joker. This is Latin America here at the AWC, making history. And we're going to continue right now. So back to the studio.
And I'm back, and guess where am I right now? Of course, I am in the crowd, and I'm back in the super fan zone of RRQ
Out of
Kazoo.
क्या होता है वो तो?
Yeah! Indonesia, make some noise!
Hi, Big
Wow, I can see you guys are very proud to be here. We know Indonesia already got a title, but not for RRQ yet. So what that would mean, RRQ win today?
अगर मैं जयपुर आऊँ तो आप कहाँ मिलोगे? Stream पे.
Proudest thing maybe in this year because we're rooting for RQ to win again in the FPS game. Yeah.
Amazing. So we all know that you guys have the Free Fire
आज
World
Palmer
Series in
होगा.
Southeast Asia, and you competed among
सकता
most
है.
of the teams here. So which is the toughest team for RRQ to face today?
The toughest team is still EVOS, of course. Yeah, EVOS and Buriram.
Okay, okay, I like the way. Okay, so all of you came from all the way from Indonesia. Have you prepared any special song?
Chance,
खुद को lock
we prepare,
दूसरों से दूर.
Okay, we want to hear the special
Keep
song.
me
Come
safe
on.
from the bad and mean people who are selfish, who only think about themselves. दूसरा जो करे सब गलत, खुद जो करे सब सही. उनसे दूर रखने के लिए.
I love that.
Easy.
And first, you finish your interview. I learned something in your language.
भाई साहब क्या ओटी चल रहा है ये PRX का?
Indo Bersato?
Indo Bersato, yeah.
PRX हार रही है.
FF Indo Bersato. Thank you. Back to the studio.
It's not only Southeast Asia, it's not any of the other regions, because right now Latam is on top and they are breaking records, Lace.
Where do I even start?
That song, I feel you, girl.
If we come out of like match 3, right? So let me take you back on a story. Let me take you on a journey of the victory of the Lions on top of that Pride Rock. I mean, at the start, imagine they had 13 eliminations out the gate. Okay, this is what I'm saying. 13 eliminations, moving up to 18, then 20, and then of course we keep harping on about it, but breaking a record. And if you guys don't understand what that means, Falcons in 2024, it was 28 eliminations and a booyah. So for Lions to get 33 eliminations and a booyah, that's just not beating it. That is absolutely triumphing over that. So of course it's a very impressive thing from them. But then you would think the next match they might slow things down. They're on match point. No. Okay? You do not want to be in the Lions side at the moment. You do not want this big kitty cat staring you in the face, because it is going to be the end of you guys. I mean, there was a part where, like, obviously Jokerit's interview, he was so incredibly locked in. And within this final match, obviously, he wasn't able to be there with his team in that final circle. So you can see the kind of a little devastation that he probably felt like he was letting his team down just so slightly. And even though that they made it through here, like they just needed to play a little bit more patiently when it was Loud versus Twisted Minds. Obviously Twisted Minds got eliminated. Loud had the still 4 of their members up, but if they could have just pushed at this very moment, they would be lifting the trophy.
Yeah, I mean,
sorry guys, I'm sweating. That's just goddamn.
Yeah, I mean, it was really difficult, especially with one player missing for the side of Lion. It was just really difficult to go and push and charge comparing to the earlier parts when they're full squad.
Almost 4v2 हार गई थी अभी PRX.
Oh, that M79 grenade
Match हार जाते हो
it
लोग.
was by his box in, and they got him hard with that knockdown. 3 knockdowns instantaneously, and it doesn't stop there. Even against a Lion, he still used that same grenade launcher. So yeah, for me, it's not just the team that won. M79 won.
Yeah, I mean, getting 2 booyahs in a final is a huge thing. And 16 elimination points. I mean, just take a look at that ranking finals. Yes, Lion is still on top with 124 points, but Loud is definitely following quite close behind.
12-13 था.
Yeah.
And 4v2 था PRX के लिए, and they almost lost 4v2.
because
खत्म
there
हो
were
जाता
some
मतलब हार जाते वो
mixed
लोग
conceptions there.
अभी
on that
13-13
squad as
हो
well.
गया
Yeah, I mean, I have to give it up
तुम
for
तो रोज सुनते
Lion.
हो
They
ना मैं
were
स्ट्रीम पे
very
उतना
smart. I mean,
नहीं
taking out
बोलती हूँ ना मनिका
AGAL
मैं
quite
नहीं
early
बोलती
on
हूँ
the
पहले बहुत
last
बोलती
game.
थी अब
That
नहीं
was the
बोलती
right move to do. They overtook Falcons' world record, and then they did that. That was just very, very smart. But AGAL, we talked about this before. They were very consistent. Keep getting those points. 11 elimination, and then game 6, they only have 1 placement points and 4 elimination. What happened? Lion roared. They were targeted and they just weren't ready for that.
अगर आपका बुरा टाइम चल
one of
रहा
those
है
things that
it's
happens when
okay.
we see teams hit
हमेशा
that
वैसा नहीं
match point.
रहेगा
The
and
style
सबसे
starts
important है
changing.
लाइफ में
And that's one thing, though,
खुद पे
especially
ध्यान
for
देना
those who are familiar in Southeast Asia.
खुद का mental
Like, the
health,
moment you
physical
hit that
health
match
पे ध्यान
point,
दो
all you have to
बाकी
do is grab
पूरी
that
दुनिया
booyah.
चाहे भाड़
And
में जाए
That's
it. Is it?
क्योंकि
Yeah,
अगर तुम्हारा
I mean,
mental
that-
health खराब रहेगा ना लोग तुम्हें बहुत easily
We've
उल्लू
seen the
बना के
difference in
चले
style.
जाएंगे
We've seen Lion there, despite of
वो
being in the
नहीं
same
होने
situation as
देना कभी
AGL. Both ends of the spectrum.
Yeah.
Like Lion was just aggressive. AGL was just passive. And the moment that
खुद को
AGL
priority
wants
दो
to be
एकदम
aggressive, they met against Lion and they got taken out.
Yeah, they just weren't
चाहे
playing
लोग
their
selfish
exact
बोले
same
ना
game.
उनको
You can
thank
see
you बोलो
Lion is
उल्टा
playing
क्योंकि
exactly
आज के
how
टाइम
they
पे
got to that
selfish होना
moment. And
जरूरी हो गया
AGAL,
है
we saw that they prioritized getting position and zone first. And that's
वरना
probably
लोग
not,
ऐसे
similar to their game style.
तुम्हारा
So that's
हाथ
where
भी
they
टूट
got
जाएगा
caught
ना
out.
बोलेंगे अरे
So
एक ही
play
तो
the
टूटा
same game, guys.
Yeah, but I mean, talking about
बोलेंगे, भाई,
Lion, one thing
vegetation
that
लोग
we
exist
really need
करते
to
हैं अभी।
appreciate is the fact that even though they lost Games King a couple of times, they can still manage to get out of
बोलेंगे
a
अरे
sticky
दूसरा तो है
situation.
ना अभी क्या
That
हो
means
गया
individually they
ऐसे
are so
करते
ready for this final,
And I'm
and
not
I'm so
even
ready
kidding.
for them to just break another record for real, for real.
I think even with the engagement that we
कुछ
saw
भी
against
बोले, नहीं
AGAL,
सुनने
it looked like AGAL was going to catch him by
खुद की
surprise. And
सुनने का
Lion
खुद
said,
की
no, no,
करने
no, no,
का
no. We knew that you were going to be coming behind us, and we were ready to take that fight. And as you were mentioning too, Neptune, the
बुरा टाइम तो
aggressiveness
6
out
साल
of
से
this
चल
squad
रहा
is what we wanted
नहीं,
to
I
see.
am-
Now, when we ended up looking at the overall
मतलब
earlier,
मेरे
there
को
is
भी
4
लगता है बट ये
squads
साल
that
मैंने
are
खुद पे
currently
बहुत
within
काम
that
किया है
match
सो मुझे
point
अच्छा
that
लग
could
रहा है
end up winning everything if they get a booyah in the next match. So let me just recap you on which one it is. It's Lion, obviously, with the performance that they've been having, absolutely nuts. You got Loud Snickers that they were able to just get a booyah as well.
Exactly, मुझे
AGL
recovery तो
and
टूटी
Twisted
है।
Minds
भाई,
are
बता
those
रही
4
हूँ
teams
मैं,
that
बता
could
रही
end up
हूँ।
winning it in the next match.
And you know, the interesting story is that on the last global finals,
तुम्हारा
James
हाथ
King
टूटेगा
had to miss
बोलेंगे
his
एक ही तो
prom
टूटा है दूसरा
and
तो
had to
है
miss his
और
graduation,
उनको कुछ
but
होगा
they
तो
weren't
बोलेंगे
doing
अरे
so
भाई
well.
तुमने ही
Okay?
किया
It
ये मेरे
was
साथ
quite a sad
क्यों
story
किया
if you
तुमने
remember,
ऐसा
Neptune. And now they are
ऐसे
killing
लोग हैं
it.
अभी
Games King is having the greatest time of his life. We can just saw it on his face.
चाहे तुमने कुछ किया भी
The
नहीं
calmness that he have. They are so relaxed
इसके लिए
and they
बोल रही
are still getting all those points,
खुद को
breaking
इतना
records
strong बना दो
all in day one.
That's
कि
something that
कोई
I
कुछ
actually enjoyed
affect
to
ही ना
see
कर
out
पाए
of the
बस।
interview there with Lion as
Then you
well.
can
The
be
confidence
happy.
was high, but the composure was there as well. The mental wasn't one of those that
डॉक्टर
saying,
के जाओ
we're about to be champions. They're like, no,
पट्टा
the
करवाओ
job is not done yet. We still know that there's a lot to come, but it looks like that squad knows what's at stake. They know that they've been breaking records, but they want to lift that trophy.
I mean, I just
भाई
quickly
क्या है
want
ओटी
to add,
खत्म ही नहीं हो रहा
yes,
है
getting the win, getting the booyah, obviously being on match
एक
point
के
is,
बाद
is
एक ये
what the
जीतते
aim
फिर
of
वो
the game
जीतते
is,
ये
correct?
जीतते वो
But
जीतते
keeping the
मेरा एक
consistency
बार
and getting
हाथ
those
काटते
points
हुआ था
because
तो
they're
वैसे
second,
मैं
third, and
वो
fourth place. And that's,
hypothetically
from
बोल
my
रही थी
records, there's still some money there. So they don't want to slow
जब
down.
मैं किसी
And
और
if
के
we
लिए
move
रनर
back to
बना
like
था बाद
AGAL
में वो
and
इंसान
them
ने
not sort of
सुना
playing their
लॉल
aggressive
भाई
game, I think that they
मैं तो
need to just
hypothetically
go
बोल रही
back
थी
to
बट भाई
that,
के साथ
be
सही में ही ऐसा
aggressive
हो गया है
because if Lion wins, then you make sure you want to be that second place team, and you still need points, and you still need eliminations, and you still need all of that to be in that second place.
They definitely need the points. They definitely need those eliminations, but most of all, they
14,
need that
14.
booyah. Which playing style are we going to be seeing this here? Because, I mean, not only is it this championship at stake, we do have club championship rankings as well. Obviously, from our end, you can see Team Vitality is up there, but sadly, they were not able to make it here. Team Falcons is here. We really haven't seen much of them in AGAL Neptune. They could have a chance to get that trophy.
Yeah, I do agree. I mean, this is a great great chance as well for AGAL for a Free Fire, and this might be a good chance for them to really feel being a champion in Battle Royale, because last global finals they were champion but in a different mode. So like the motivation they have coming from a different competition going here in EWC, and we're seeing that the consistency is there, the patience is there as well, but it's more of really getting it hit, making sure that every move is calculated and not risking that much.
I'm seeing that Falcons are here. I mean, we got a chance to see earlier on Fire actually showing up for the squad. One of those players that has won before. He's gonna be looking to show up
wishing
once
for a
again
fracture.
for
Bhai,
Falcons. Honestly, we were kind of joking about earlier on when I was saying that leaderboard's looking like spinning the wheel. Absolutely nobody, Conchita, expected the record to be broken with 33 eliminations from live.
I don't know. That was shocking, definitely. I mean, you saw what happened in the green room. We had that reaction. And yeah, but speaking of Falcons, I mean, they were still quite consistent with the placement because looking back in Game 5, they made it to the top 5, right? So they still have a chance. They just need to take it up a notch. And maybe if the jacket is saying Falcon is here, you know, guys, you gotta back it up. You gotta back it up with the elimination points as well. So that don't just be there, but like be there with all the elimination points, all that we needed.
Yeah, I agree. Because we've just added 2 of the teams already in match point. So it might be difficult for Team Falcons to really reach that because they haven't reached it. They haven't taken that just yet. 13 points per them to be able to reach that 90-point match, that 90 match point. And what they need to do right now is to make sure that either they take down those at the top, or they push the others to get down.
It's gonna be a surprise to see what's gonna be happening here in this match. It could end. We could end that with the champion.
इजीली उल्लू बना देता ना कि मैंने गलती नहीं भी की ना तो भी वो मुझे गिल्टी फील करवा देते थे बट अब मैं ऐसी ढीठ हो गई हूँ कि कोई कुछ भी बोल ले मेरे को फर्क ही नहीं पड़ेगा जब तक मुझे पता है मैं सही हूँ मैं ऐसी हो गई हूँ एंड ये मेरे लिए बहुत बड़ी अचीवमेंट है सच्ची
and for me I want Dew to finally lift a Battle Royale trophy.
For me, it'll just be fun to see the Lions pick up the trophy because so far it's all about the Animal Kingdom here at the Esports World Cup. You had the Falcons, the Birds of the Sky, and you had the White Tigers from Indonesia. Now you might as well just throw the Lions in there as well, right? But like you said, I do also think that AGL deserves it. They are a team, and it's been a long time coming for them already. In the recent times, they've been dominating Clash Squad. They are your global finals Clash Squad champions, and they have not lifted a Battle Royale trophy for themselves just yet. What better way than to go back-to-back from Clash Squad at the global finals and then the Battle Royale at the Esports World Cup 26.
And it's been a story of 4 years, maybe more than that, especially for the star player, the Angel of Death, who is Dew. Back in 2022, when we were in Bangkok, Thailand for the global finals, they were 1 game away, they were 1 booyah away from lifting that trophy. And it was ruined by Magic Squad from Brazil. It was ruined by Buram United Esports, where Moshi hit a highlight reel. And Nigma Galaxy was the organization that Dew was with. He was placed in top 4. Now he has a chance again to make things right after 4 years.
4 teams can close this off. You've got Leon from the one and only LATAM squad. They're the only representatives here for the region. You've got the Brazilians in here as well. And 2 teams from Thailand, AGL as well as Twisted Mind.
This is going to be pretty close.
यार अपनी टीम से है ना दोनों इसके लिए मेरे को इतना वो हो ही नहीं रहा
I predicted to be the case. They can be the game maker.
Top 4 team drop clash हो जाएगा.
AGL and Lion, despite playing
सब एक दूसरे को मारने एक ही जगह उतर जाए मजा आ जाए.
Making very good decisions based on the circle. It was Loud that prevailed with their members' advantage. We heard it earlier on from Joker that there was just a bit of miscommunication because they were at a man disadvantage, the 3v4. And that is enough for Loud to now join the ranks of a team that can win it. Back for Brazil. And you know who's going to be proudest if Loud actually wins? The Corinthians.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, man. Now, Loud, they are the only ones here on the Grand Finals battlefield that have got 2 booyahs to their name. But can they go back-to-back? We just played Kalahari. Now we're about to hop on into Solara. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this is game number 7. Does it end here? 4 squads have the chance to do it. Many others have a opportunity to play spoilers.
This could be where the trophy gets lifted.
मेरे केस में तो हर बार हुआ है बचपन से अभी
top
तक.
124 points, but once you cross the 90-point threshold, the point starts mattering as much as the booyah. It's not how you start, it's how you finish. And if Lion lets this slip away, the most they get is second placement. And what better map to have it be decided than Solara?
Very interesting drop here for Buriram. They were going towards the hub and then they used their binoculars to scan out the players here. EVOS as well as Team Apex Gaming scanned out by Buriram, and now the Giants from Thailand want to go out hunting, sending Jonah up front first.
studio is about to be lit up. Yet another binocular used.
Okay, नहीं मेरे को नहीं
Potentially,
imagine
it is a
करना.
scan and a counter scan from both Tag as well as
अलग ही
EVOS.
sensing power
Things are
भाई
about to get
सोच
messy
में.
at the studio.
Although वो खुद के life में नहीं कर
BRU is
पाती
gonna try and go on the
है.
hunt.
ये भी है.
I mean, they need to
show a bit of that desperation, right? Which much needed. I mean, Tag has already lost 2 of their members. I believe it's EVOS
खुद मस्त
that
उल्लू
claimed the
बनेंगे
first 3
दूसरों
points,
से.
which the
हमारे
Indonesian
केस में
squad so
उनको
far
पता
haven't
है.
been showing up. In fact,
Jumped
both
off
the
a roof
Indonesian
while
Asian
playing
squad
landed
went
on my
top 3 last year, and
thumb.
right now they're not even
भाई
at the
मुझे नहीं
threshold of
करना
90 points,
imagine
but
मेरे
this is TCV play,
दर्द होने
and this
लग
gives
गया
us a good insight
अब
of
मेरे
how
सुन
EVOS
के.
were able to get off on a good foot.
Unfortunately, it's just the mini
हम
Uzis
लोग
in the
ज़्यादा
hands
पीने
of
से
the
होता
players
है.
there from the side of Tag, as you saw. And EVOS having an
Baby.
advantage with the weapons that they were able to initially collect, probably because they hit the ground first. And 2 crucial points for them. Tag, on the other hand, with those revives, Katie God will find Bobs as Team Apex Gaming tries to rotate out of the compound. They're going to be bumping into Fluxo.
चलो टैग की तो फिर से लड़ाई भाई. टैग की हर बार उतरते ही लड़ाई हुई है.
3 teams have a
And
chance to
I
reach the
think
threshold if we
एक
don't
बार
end
वो
here.
लोग नहीं
Fluxo,
जीती है वो लड़ाई.
Buriram United, and to a
हाँ
degree,
ज़्यादा
Falcons.
बड़ा हो
Obviously,
गया ना
Falcons
break.
are the closest. If they do make that run,
But
we
यार
have
6
seen
मैचेस के
miracles
बाद तो
before.
बनता है यार प्लेयर्स के
There
लिए
are some
ब्रेक.
good
इतनी
storylines.
देर
BRU
बैठे रहना.
now up against EVOS.
किसी
As
को
expected,
वॉशरूम
they
जाना
are
होगा,
on the
किसी को
hunt.
कुछ खाना
They
होगा.
are on the prowl. But will they be able to take
Tag
the Predators, the White
खेलिए.
Tigers of Indonesia, out of the race here? They have called out for the lightning zone, which means it's going to be tough for EVOS to run away. If they get hit by one of those lightning bolts, you know they're going to get marked by that Moko as well. AimGod, Apex, trying to boost themselves away out of the compound on the slide rails.
Shit, मैंने देखना बंद किया और टीम जीत गई. मतलब मैं ही जिता रही थी
Blue
कैरेक्स
Walls
को.
is keeping the boys safe for the time being in RRQ. On the opposite
कोई बात नहीं,
side,
इसके
in a
लिए
little
टीम
bit
जीती
of a pickle as EVOS out of the pen into the fire. The Lions catch hold of the Tigers.
And Marcos actually starting off well. That's 2 of them down already with the help of Games King. Unfortunate circumstances for EVOS, but great for Lion.
Anti-EVOS.
Good time to also point out, this Hokos, this is his first year in competitive Free Fire. He joined the team back in February, and here he is now.
मैंने दाल चावल खाए थे
With the
स्ट्रीम
3
पे
other
लंच.
veterans who were in the global finals last year, they finished 10th with Movie Star R7.
The kind of miracle
स्ट्रीम
that
से पहले
SHUL
क्योंकि एक
was
छोटा सा
expecting to
वीडियो
achieve
बनाना
here
था तो मैं
on
कुछ
the
खा नहीं
grand
पाई
final
थी.
stage.
पट
Being achieved
बनाया
by
मैंने.
Arcos. Gotta appreciate it, man. I mean,
इसके लिए
Games
मैं
King, we
लेट हो गई
saw
थी.
that he was willing to let go of his opportunity to graduate with the rest of his buddies, but he represented the nation on our global final stage. Couldn't really walk away with the best, but he has an
W काम कर रहे हो Falcon तुम.
stage. Falcons is bumping into small points on the way in towards that next zone. Loud, on the other hand, not having fun just yet as they were forced to play a little bit of a reset. SHUL, speaking of them, AGAL bumps into them and they clean up house. Stroll's gonna get tagged up here. Moko sees him. Riptide Rhythm breaks down his defenses, and the follow-up from Dew off of the Car 98 makes the job too easy for AGAL, and one final survivor in the name of Jack, trying his best to get away.
Yeah, completely taking over Casa Vista. So Jack on the
पिज्जा
run,
खाओ.
puts in finding AimGod
खाया था
from
ना
the
मुंबई
wayside.
में.
So the Lau's probably going to be slowing down for now, and BRU doing the complete opposite. Shoto tries to book it out of there, so the captain will hold the fort as he lets the
वो
ship
सब्जी
keep on
दाल
sailing.
चावल. दाल चावल दाल
On the
सब्जी तो
survival
होती है.
stage, the opponents there were easy picking for SHUL as well as Total 8 Team Apex Gaming. But in a lobby full of monsters, India is struggling. But I say valiant effort, man. Almost nobody expected them to get into the grand final, so it is a big win for these two teams.
डांट
Big win
खाने
for
के
the
बाद
nation
सबसे
as a
बेहतर
whole.
नींद आता है.
I mean, India is making their way back onto global stage after
आधी
many
like
years.
Togo.
And such
डेली
an
डांट खाता है
achievement
फिर
is
मस्त हो
definitely
जाता है.
admirable. But how far can they go? Can they now start playing spoilers?
कटोरी खाओ.
Can they keep the
यार,
competition
मत याद
alive
दिलाओ.
long enough to activate match point for themselves? I mean, that would be a miracle if we ever
कटोरी
saw
की
one.
तो क्रेविंग पूरी भी नहीं
We
कर
have
सकती
uncapped games,
मैं.
so there is always that possibility.
Oh yeah.
Which I do look forward
तो
to
रोना
if
आता है मेरे को
we ever get
same.
to stretch this out. So far, it seems like the dominant teams are still alive and are still kicking
होने का try
it.
करूँ मैं.
Another shot one on the Moshi, who
बहुत
has not
किया
been
है.
finding
5
much
साल
in
हो
this
गया
grand
मेरा.
finals.
रिटायरमेंट ले लिया मैंने
Lion
वो
is now
चीज से
bumped
अभी.
into EVOS, bumped into Buriram, but of course not the full squad of Buriram. Were able to sneak
It
away.
feels so
their
good
super
to be
sniper.
this dheet, bhai.
Now Cluster will not find on fire. Great blue ball, and he pops the painted
Ab
refuge
dheet
as
bano,
well,
bhai.
keeping
Maze hi
themselves
maze.
safe from those grenades. But it's a three-way battle. Riptide
रात
really
को
breaking
चोरी
down the
नहीं,
defenses
मैं
down
दाल
in the
को चोरी
middle.
खाती हूँ, सिर्फ
RRQ now have
बीकानेर
to be
की, इसके
careful.
लिए मैं
They're
नहीं
about
खा
to be
सकती।
backstabbed. Falcons
मुझे
do
सिर्फ
have a little bit
बीकानेर
of
वाली
leeway
कचौरी
here.
पसंद है।
Rants with the AC-80. Has to make sure he doesn't get caught out here by the players on the side of Loud. And Falcons using this opportunity to quickly back away. But the angles will get them caught out. Limit just hiding away as RRQ loses their numbers.
Not really the rotation that Falcons wanted to make, but thankfully didn't have too much casualty, and Loud recovers from that exchange. Twisted Minds hearing all of this go down. So Loud is not out of danger just yet.
Lightning Zone called out. Some survival play from a squad, or could it be Twisted Minds who are coming in for the attack as well?
वाओ एक और
They're
मिला
blood
मुझे
out
बीकानेर
there
वाली
and they
कचौरी
want
वाला
to reap
डैम
The benefits of the efforts
भाई
from these two
जिन्होंने नहीं
squads.
खाई है ना वो
SHL
उन्होंने कचौरी
on
खाई
the way
ही
in.
नहीं है
Man, this is going to be a very messy fight right outside of Riders
मेरी
Club.
हर वॉच पार्टी में खाने की बातें क्यों
In
होती
Apex
है
Gaming
आज
could
तक
also
मेरे को
join
समझा
the
नहीं है
fight here. Who wants this most? I mean, it is a battle royale at its finest.
क्या लगता है जो भी
With the
टॉप
Lightning
4
Zone
है
out
मैच
there,
पॉइंट
but
वाली
everybody
टीम्स
slowly inching closer
उसमें
and
से
closer
कौन
towards
सबसे पहले
the
बाहर
next
होगा
circle. Lion versus
मैच
Buriram.
पॉइंट
This is
कितने हैं
round 2.
90
Let's see what
और
happens.
4 टीम्स के
Lion
हो
wins
गए
this, they
वो
free themselves up on the
4
western
टीम्स क्रॉस
side.
कर चुकी
And it
है
will be just like the same situation as Kalahari earlier on, where Lion takes the west side of the map and AJL takes the eastern side, and they both meet in the middle. But with Evo's out, now this could be BRU's chance to find some redemption. King's gonna disengage.
तभी तो मैंने 5 साल में वेट बढ़ा दिया था खुद का जब भी दुखी होती थी दूसरी होती थी कुछ ना कुछ इसी वजह से तो ये साल से थोड़ा फिर हेल्दी खाना शुरू
The Lion squad right here, right now. Della, a sliver of health left on him. Wasana already used up the Valiant Dash earlier, just with the slide rails, trying to get into position. Will drop down to the lower ground. M1014 will be no match for the M590. And Wasana takes another player out from the side of Lion. Joker with the stealth bikes managed to get away from that situation. But what is this? Buriram with a player out in the open. If the stealth bike runs out of time, Moshi!
Oh my goodness.
Shoots him right in the knee, takes him out. One final survivor for Lion.
Moshi was so ready to intercept that rotation. He wasn't even in the early exchange. It was just get high on Wasana. And Moshi already went out on an adventure, anticipating that rotation. But thankfully, the young kid of Lion brings the rest of his seniors back, and they get another shot at this. AJL now facing off against Falcon to deny a potential 90 point. But they will trade for now. Pina, can he go big here against Nameless, who so far has been sublime. But Pina will get taken out by Dew, and AJL keeps on.
Those glue walls no match for the M82B, especially in the hands of Dew. Great advantage taken with a weapon in hand. In fact, he's got the AWM as well if he wants to pack a super punch off of those snipes. 5 eliminations strong here for AGAL. Already activated match point. They want this booyah. It's all about the booyah here. At the start of the day, no booyah, no problem. Right now, no booyah. Very big problem for these 4 squads.
And I did mention earlier on that Falcons is one of the teams that have a chance to reach 90 points. And if in a universe that they win the trophy, they will not only be a 2-time champion, but we will have an actual 2-time champion, and that would be On Fire. And how cool is that?
Oh yeah, man.
He was there back with Peter, with Koskill, with one more back in Riyadh 2024, when they set the world record that was just broken by Lion.
Is that the only highlight Lion gets from this grand
यार
final?
नो जायरो नो टेंशन कैसे जायरो तो अच्छा होता है
Get a double. A record-breaking, record-setting match, and then
match point is 90.
At the Esports World Cup 2026, they
#12.
gather up together with the rest of their team members inside the circle. They are safe. AGL on the other hand, Bordeaux hopping out of the vehicle, very smart play. That definitely saves their lives. But they'll have to use up a lot of these utilities, a lot of those
last
blue
day
walls
hai, ye
to
grand
route their
final
way
hai,
in
last-
closer towards
last
Twisted
day.
Minds.
This is going to be a hard one.
Oh, beautiful.
But if they survive, it's going to be good. The Riptide
What a
Rhythm not
play.
good enough. Exposé needed to hit that. It's also a good time to draw a parallel between Evos and Lion. Last year, at the cusp of victory, it was Rasha, the wonder kid, the newcomer that kept the team alive.
Yeah.
Just now it was Wakos that did it.
And remember, last year, EWOS activated Champion Rush on game number 6, and it took them 4 games to find the finisher. Will we see a similar situation here for the LATAM squad as well? Do they struggle? Do they get held back?
I hopefully
Do they find that final circle and rip this one away? Games King finding Rasia. The super sniper of EWAS, the Wonder Kid out. Looking for that revive off of the rest of his team members. Twisted Minds keeping AGAL a little bit entertained, but I have to say again, amazing rotation by AGAL to avoid disaster there as Twisted Minds had the compound, had the circle, and were trying to gatekeep them.
Yeah, but AGAL will still be put under pressure because there's an open ground.
What
really
do
nothing
I
much to keep them
remember
safe
किया?
unless for some reason Loud decides that they want a piece of that.
दो एक ग्रुप में थे मैंने देखा है was like यार काश ऐसा नहीं होता तीनों अलग ग्रुप में होते
Binocular scan on the south
कोई
side.
Fortnite follow किया है क्या like उसमें कैसा है
Final
अपना
circle,
टीम
walks away with Booyah. They'll
मैंने तो आज
definitely
तक देखा ही
activate
नहीं Fortnite
the match point for themselves as well. And no better way to stop the other teams than to walk away with the Booyah on your own and make sure they do not end the game.
Wow.
As AGAL hits the triple. Lion finding Falcons out there as well. Unfortunately, Twisted Minds looking to gatekeep AGAL, and that just did not go their way at all. Do you look at this? The guy's tanking the damage from the circle. Yago from the opposite end. Car98 takes the pass out. Only one final survivor here for Twisted Minds.
They should know that there's a separate team ahead because they saw the
Team
feed as
fight
well.
never.
Jump getting tagged by Cypher.
One
and that's-
team
that's
about
it
to
for-
get wiped out
This should be the end of Twisted Minds. But
he's
here
dropping
comes the
outside.
Dialos with the launch pad.
the lone survivor
So revive player dropping outside the circle here, looking for yet another revive on the squad. Lion, shot from afar.
This is good.
Joker, BSK, can you end them right here, right now? Buriram trying to take out the ones who
There is
activated
one.
Jet Rush so early on. Games King, a sliver of health left on him. Exposi brings back the pass. It's still alive here for Twisted Minds. Lion on the other hand, trying to snuff out Buriram. Captain Jonah, nowhere to run. And the rest of them rushing in from the left-hand side. This should be the end for the captain. And Buriram is out.
Buriram के
And they
साथ
freed
तो
themselves
बहुत
out
बुरी
completely.
हो
But
रहा
even better, gain possession of the circle. Dinocular scan out the remnants of AGAL. It's the same as the last game where both Lion and AGAL destined to mint in the middle for a chance and a trophy.
4 teams on that match point, still alive and kicking. The competition could end on this game.
Unbelievable.
There are 4 others who can prevent them. Your reigning defending world champions from EWC still alive and kicking, although they have not
Imagine
really
end में ये
looked super
चारों ही
aggressive
बचे
at all. Pujas in, what a double
गई ऐसे
A.
तो
And the site as well to annihilate SAQL Esports.
AGL down one man without Cypher, who has been tearing up a storm so far. Can they
BGMI Sports में सिर्फ SG Sherlock को support करता था
Hell yeah, he can.
वो तो PUBG था लेकिन
Shots from afar. Few just trying to put in some damage here, but he's going to be pressured by the circle. Do you have the glue walls on yourself to protect
भाई
your
चारों
life?
टीम जिंदा है
Maros on the front lines. They've already been locked in by the thrill of battle. That's the only reason why they pause.
चारों टीम जिंदा है
But
खत्म
now,
है
without that thrill of battle
खत्म
present,
है
do they have enough time as the circle catches up with them as well? Nameless takes himself out with the ice grenade. That's not the play you want in a circle like this.
BGMI का
They
पूर्वज
could miss it
बोला
out
भाई
again. Dude, the
पूर्वज
only person who has some safe haven behind the glue wall, but they still has to outrun the blue.
चैट क्या लगता है
And in the
खत्म है ना
meantime, Lau has
लास्ट
the
है ना ये
full team
मैप
alive, and look at where Lion is. They're
क्या
fighting with
बोलते
the
हो
White Tigers. If Lion overcomes Evos right
I
now,
say it's last
this might
it's
be it, and they have
GG
just done it. In
लो
the top
भाई
6,
6 में से
Lion
4 बची है
incredibly healthy. They're right smack in the middle.
एक
As
गई
Twisted Minds
5 में से 3
Twisted Minds out of the equation already. AGAL, only 2 more survivors.
Lion,
Apex
Loud.
Gaming waking up in what could potentially be the final game here.
Only
अगर टैग जीती
Oh man.
तो ही नेक्स्ट गेम होगा
India, can you do it? Can you help the rest of the squads?
Can you do
keep
it?
these games going?
टीम इंडिया
AGL with the pressure.
यार दो
Baros
साइड
picking
से
up the
फंसेंगे
grenade
नहीं
already.
होगा
The shot
जीजी है
from Lion, Gavis King.
जीजी गई
It will end here, Husky.
We are
ये
guaranteed a
लास्ट है
champion.
बोला था
It might not be AGL though. The dream might be cut short again, just like last year in Riyadh. But for Latam, it could
गाइस
be
लाइन और लाउड जल्दी बताओ चैट
it could also be their first.
जल्दी बताओ इनमें से कौन जीत रहा है ये
What
तो
is
2
gonna
मैंने
happen
तो मैं
here?
इनको नहीं
Baros
कंसीडर कर
due,
रही
M60 in
ये
hand.
जीत गए तो फिर क्रेजी
Lion,
शिट
after that record-breaking run, like we said, Games King No graduation, but I guess he graduates today.
Loud
As
और
one of the
Lion.
legends of free
Bro,
fire.
I support Lion लेकिन वो लोग ने जिस हिसाब से खेला है.
If they flank Loud and they take Loud out, this could put them in that
Lion
same
deserves
exact
to win, bhai.
championship situation again.
Insane
And
खेलते
Loud,
आए हैं
they're
लोग.
under heavy pressure. Bagama's thinking not stopping. This might be his chance.
Yup.
Loud completely
जीत गई.
Brazil, no chance. It's not
जीत
easy.
गई.
Look at impossible.
क्या खेला है भाई लायन ने लेकिन.
And they won't do it. Gomez King.
Oh my god.
One final shot of the AWM. But Joker
Oh my god.
secures it. And Lion, it's the domination of the animal kingdom here. At
W
the
का.
Esports World Cup. 3
Crazy
years in
खेला
a row.
crazy.
You have done it. You have done
बहुत
it.
crazy
Latin
खेला है.
America. Last year in Jakarta, you fell short. But this means more than everything.
क्या ही खेला है
You
ना.
have the keys to the podium. You have ascended the
हाँ
throne.
तो क्या कह रहे थे कपिल सेन जैसा होगा.
Absolutely no one.
Told you नहीं होगा.
Touch you again.
क्योंकि दोनों गेम्स में बहुत फर्क है द वे यू आर सपोज टू प्ले. चाहे कॉन्सेप्ट सेम है. मैंने इसके लिए बोला था कि नहीं होगा.
February until now, 5 months in, you're a champion in Paris.
Garena Free Fire is where dreams are made possible. Times that by a million when it's the esports
भाई बट
World
बहुत
Cup.
अच्छा खेले लोग.
This is the
Legit,
graduation
crazy.
the Gaming has been looking forward to. The true graduation, the apex of competitive Free Fire, the pinnacle of Mount Everest in the competitive circuit. They
लेकिन
qualified
एंटी
first
यार अपनी
over
इंडियन
Gun
टीम.
Dynasty. Yesterday, they gave us a performance that was jaw-dropping. We thought they might not make it, and they did. They finished first. They
हो
crushed the
सकता है
keys of the
कि
bottom
हम
two.
12 पे हो
They
क्योंकि
came in today, they set a world
टैग
record with 45
third आ
points
गई
in a
ना.
single round. And they finished the job 2 matches later. And they get to pull the lever again, but even better yet, seal their trophy at the totem.
As Movistar R7 at the Global Finals 2025, only the 10th spot Husky. They really
Yup,
couldn't
it
go
is.
very
मैं खुद
far
सोच
at
रही थी
all.
डार्थ वेडर.
It was definitely
जो
a
लोग डायरेक्ट
heartbreaking
फाइनल्स में
run.
जाते हैं वो नहीं जीतते
But they
भाई.
did not give up, man. If there was a fight in them,
मतलब
they
मतलब
showed
रेस्ट
that
लेना
fight
खराब बात है.
was
रेस्ट नहीं
alive.
लेने का, लगे रहने
And
का.
not only do they break the record of Falcons, they set a brand new one. And they have brought the whole of Latin America alive in the competition. One of the biggest threats for Brazil, always behind Brazil. But now they are in
Survival
front. And speaking of in front, let's
is
throw
the
it
way
over
to
Bonnie.
win.
We need the interview.
Oh. Oh. Oh.
Ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Here, the Lions roar right here at the Esports World Cup 2026. You can see how much it means to these players. An incredible showing. Oh my God, what an amazing final. Try to put into words how you're feeling right now.
Trato de poner en palabras cómo te sientes ahora.
Nada. No escucho nada.
¿Cómo te sientes ahora?
Nada, la verdad, contento, no sé, creo que como tal, sinceramente en mi mente no estoy dimensionando mucho de lo que, no sé, la verdad, sí es como, tengo felicidad, pero no, solo eso, feliz, no siento nada más. Y eso.
I'm happy, I guess. I don't know. I'm not really dimensioning what's happening right now, so I guess I'm just happy. Yeah, I'm happy.
Doing it in style like this, clinching the win here at the Esports World Cup with the community behind you, with the fans screaming your names. Dude, I know you're crying, but how does it feel?
¿Cómo te sientes?
Lo mismo.
¿Cómo te sientes? Sí, ¿qué se siente?
Me siento muy contento. No puedo describir estos momentos. Han sido momentos muy difíciles en mi vida, con mi ansiedad. He estado muy mal estos últimos meses, sin contárselo a nadie, solo a mi familia.
Translate.
Y creo que este logro
Luis
siento
Fonsi
que
को
me
बुला
representa mucho, ya que prácticamente soy un valiente. Cada viaje es un desafío para mí.
y creo que ganar con mi equipo, mis compañeros, mi familia me llena el alma, me llena el corazón y esto es Lion Watch.
I'm really happy. It's been a couple of months for me dealing with my anxiety. I never really talked to someone besides my family. Every single trip is a struggle for me, and I'm so really happy to be champions with my team. And this is Lion. This is Lion.
I love that. An incredible answer. Good job. An incredible answer. Right, we have things to do. Let's go. We're going to go this way over towards the Crusher. Follow me, gentlemen. It is time to cement your legacy here at the Esports World Cup. So follow me round to the back of this Crusher. Here we go. Right, line up here, gentlemen. Line up here. This is the time. Right here, you see in front of you all 11 keys of all of the teams that you have now eliminated from the Esports World Cup. However, what we're going to do right now is we're going to open this Crusher by pressing this button. Go for it. Go for it. Okay, it is now open. The teeth are out. We are ready to destroy these keys. Anything you'd like to say to your teams before you crush them?
Algo que quiero decir a los equipos antes que los destruyas.
Nada, o sea que simplemente siento que hoy fue nuestro día. Cada uno de los finalistas creo que lo hizo muy bien. Hay que dar todo por el todo, haciendo lo que nos gusta y bueno, me duele destruirlos.
I think just today was our day. Every single finalist here is worth it. Today was our day, and it hurts me really much to destroy you.
Well, an inspiring answer.
So
you love to see it. Okay, here we go. Grab that handle. Gently pull it. 3, 2, 1. Go.
आफत भाई की वॉच पार्टी ये भी ठीक है.
Okay.
कुछ लोग इधर ज्यादा वो करते हैं ना ट्रैश टॉक वगैरह. मुझे उससे अच्छा ये लगता है bro.
Okay, one more thing to do.
ऐसे होना चाहिए.
You know what's going to feel better? Putting your key inside that trophy. Let's invite the key master onto the stage to present you with the Lions key for the EWC trophy. Come over here. Here you go. There is your key. Please take it. Gentlemen, what I'm going to get you to do is walk all the way to the trophy, and I want you to seal the trophy by putting your key in the center and then lift the trophy for everyone at the Esports World Cup to see and cement your legacy.
Ahora van a caminar por el centro, van a poner el triángulo en el trofeo y al ponerlo van a levantarlo y enseñarles a todos que son campeones.
Ladies and gentlemen, your 2026 Free Fire champions at the Esports World Cup, Lion. Here we go, cement your legacy. Gentlemen, your 2026 champions of Free Fire at the Esports World Cup. Make some noise for Lion!
W, must खेले भाई लोग. W मजा आया. I enjoyed Free Fire watch party. क्या क्यूटीज है भाई ये सारे. W. कब होता है handsome boy? More enjoyable than you know what.
Della,
What?
I want to talk to you. to secure a championship here at the Esports World Cup alongside these teammates. What does it mean to you, and what would you like to say to them?
कैसे नहीं अच्छा कर पा रहे भाई, इधर जाना अच्छा है, बहुत अच्छा है, वो धीरे-धीरे और बेटर होगा।
esta victoria y haber ganado con ellos.
ये ईयर वैसे भी अपना खराब जा रहा है गाइस, कोई ना।
Bueno, primero que nada agradecer a todos obviamente por hacer el aguante y los que vinieron también a la hinchada. Y respondiendo a la pregunta, es increíble tener un equipo tan grande como este, jugadores magníficos y poderlos dirigirlos, guiarlos a la victoria, se me hace un orgullo increíble, se me llena el pecho, el alma se me llena de tener a estos jugadores y que gracias por confiar en mí.
First of all, thank you very much to everyone who's been here and has been supporting us, the people who came here to support us. And to answer your question, I'm full. I'm full of this team, to having these magnificent players, to be able to coach them, to lead them, to be with them through their journey. And I'm just extremely happy and extremely grateful to be able to have these teammates.
Well, we have another surprise for you guys. Of
Kौन
course,
जीता लाइन?
right here at the Esports World Cup, we have the Sony MVP Tournament Trophy to be giving out. So can I invite the Keymaster over here
next watch
with
party
our
on
Sony
Tuesday,
Tournament
देखो
MVP
अभी
Trophy?
Not
Ladies and
regular,
gentlemen,
but बीच
your
बीच
Sony
में
MVP
VCT Pacific
of the
Stage 2
tournament,
होगा,
it's
कुछ
Games
मैचेस
King.
करूँगी
Make
बीच
some
में,
noise.
and उसके बाद तो सीधा next month चेस की है मेरी, उससे पहले कोई watch party नहीं है, तो yes, more of gaming now finally.
I'm going to come over
Games
to you,
नहीं
Games
खेल
King.
पा रही उतने
Very
टाइम से,
quickly, I know I've
अब
asked you lots
RP
of
भी मैं
questions.
कंटिन्यू
It's
कर
very annoying. I
पाऊंगी,
know,
तो
I
सब
know.
करेंगे अब अपन.
What does it mean
Let's
to you
go.
to perform so well at a tournament like the Esports World Cup and to
बीच
secure
में
the
Pacific की
MVP
होगी.
alongside your teammates?
I hope यार
Quieres
इसका मैच आज की जगह कल
también
होता,
que
तो मैं
eres el
कल
MVP
करती, अभी
de este
कल के
torneo.
तो मैचेस मेरे को नहीं है मन
Nada, o
करने.
sea, súper contento, yo siempre doy mi 100%.
EWC की हाँ
Bueno,
next month है सीधा
no
chess.
puedo dar mi 100% ya que mi ansiedad no me lo deja, pero hoy
EWC
jugué con
की
el
वो मेरी
corazón,
last
jugué con el
watch
alma
party है mostly.
y los nerviosismos jamás me van a detener y gracias a mis
आप
compañeros
बताइए
que
ना
sin
गाँव
ellos
जाऊँगा.
este MVP no sería mío.
I'm very happy. I always try to give my 100%. I couldn't give my 100% today because of my anxiety. I always struggle with it. But thank you very much to all my teammates, because without them, I wouldn't
चलो
be MVP.
guys,
Well, I can't wait to
I'm
see what you're
gonna
like.
go now. मजा आया. I hope तुम लोग को भी मजा आया हो. टेस्ट तो अपना ही है यार, देखते हैं यार, hopefully. Yes, final boss chess में final boss को हराना is the main task. Anyway, thank you for watching guys. Mostly मैं रात को किक पे आऊंगी, okay? पता नहीं कब आऊंगी, but आऊंगी किक पे, ठीक है? मैं डाल दूंगी, ब्रॉडकास्ट में डाल दूंगी 9 के बाद, मोस्टली आफ्टर 9. See you on किक guys. किसी ने अभी भी फॉलो नहीं किया तो फॉलो कर लो किक पे, एक्सक्लेमेशन किक, येरा लिंक फॉलो कर लेना. थैंक यू, बाय बाय, गुड नाइट.